What's going on, guys? Welcome! My name is Ketchup, joined on commentary, as always, by Mustard, and this is the Injustice 2 Pro Series presented by PlayStation 4, live at VsFighting 2017.
So, now we're going into, I believe this is the top 12 stages of the tournament, so the few matches we're going to be seeing just now are going to be for winner's side, top 8, and then loser side will be decided downstairs off stream, and then all of top 8 will be streamed as always. And to start things off, we have going to probably be a Supergirl mirror match with Aixi versus Nivek.
So both these players have been doing really well recently in the IPS. Yesterday, Aixi, of which he's not called Legoland Jet today. He is called Aixi, which is in fact the name he's used for many, many years. But the Supergirl mirror is going to be really interesting to see here.
I think that really sums up what we're about to see, that initial trade at the start. This is going to be a management of trait and resources completely.
Well, both players have lots of... When they have bar of meter, they both do obviously the same damage as each other, but maximizing damage is going to come down to who manages their character power the most, I think.
Indeed, a bit of a slow-paced start. I mean, that's kind of what we expect to see. This is still early days. I think this is the first match these guys have played today in a tournament setting, so the question is how fast can they sort of get used to it.
Well, Supergirl, she's got a lot of mobility. She's got good keep away, she's got good projectiles, she's got mobility and, you know, decent movement speed, and an air dash, which we just saw right there, which is going to be the first to open up. But I think really, the teleport as well, she's got a lot of answers to her own tricks.
I think sort of just to clear up some confusion, it's going to be red Supergirl is Aixi, I believe, and then Nivek is going to be the grey one, just to sort of make that a little bit easier to keep track of.
I love how you said clean up confusion and then followed up with a I believe, meaning you're not quite sure yourself.
Of course, though, but Nivek starting off with a nice life lead, get things off, but lower on the trait, doesn't quite have anything to go with now, but you see the patience. It is actually very similar players in terms of how they play that neutral. They are both supremely patient, especially at sort of this long range when they know they have the life lead, but at the moment, Aixi really needs to sort of do something to bring it back. Oh wow, Nivek! Don't think Aixi was ready for that freeze to hit at all.
Yeah, would have been a full combo quite easily, but just convinced it was going to get blocked. We dedicated to a sweep already. Nivek establishing a lot of pressure. Full screen, kind of what we see for Supergirl.
Definitely an interesting start, though. I mean, two very much, I suppose, the premier Supergirl players right now, especially in Europe, but I don't think they've actually met in tournament before, so this is going to be curious as to how this is going to go. And let's go for that transition immediately, going down to the other side of Kandak, which is going to be a bit better for power characters, a lot of unblockable interactables that are quite hard to deal with here.
And the interesting thing is that they've both got access to it indeed. But wow, the neutral crouch, Aixi being a little bit too preemptive. Maybe trying to catch him pressing a button, but it's just going to give Nivek free damage. And this low on life, anything he does is going to be free damage. The clash was used pretty late as well.
I think Nivek's going to stop him getting any health back here. I mean, it'll cost him all of his meter, but... Oh wow, indeed, yeah, Nivek spends everything, and Aixi going to take a bit of damage here. Back to the corner still, not a lot of space to work with, but Nivek, nice life lead, good dodge on the interactable, now out of play.
Well, the more damage Nivek does there, the better, really. They've both got pretty much full stocked trait. I don't think either, unless it's the end of the round, we're probably not going to see the entire blast used because another trade, they both really need that fast projectile. But this help.
Wow, yeah, just gets hit clean by that jump in. That's probably going to be death. He has the meter to air tech, but doesn't even attempt at the end there. That's going to be a clean game one for Nivek. 2 away from making winner's side top 8.
I think either way, Europe's best Supergirl will be in top 8. You know, because both these players are so fantastic, and one of them, because of this match, is guaranteed. So regardless of what happens, it's going to be really exciting to see how they do later on. But Aixi with a better start this time.
Really nice throw bait with that neutral jump as well from Aixi, knowing that in that situation throws quite likely.
Unfortunately, though, if you drop that ender, I mean, you've done a big bulk of your damage already, but you want to get that situation at the very end, that knockdown, that splat.
We just pew lasers all over the shop at the moment. Much more of an even game. Aixi sitting with a nice lead, but every single time Nivek's going to chip him down with one of those, it's going to be closer and closer together. Nice anti-air coming out from Aixi, but drops to confirm. Carrot Flake Supergirl, you really need to take as much damage as you can, so his drops are going to be heavily punished.
Speaking of punishing, being ready for that float, the down 2 anti-air. I think the cool thing about the mirror match here is that Supergirl's got some really good jump-ins, but she's got an amazing anti-air, so that kind of goes hand in hand with both of these characters.
I mean, as you normally see in a mirror match, she's very good at dealing with her own options, I think. Especially if you're playing neutral. And there we go, goes for the chip setup using that beam completely. And Nivek, is he going to go for the transition? No, keeping him in.
Definitely goes in for the forward 3. I think he'd much rather have the setup in this situation. But wow, a really early down 2 anti-air. Aixi looking like he's going to take this one, building a little bit of bar. No, actually doesn't, going for the back 3. Maybe not confident he's got the time to do it.
Aixi doesn't finish off the string. Nivek approaching chip damage territory, but has to be careful. Nice finish off there from Aixi. I mean, how many times is that going to happen?
Many, many times, I think. They've both got... Actually, with the 2 bars on Nivek instead.
Oh, what an anti-F. Aixi, but though, just goes to the breath to try and capitalize. That's one thing that Aixi does that we don't really see from Nivek, is using the Frost Breath as like a footsie tool. Not really seeing it too much here, I think. He's just kind of worried about that instant air dash, but got a lot of mileage out of that yesterday.
Well, she's got good mobility. Normally, if she's going to play that defensive game, it can be quite a headache to advance. And yeah, nice hit confirm. Aixi ready for that jump in. But there's the clash already.
Don't really expect we're going to see anything spent here at all. No, you kind of need to hold on to that bar. It's going to be 2 bars of health regen. It's going to be good for Nivek, but Aixi now with a slight meter advantage. But in a matchup like this, where you're building as much bar as you do, it's not going to mean as much. Oh, a big whiff there.
But it recovers really quickly, so I think it's a good call to sort of go for the jump.
It's almost like a baited whiff punish, right? You do it because you want him to press buttons, but again, that jump, Aixi playing very comfortable with a life lead.
Unless it's like a really tricky air dash mix-up, I don't think many of these jumps are going to get.
He actually tries to anti-air that one too, but it was just a little bit too late. But Aixi really preys on those reactionary play in the neutral.
Pressing buttons.
It's really what he's been known for over the last couple of years, and Supergirl, I think, really fits that style.
Pressing buttons again!
They actually got hit because he was trying to interrupt the gap. That's normally the go-to thing versus Supergirl, is trying to interrupt gaps, but if you do mistime it, you actually get full comboed. A lot of chip going out and a big push block.
Yeah, that was stay alive. Super important push block at the last minute to make sure he at least has life to work with. But no! Into another breath, but it doesn't connect far enough away. It doesn't matter too much. 1-1. I mean, this is kind of what we expected. Both players superb with Supergirl. This is either a character change or a stage change. But
I would be very surprised if this doesn't go down to a game 5. You know, this is 2 players with a very similar style. They really like playing off that slow neutral play. But when you're playing like that and you need to get a life lead back, that's where it's, because this is 2 players that are quite hard to open up. And no one really understands Supergirl as much as these 2 players here. So they're going to know what gaps to exploit, when to just hold the pressure. But a hidden character coming out from Nivek. Wonder what this could be.
Well, these guys qualified yesterday. So you are going to know who you're up against. And yeah, they just go for a bit of a hidden select to maybe keep Aixi guessing, so he has less time to prepare.
Also means there's been a colour change. So Nivek is now the standard-looking Supergirl and Aixi on the green.
That's actually the thing about tournament mode. The colours will change every single game as long as we're going back to stage select.
Okay, now Aixi with a slight life lead, tries to go for that neutral jump. I think Aixi instant jump too. I think you might have expected Aixi to perhaps just go in for an instant forward dash or something in the air.
Wake Up's going to get cleanly punished, but no bar. I mean, she does a bit more damage now, less scaling after her Frost Breath, but she still needs that Frost Breath to get the damage in the first place.
Oh, drops his combo though. Nivek throwing a bit of a lifeline, spends all of his trait just to get some damage onto Aixi, but another anti-air cannot jump on this character at all. And a clean finish.
Aixi, I mean, you said it yourself, right? Clean. That is exactly how not only both these players have been playing, but Aixi in particular. Like, he's been playing so on point, so crisp. I mean, yesterday pulling off, in many ways, it was an upset, defeating Slayer quite comfortably as well.
Oh, no 2 ways about it, that was an upset. We'd seen Aixi play before, but never looked quite as good as he did yesterday. And it looks like he's brought that Aixi with him here today, which is why he's looking so good versus Nivek. He has a serious life lead in this next match and could bring himself up to, well, advantageous now. I mean, if he goes up 2-1, that's a much better position to be in. But because the full screen damage is so little, you know, as long as Aixi is taking these trades, it's always going to be in his favor. But here's the hit there. Lots of bar on both sides. With the corner as well. This is where Supergirl, no doubt, gets the bulk of her damage. Well, she does have some interesting mix-up potential in the corner. Oh! As I can say, that gets a nice tricky cross-up, but it's Aixi back, and a nice miss on the teleport.
That was fantastic. That was such a sick reaction on that meter burn laser. And I say meter burn because it's a meter burn input. It doesn't actually take any bar. That's just the input.
It just costs you your entire trait. And that's what you need to watch out for. The trait being such a imperative tool in this match, so being left with none of it.
Pressing buttons.
It's a big risk to do so.
Nivek's definitely back in this. I mean, it was such a huge divide in health, but quite easily dealt with. And look at the bar as well. Who's going to spend it? 2 coming out of Aixi instead. Putting himself almost back up to full health, about 20 or so, well, at this point about 80 points off that full life bar. But again, when you have so much almost guaranteed chip in a matchup like this, there's only so much that can mean. Now Nivek, because he saved all of his meter, if he does get opened up here, he can go for a clash himself, and then the ball's going to be as Aixi's court. Does he go for the bar to try and sort of, you know, trade out the clash, or does he save it for damage?
Well, having the clash means you can afford to be a little bit riskier, right? Because if you do get opened up and you've still got the meter advantage, you can almost, like, undo your mistake. But as I can say that, Nivek with a nice, tricky setup coming in, but a delayed wake up from Aixi.
We've seen actually Ivek, both players together. Aixi and Nivek.
I don't think that's going to help our situation.
They've both gone for that setup of that teleport, but really nice last minute block, committing into the Frost Breath. A good block again, not getting caught low.
Look at the patience, the respect shown from both of these players after this Frost Breath. And there's the clash coming out from Nivek, and that's going to be, I mean, how much health? As much bar. If he has the 3 bars, he could kill,
I reckon,
that
2
resource, but obviously he will lose a lot of health in the process.
And Aixi made the call. Don't spend any bar here, save the bar. And he's got full trait. Both players actually, in fact, with that full trait hate meter. Nivek using a couple of them and while pressing buttons. It's going to be a good start for Aixi, but now he's going to have no trait for the rest of the round. Maybe one projectile or two, but that's it. Oh, pressing buttons!
And that's going to be a full freeze. Does he actually have the damage to kill?
Oh, yes!
He burns a back 3, and that will do enough. Oh, and there's the eye laser just to beat the air tech. Nivek with the smart stuff.
That one-size-fits-all combo at the last minute. I mean, it just shows a great understanding, you know, from both these players, but Nivek right there understanding that Supergirl in that situation, meter burn back 3 for extra damage. If he air techs up or back, if I go for the meter burn laser there, he's going to get hit regardless, which is a great decision. Also, if Aixi didn't air tech whatsoever, he still would have got hit by the beam. That was just an unavoidable situation for Nivek to be in, because Nivek managed his resources to make sure he had the beam, he was able to secure it out. And now Nivek going up 2-1 here, and already down on life. Aixi still looking good. In this mirror as well, getting that first hit is so important, because she needs the bar to get started. So if you hit someone or open someone up, you're already going to get big damage, and it's what they can't get this early on. Nivek though with 2 bars now, can make a comeback if he lands something clean, but has to hit it first. Both players getting so much out of delayed wake up. It really seems to be the answer to a lot of this trickiness. Oh no, because he was airborne. Miss. I think that might have been because he was airborne. The problem is he actually could have closed out the life bar. It would get another nice clutch anti-air, but misses the combo there as well. Aixi makes himself do a lot more work here, but is going to still able to close things out. That could be a bit of a disaster. On the verge of a game 5 if Aixi can stay in control, but just look at the meter difference. I mean, Nivek almost has 4, and Aixi yet to build a single bar. Well, we did say we expected to see a game 5, and look at that's going to happen, but Nivek almost 4 bars to work. Oh, actually catches him outside of the block stun. Aixi maybe let go of block a little bit too early. Yeah, definitely could have done. There's the splat. She's got really strong Oki now. She has these different options. Look at the respect they're showing in this situation. Oh, gets hit by the low. It might be the first time we've seen that low in that string connect. Match point for Nivek right now. This has been a super close mirror, but a 3-1 result. The matches wouldn't really reflect that. They've been so close every time. Wow, there's that little mix-up. Standing 2 into overhead grab, into low down 1. That full trait. Makes those players are still playing with their cards quite close to their chest though. They're not really showing off too much. I don't want to say gimmicks, but they're not really getting into too much of the tricky stuff because they just know what's going to work and what is likely to not. Oh, the unclashable meter burn back 3. Very smart. You cannot actually air tech a meter burn back 3. Holding onto his trait too though. Aixi slowly but surely chipping Nivek down. Nivek has a bit of a comeback to make. This is going to be difficult versus that trait. Back 1, 2, 3, much safer in the balance patch. A very useful tool for Supergirl. Wow, the 3 connects. We are indeed down to a game 5. And that's a bit of a heartbreaker for Nivek. He didn't get a chance to spend that full stick of butter that he had access to. That is always unfortunate when you go down with all 4 bars. He is no good to someone that isn't alive to use it. But another hidden cursor coming out from Nivek. Here's the thing. They're both kind of like joint premier Supergirl players in the world right now. I mean, that really is uncontestable with what we've seen from them. Nivek can play multiple characters though, so has he changed? Or is it just a change? No, yes, go for the mirror again. On that subject though, there are a lot of good Supergirl players now starting to have success worldwide. You know, even in America, we've got some doing well at Summer Jam, but still, like, these are 2 players that have played Supergirl from day 1 to now. Through thick and thin. Now the Rock of Eternity is going to be super good for both of these players because just the sheer amount of projectiles you get access to, some of them being unblockable as well. Aixi with the start, full combo, catches that this time. That's the combo we saw him drop before. Tries to go for the background bounce, a little bit too much gravity used into all this chip damage. Ooh, instant air dash, but good block. Straight on the I-beam. I cannot believe he was able to block that as well at the last minute. Those good reactions, nice teleport. I've seen very few of them in this set, but I mean, that's why it's very punishable. But if used at the right time, can work. Well, you see a background bounce used here. And clean whip punish. Down in 3. Big damage. I mean, Supergirl, she really relishes these background bounces. And I think in the mirror, though, the stage isn't going to be beneficial to one or the other. They both get the same out of it. This is just purely a match of how can you utilize what's there, and the background being such a crucial thing, especially for a character like this. Well, there's the wake up. Spends a bar. Aixi just being patient. No bar spent. This is dead even. They've almost got exactly the same amount of life left. Oh, there's a conversion. That's going to be the round. Aixi up on match point, but Nivek just needs 1 substantial hit and he's going to even things out comfortably. Same time though, if he gets a little bit too impatient, Aixi can really put him in a bad situation. If he just runs into a down 1 like that, Aixi with the challenge. And this is for winner's side top 8. Whoever wins this will be in the top 8, and Aixi looking to be in good form for it. Chip damage not going to quite do it yet, but much closer. Oh, returns with his own. That's only damage for damage. That's only ever going to be a good trade for Aixi as well. But look at the difference in meter here. Nivek's in a great spot. He just needs 1 more hit and he's going to even things out. Nivek can do more damage with his bar than Aixi currently has, but Aixi has less work to do. How good can your defense be? Every single laser is going to be so important here, especially with almost over a 50% health divide.
And there's that anti-air again, and a good clash coming out from Nivek. Probably going to get a lot of health back here, but again, he uses all of his bar. His damage potential to make this comeback is going to be a little bit different.
And that's why he spent 2. He needs that extra bar. If he wants to make a comeback, he's got to be able to land those meter burn frost breaths. But is Aixi going to give him the chance? That's the question. It's just a game of chicken. Who's going to press a button at this range? I mean, Aixi not even trying to overextend. I mean, yeah, that was technically punishable, but he's not going to risk it.
Every single trade at this health is going to be in Aixi's favor. He has more health to work with, less of a dangerous situation behind him, but in the patience, 40 seconds, we might even go to a timeout if this continues.
Oh, it gets opened up by the low. That's a huge mistake from Aixi. With the air grab just to build the bar, and there's the clash again. 40 seconds on the clock. We totally could see a timeout here.
Might do. 40 seconds left to go, but plenty of health left for
both
players.
This is the most evenly matched game of Injustice 2 we have seen in such a long time. Oh, he gets the air-to-air.
Actually tries to, but doesn't quite time it right.
Oh, he actually blocked that as well. Nivek not pressing a button. Oh, getting rid of all the bar. A major trade, but there's the punish. I don't think the combo's going to kill, but the Oki might do. What's the setup?
Nivek has 1 bar left to go with Aixi. What's he going to do? Trading down 1 for down 1. Staggers it, and there's the anti-air, and he gets the jump in. Nivek isn't able to air tech in time. That would have been his one and only option. And a complete 2-2, 3-2 finish coming out from Aixi in, like you said, one of the closest sets we'd seen so far.
He's been playing out of his mind all weekend. I mean, like yesterday when he took that win versus Slayer, it was probably the best I think we'd ever seen him play. And today, in as much of an evenly matched mirror as I think we expected to see, both these players are phenomenal. Nivek could absolutely make top 8 on the loser's side, but he's now got 1 more match to play, so Aixi's going to be lying in wait with that comfort zone in winners right at that
really
final moment.
I mean, actually think a perfectly fitting end as well, considering that down 2 on reaction out of a lot of situations where it can be seen usually quite unsafe to go for that anti-air attempt based on the jump ins. But Aixi consistently willing to sit there and go, right, no, you've left the ground, I'm going to anti-air you now. He lost a few anti-airs, he traded with a few, but more often than not his anti-air was clean and it worked, and that is ultimately one of the set.
I think the neutral jump was a bit of like an all or nothing decision, because you look at the bar, Nivek had like 2 bars a meter. So he absolutely could have killed those 2 bars.
If that was an anti-air that he lost, if that was an anti-air that he got hit by Nivek with, that probably would have been enough damage to kill. But, I mean, that's what it's about. It's about keeping your cool in those final situations, and Aixi's going to move on. But Nivek's still in loser's bracket, very much still capable of making top 8 losers, but obviously a bit more difficult down there. We've got some really good players already down in loser's side, but plenty left in winners to go. And speaking of which, we have another Birmingham guy in ED UndeadJim versus one of the internationals making his presence known at VsFighting this year, BioHazard. This isn't BioHazard's first time on UK soil either. I know last year at Hype Spotting, him and the Commandeur brothers, Honeybee and BioHazard, both travelled for Mortal Kombat X. So they've been in this environment, they've had the long plane flight, they've dealt with the jet lag. He's going to be a little bit more comfortable than most, I think. Oh, for sure, but also looking good in terms of just gameplay alone. You know, he has that solid team of Bane, Harley Quinn, now Deadshot, one of the characters he's really added to his arsenal. But UndeadJim, I believe, primarily a Batman player for the most part. Played a lot of Batman back in the beta days and has done so from launch to now. One of those really just true knowledgeable players of the game, and he's always been a fundamentally like solid UK player, but he doesn't get the chance to travel too much. That being said, he has had success before. He's made top 8 at VsFighting in the past for MKX. He made the Pro League season finals for Mortal Kombat as well, and Injustice has always been his kind of comfort zone. So if he's going to do well at one event, it's going to be this time.
Oh, UndeadJim's very first VsFighting was for Injustice.
2014.
It was Omega K and UndeadJim in grand finals. It was Bane versus a bunch of different characters. You know, UndeadJim always been able to sort of pick up characters in Injustice quite quickly, although he was successful in Mortal Kombat X, one of the most successful players in Europe during the Season 2 days. Injustice is him coming home. And in many ways, actually, it's exactly the same thing for BioHazard, because this is the game that both these players made a name for themselves in. So while we get this match set up, just to let you guys know, there are tournament shaders in Injustice 2 right now. I believe it's Electrum and Tournament, so it's gold and silver. I'm yet to see one that looks bad. Cyborg in particular, I'm going to be biased.
Hey,
silver skin for him.
Gold and black fits like every character in the game, but purchasing these tournament shaders is going to support competitions for Injustice 2. So if you like what you watch when it comes to competitive play, pick yourself up a tournament shader and show that support. I mean, obviously the Blue Steel Sub-Zero skin and MKX, and was it Crimson Ermac, right?
Yeah, it was Crimson Ermac during the, I guess, next year.
They did amazing things for the game competitively. If you want to show that support, pick up these shaders and show us that you do.
So the matchup that we're about to see, I think we're going to see Batman come out of UndeadJim, but what character do we see BioHazard use? He's got Bane, he's got Harley Quinn, he's got Deadshot. Either one of those against Batman, you wonder who's going to do a better job.
I mean, Bane versus Batman, probably isn't very good. On face value alone,
Has it ever been good?
I mean, just when he had some options, it was kind of like when Batman got knocked down, Bane could really, especially in the late stages of the game, I think Bane could really sort of get stuff going when he knocked Batman down. But in this game, Batman's a lot more slippery, the bats themselves being a good utility here, but it's also a matchup that UndeadJim's can be very familiar with. Deadshot, I'm not really sure if BioHazard has played Deadshot that much versus Batman players, but I haven't really seen it myself. But considering he's one of the most prepared players coming into this, and we wouldn't be surprised if he's kind of practiced that. But Harley Quinn, I think, really is the character we're going to be seeing BioHazard go with. It's a matchup I've heard top Batman players say they don't like in the past. It's a matchup that, it's a character, I should say, that BioHazard is supremely confident with. Probably the most successful, well, Harley Quinn player, I think, going right now in competitive Injustice 2.
Now, we've said this loads of times, and I think we've got to have to say it again. What BioHazard has done in Injustice 2 compared to the first game is that he's not really specializing in just one character anymore, because I think we're at a point where there's so much money on the line, and the tournaments are as big as they are. People don't want to play games anymore. You know, they want to make sure that if my character doesn't cover every single matchup, well, you know what I'm saying. If they play multiple characters now, you can cover every matchup in the game. You don't have to pick yourself into what you consider a bad matchup.
I'd say
and keep things 5-5 at all times.
Just being a bit more sensible, right? Instead of just specializing in one single character, if that character has bad matchups that you know you will fight in a competitive setting, play another character on the side that deals with those. That is like fighting games 101. If you play a character that has terrible matchups, you probably need to pick up a secondary that deals with that character, especially if it's something like, well, for example, let's use, what's a big example for Injustice 2, right? Let's say, I don't know, let's go with Deadshot, Dr. Fate. Is widely regarded as a horrific matchup for Dr. Fate, and Deadshot wins that very comfortably. So Dr. Fate players basically need a secondary to deal with Deadshot, which is what we're basically seeing every Dr. Fate player do up to this point. And BioHazard has done the same thing as a Bane main now. His kind of go-to.
So while we get this match underway, actually, Losers is taking place to decide who gets top 8 from that side. We've had some really good games already. Slayer has moved on the Losers bracket, so he's got one more game to play to decide who's going to win.
Yeah, Slayer was able to beat Sonic Ninja 3-1, I believe.
Every game was close.
A Mega K versus Dizzy TT was 3-2. Mega K was able to make a full reverse 3-0. But, I mean, actually, that's one thing I wanted to touch upon. You guys, we've seen these two players yesterday, and we won't see them today, unfortunately, because they have been eliminated. But Dizzy TT and Sonic Ninja, 15 and 16.
Young talent. I mean,
talented players.
Young, talented players are the future of any competitive game. I mean, Sonic Fox, you know, the most famous NetherRealm player on the planet, started competing when he was 13 years old. His older brother got him involved in tournaments, who played, you know, competitively back then, and just went, you know what, you should come with me, you're pretty good, we play together, let's just see how you do. And, you know, wind the clocks forward a few years, and he's the most recognizable face in the NRS scene, all because he started at a young age and kept it going.
But that's what we're getting in the UK scene now, and I think that really is a good testament to I think the scene is good for the scene, it's good for the game, and obviously seeing these younger players that, you know, fast forward the clocks a few years will be having tremendous success. I mean, even like Sonic Ninja got top 8 versus Fighting last year for MKX. You know, he was even good back then, but, you know, really we'll be seeing a lot more of these guys in the next few years for sure. But I just want to give that quick shout out before we get into this next game, which I think we will be underway now. Probably a quick button check most likely, but it's looking like it's going to be Batman versus Harley Quinn as we expected.
So what we've seen here is very much just BioHazard looking at his repertoire of characters going, right, I know I'm going to fight against Batman because UndeadJim has got a super strong Batman. What character do I pick for this occasion? In this case, it's going to be Harley Quinn. The thumbs up are done. They've done their button checks. Gorilla City's the stage as well. Both characters going to have some background bounce stuff here.
But we actually really don't see Batman players go for background bounces at all, though.
I don't think he needs to.
Just has a lot of utility without it, right? A lot of meterless conversions. And they're quite complicated enough as it is without throwing background bounces onto it.
Now let's go. Once again, this is to decide who gets top 8 winners side. Very important match for both players, that comfort zone. In fact, this is an IPS qualifier. There is very much all to play for here. Good blocks already coming out by Hazard. He's going to have really talented Batman players in North America, so he's going to be familiar with the match and immediately caught by the tantrum stance. UndeadJim in the corner. I mean, this is where Harley Quinn likes you to be.
Got the patience from UndeadJim though, down on life, but still waiting for that trait to come back. Nice use of his gunshots.
Now, this isn't very much, I mean, she's got a very strong keep-away game in general, but I think the trait and some of the moves she has, they do actually complement an up-close rush-down game very comfortably. It's in many ways similar to what Batman can do, but when she's got you cornered, it is mix-up central.
Very slow-paced game coming out from Bio, really playing this at the pace he needs to. The Supreme Life Lead is just holding onto it, chipping him down piece by piece, using these hyenas and the cupcake bombs together. So much chip damage.
But Bio's just playing it really intelligently. Doesn't actually go for the tantrum there. Doesn't need to necessarily. Wow, I don't think UndeadJim was prepared for him to dedicate to that on block.
So much chip damage. BioHazard managing his meter perfectly.
Now, I think in this situation, A keep away game is what you want to do, because Batman was some of the absolute best rushdown in the game. 3, you don't want to let him anywhere near you, and Harley Quinn with more than enough tools to get it done. But look at that range that Bio's playing from, though. That's sort of like 3/4 screen distance. Even his normals he's utilizing right now, just pressing all the right buttons. And now pretty much UndeadJim has been unable to close in a single nick of space. This game has been 100% full screen, or maybe jump distance. That's it. That is as far as BioHazard lets him go. UndeadJim just being completely shut down, but gets his chance to get an opening here. Drops his combo, though. That's going to hurt. Unfortunately, does hit very hard. Just a wake-up background bounce coming out from Bio. When you're this far down on life, you got to make sure that you don't drop a single thing, because you may not get another chance. There's the restand. Good block on the event into push block. Wow! Peter burns through the hyena. Obviously a comeback here. I mean, Spencer's last bar here. If he gets one more hit, he's going to even out the life. Well, not even out the life, but at least get Bio down to his second bar. I wonder if that bat release was intentional. Like, did UndeadJim just deliberately do the grab to try and get Bio to press a button, and then he released the bat? That was a deliberate time. Not sure, but this is going to be a difficult comeback to make. Gets that full screen jump in. Doesn't press anything. Maybe expected Bio to press a button. It was a very expensive sequence. That's the problem. UndeadJim has so much work to do, and now not a single bit of bar. No bats available either. But BioHazard with 2 bars of meter now. He's going to build an extra one, and there we go. UndeadJim, this is going to be so hard to come back from. He might be able to. BioHazard has spent all of his meter. Oh, tries to go for the background bounce. No punish from Bio, but he gets a clean jump in, but doesn't get anything more off it. But there's the wager from BioHazard just to avoid that last little bit of damage, and to, importantly, just reset this neutral again and bring that space. He's got 2 hyenas. I don't know what UndeadJim could do right here. Sending both of them out at once, and I mean, really, with the exception of maybe the cape hover, both hyenas sent at exactly the same time. Spud and Lou going to be finishing off match number 1. UndeadJim definitely played that better towards the end, but really a big part of that was just how cleanly BioHazard was able to take that first life bar down without almost getting a scratch. Now this, yeah, going back into Batman. Sometimes, because it's random stage, right, that's a big rule here, is that it's a random select stage. Sometimes you just want the time to think, or you want to give yourself a better stage that helps you in a matchup. Maybe, but we're on Gotham City and one of these canon matchups. Put that background bounce once again. First hit is going to be so important in this situation. There it goes to UndeadJim. BioHazard without first hit, he's not going to have access to the projectiles that he needs, those cupcake bombs. Fantastic defensive tool. They wake up from Bio to avoid that interactable hyena. Nice meter bomb to get through. BioHazard knowing his defensive options well, but eats that, tries to get out of the corner, but didn't meter burn it, so that forward three is going to chew it up. Now there's that full combo right there. Going in for the armored bomb, so BioHazard with the repositioning. There's the trait. Trying to give himself a bit more of a better situation. Good block on the low. Another block on the tantrum. That's going to be a full punish. He's going to get an air tech from BioHazard, keep himself alive. Oh, but UndeadJim had already gone in for the air grapple. A full whip punish from BioHazard. That was either an input error or he just dedicated to a combo not ready for the air tech. The important thing, because Bio blew up that police car, that corner escape is now not there anymore. Oh, just gets tagged by Hyena. Back to back, and there's the jump. Covering so many bases. I mean, this addition of a new trait for Harley Quinn has helped us so much in the game. I mean, the Hyena really is what is changing this matchup so much for BioHazard so far. Just capitalize, I thought he wasn't get it, but I mean, the spacing from BioHazard again. Oh, like every time UndeadJim opts to go for a back call to use his trait, BioHazard just throws a Hyena in return. It kind of just forces UndeadJim to sit there. Unfortunately, when he tried to air tech that back 3, I mean, it has so much range on it. He got hit and lost the bar. Worst case scenario for sure. Trying his best to avoid all this, but this is chip damage city. BioHazard with no bar to work with, doing an amazing job building it. Oh, tries to get off the trade, but Jim isn't able to do it. Already massively down on life. Here comes the Hyena again, trying to stay in the air for as long as possible, but so hard to do. Oh wow, this is difficult. This is going to be almost impossible. Oh, the Hyena doesn't come out in time. Wow, I mean, in this situation, it's quite loud in this venue right now. But when he's in the corner, I mean, there's not much he can do there. He's got the range, he's got 2 hyenas again. UndeadJim down 2 games. I mean, he had a good start in this game, but at the end of the day, the second Bio manages to establish that range, he's in full control of what he wants to do, but also a couple of mistakes. Air-teching at bad times, whiffing buttons after spending bar, not having the resources to stay alive is a huge issue he's been having so far. There's a full interrupt from UndeadJim though, he's going to get the first hit this time. Oh, tries to go for a combo, doesn't work, that's another drop. And Jim's execution has been the main thing letting him down in the set so far. Yeah, in these tournament scenarios, there are potential nerves here. If you're going to be dropping those combos, unfortunately, you're just going to be giving the opponent an opening. And BioHazard trade, more than familiar with the stress of an offline tournament so far. It's not really going to phase him, I don't think. Or even the pushback on those tries to dedicate, but again, BioHazard just playing a really smart game. Maybe trip guarding with back two if he jumps in, but no need.
See UndeadJim really trying to catch one of those raw hyena calls with that grappling hook, but BioHazard just isn't giving it to him.
Down one check. And that's one of the things, BioHazard mixes up his tantrum stance so often. It's hard to predict what option he's going to go for on block.
No punish on that though by UndeadJim, that's unfortunate. Quite far down on life now, the hyenas. Chip damage, a big threat at this amount of life left.
Another down one. Can't get a full combo because he's airborne, but I mean, at this stage, wow, catches him with the grapple. This could be the start of something.
This could be a full combo. There we go, there's the back call. Our full conversion, but drops to the end again. There's that corner used BioHazard into the air gun shots. Match point for BioHazard. Much more of a closer life bar though for UndeadJim.
Yeah, and as those hyenas come through one after the other, there's a full hit confirm. That was actually a really nice range from them from UndeadJim, knowing his options. Has Bio quite low now. Oh wow, catches the corner escape. Usually so amazing. He does a lot of damage, a lot of chip damage, plus a block, but if you space it right, Batman of all characters will definitely punish that. Well, that corner escape is an amazing option, but unfortunately minimal damage. Wow, just whiffs a slide. That's a full combo, forced to clash, but down on life. I think he really wants to just stay full screen rather than take the damage.
Or do you think Bio's going to hurt him?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
0, yeah.
I mean, no reason not to. No reason
100%.
not to. Because I think BioHazard's going to be trying to spend so much of a full screen game here. Sending him full screen and doing damage, I mean, he couldn't really have asked for a better case scenario.
UndeadJim has one bar, BioHazard just built one though. Oh, nice anti-air! The up rank, but doesn't have the bar to get another hit. At the very least, it's pushing towards the corner, so that space that has been such a problem is now not there anymore.
If UndeadJim's going to win this round, he has to keep BioHazard here. The danger is that corner escape being, you know, plus on block, almost invincible on startup. I mean, it's a hard scenario. The block, and again, has to be plus, and the air gun shot, and that's it. Clean jump in. BioHazard moves on into top 8. And he's just going to be ever so much closer to a high amount of points in the IPS.
Looking as clean as ever though, definitely comfortable, definitely confident, and we'll expect some good things from him in top 8 later on. Winner's side too, BioHazard, one of those players that he hasn't got any sort of major wins yet in Injustice 2, but he's a very consistent player. Like, he's always up there in top 8, he's always, or getting very close to top 8, but he's always in points territory, and that's the important thing for BioHazard. In every event he goes to, he is building up those points on the Injustice Pro Series leaderboard, and that's what he needs. An event like this, obviously a premier event, a lot of points up for grabs, getting himself guaranteed 5th place and winner's side top 8 is something he's going to need to really secure himself in the finals later.
Now, a big thing we talked about before the match was why playing a team of characters is really important. I think we pretty much saw it put to exact use why that's the case, because if BioHazard stuck to Bane, we could have seen an entirely different matchup there, you know, and the fact that he's now got Harley Quinn and a really, really strong Harley Quinn for matchups that he's like, well, Bane won't work here, what is a better character for me? Harley Quinn definitely was that answer for Batman. And Batman's a popular character. It's really smart that BioHazard kind of has that ace in the hole for a character that so many people are going to use at a high level.
So that is so far Aixi in winner's side top 8 as well as BioHazard. We have a few more matches to decide who the next are going to be, and then some of the losers is being done off stream, and we'll see the rest of those in top 8 too. So plenty of matches left to get through today, but this has been a good weekend. You know, we've seen some really good matches up until this point yesterday, today alone, but also a lot of character diversity. You know, we've got we saw some Grodd earlier on, plenty of Supergirls, obviously Batman being this is Europe at the moment. No Sub-Zero though, and that's something I wanted to sort of touch on a little bit. Is that because of our next match?
I mean,
what is the match? Who is that? Tekken Master versus Madzin. Now, I'm not trying to plant any seeds here, but Sub-Zero is a character I was kind of expecting to see at some point this weekend. Especially now this is, I believe, the first weekend Sub-Zero has been legal since he came out. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I think it depends on how the matchups go, but I mean, I think Sub-Zero is probably one of the funner characters to watch at the moment, just because we haven't really seen much of him competitively, but hopefully this weekend changes that.
So the next matchup being Tekken Master versus Madzin. This is quite a classic rivalry, all the way back in Mortal Kombat X.
This is a rivalry that started in Mortal Kombat, and it's very much sort of transferred its way over to here. You know, they play very similar characters in Mortal Kombat X. They both played Kotal Khan. They both played. Who else did they both use?
Well, the main one was Kotal Khan.
The main one was Kotal Khan.
But the difference was Tekken Master was War God, and Madzin was Blood God. You know, they played the same character, but the variations they chose allowed them to really sort of put their own personal stamp on how they wanted to play the game. You know, Blood God was so different to War God in many ways, but both of them the premiere of each variation. Like, by the end of the game, absolutely.
But also, you know, a really cool thing sort of just competitively about both of these players is that they're two players that have fought a ton in tournament before now. Like, I'm talking like, you know, an absolute just bunch of tournament sets against each other in MKX and now going through to Injustice 2. But still, the main thing about both of these players is they're two names that really made a name for themselves in MKX. You know, they're two international players that we had, Tekken Master we hadn't seen anything of before MKX, and Madzin we saw a little bit of for MK9 way back in the day. But two players that really hadn't made a huge competitive impact until Mortal Kombat X came out. And they both came from, internationals, so it was outside of America, and they really had breakout performances across many tournaments. And now again, now they have that sort of established presence and established fundamental skill in the game. Going into Injustice 2 with that from the start is opening up for a lot of character diversity, if anything else. Now we just hear it's going to be Green Arrow against Batman, and Tekken Master really one of those players that is happy to pick up a character within a few days and just use it for certain matchups. Tekken Master sort of was traditionally known as an atrocitus player, had an amazing performance at Combo Breaker where he not only won Mortal Kombat X but got grand final second place for Injustice 2 with Atrocitus. Atrocitus is very different now in the patch. They've changed a couple of things, and I think that's enough for Tekken Master to realize he wants other characters for certain matchups. Batman is one of those matchups. Now, you may not associate Madzin as a Batman player, but he is very rushdown heavy and has been using it a lot with quite a lot of success. Tekken Master's answer to Batman currently seems to be Green Arrow. That was a button check though, so we're going to see if he's going to go in. No, it is going to be Green Arrow versus Batman. Even though he's not been playing Green Arrow for a while, this is his answer. Tekken Master told us yesterday that he's been picking up Green Arrow to deal with Batman players. This is a matchup that I've heard Batman players describe as a problem matchup before, but Madzin, who's a Batman for a few months now, it's going to be a match of two very similar styles with very different characters, and a full combo coming out that slide from Madzin to open things up. That's one thing Madzin does really well, is when he's got a trait, he will basically turn any hit at all, any and anything, into a full combo. Overhead on that slide blast. So often we see people get tagged by that. A tricky last minute overhead. Oh, there's that jump art getting changed from Madzin. That full screen game. The fire arrows being a great zoning tool for Green Arrow, but also the fact that he crouches going under that straight batarang. That's a huge element in this matchup. The fact that low arrow goes underneath grappling hook, but wow, meteor burn roll into a clean jump. The air escape to stay alive temporarily. Oh, he tries to trip guard with a down one, but recovers in time. Now that low arrow is something we're going to see so often. Madzin with the bar of meter, unfortunately has to go for a last minute cross up. He lands the hit. He wasn't going to be able to go for a restand into bat because he's only just built one. Drops the last hit, but most of the damage done already. The problem is it now pushes it back to full screen, which is where Tekken Master really wants to be. Now those fire arrows, the sort of go-to keep away tool for Green Arrow. He gets more of those than any other arrow type. You see him really sort of going in for those grappling hook trades. Tekken Master content sitting back here and playing this long-range game. Oh, but he catches him with a grappling hook. One thing that Madzin is 100% willing to do. Oh, doesn't do enough damage there, though. I think the reason he went for that is because he didn't want the air escape. He didn't want to give Tekken Master an opportunity to be knocked up in the air where he could have gone for the air tech. So the Tekken Master is still alive. Projectile's not going to work now thanks to that crouching. Good use in the environment from Tekken Master. Going in for the slide, that's guaranteed chip on the Hurricane Bow. Now you can see why Green Arrow is a pick against this character, because that low profiling arrow, very important for the matchup. Madzin really trying to chip down Tekken Master. Tekken Master making himself as hard to hit as possible, really using that crouching arrow. Oh, catching him just behind. We didn't expect that to hit, but Tekken Master with a meter advantage and a bit of a life lead. Yeah, the meter difference is going to be quite crucial here because he can clash if he gets hit. Tekken Master can use an air escape if he really wants to. Madzin's going to have to use his bar though to get that restand because the grappling hook is like the go-to tool so far, and he has to meter burn that for it to be effective. So he's really trying to catch that grappling hook. You can see Madzin just doesn't want to throw anything when he hasn't got a bat out. He just wants to cover his bases with that, but he's blocking the slide again. Oh, but catches him with a down one into Hurricane Bow. Full combo coming up from Tekken Master. There's the arrow. Fire arrow again for the plus frames. Speaking of plus frames, the slide catches him in the air. Not quite a full combo. Oh, back to back. That raw slide, yeah. Tekken Master using his meter well. This is going to be a difficult situation for Madzin to bring a comeback on. He has the bar to do it, but a nice air arrow from Tekken Master on prediction. Trying to jump his way in. Tekken Master playing this matchup really well. Now Batman is, as the game is going on, especially after the patch where Batman is still really strong, he's becoming more and more effective and he's used quite often. But he's very, very rushdown focused. So we've already seen it with Harley Quinn and Green Arrow as well. Characters that really excel full screen, but have options to not only hit him really quickly so he can't trade with the grappling hook or with a trait in general, but the ability to go under his projectiles is really important, which is why Green Arrow is such a smart pick here. You can see why Tekken Master has been practicing this character for this matchup. Madzin though taking his time. He does play a few characters. Batman definitely his strongest, but we know he has a few other options. Does he consider changing, or is he going to stick to his guns? Well, Sub-Zero won't work here, because the arrow will just blow up the clone outright, and it's going to be very difficult for Sub-Zero to approach, I think. But we've actually seen Madzin play a ton of characters in the IPS so far. Darkseid, Atrocitus,
Just to name a few. But I mean, there are some people that think Green Arrow does well versus Atrocitus as well. I feel like Green Arrow is quite a good character to sort of take on against Madzin, it seems.
I think post-patch, Green Arrow is just a very solid pick overall. You know, if you've got those fundamentals to really make him work, like we know Tekken Master definitely will. We don't even know how old this Green Arrow is, but Tekken Master told us yesterday, like, he really hasn't been playing him very long, but he's been clearly grinding it out to really pick it for this exact reason. I'm picking it for Batman, and this is the matchup I'm going to learn it for.
Teams of characters, very, very important, and wow! First hit going to Green Arrow, taking it away from Batman.
What a bait from Tekken Master. That down 2 trying to block the gap between the Hurricane Bow meter burn, but Tekken Master not giving it to him.
Clean jump in. Now, because he dropped that combo, actually, Madzin's going to tidy up some of this health. He's not going to be able to spend a bar on a restand, but they're back to complete even, with the exception of bar. Tekken Master with 2 bars versus Madzin's 1.
Wonderful spacing game coming out from Tekken Master already, using this meter very intelligently. He's in close now, though. Tries to wake up the slide, trades it out.
And again, he's trying to go for the down 2, but it's the certain pushback that we're seeing Green Arrow establish. It's really sort of pushing him back that down 2 doesn't even connect.
And that's going to be a full combo. Madzin confirms off the bat. Isn't going to quite even things out, but it's going to do a bit of damage.
Ooh, tricky setup from Madzin, though. There's the air tech once again. Patience from Tekken Master, waiting for him to ultra his jump arc. Good trade for Tekken Master there, really, because I mean he took no damage, but he got the trait away from Madzin. Now full screen, this is where Tekken Master really wants to be, tries to stay up there in the air, but a good call from Tekken Master to shoot in the air. I mean, Tekken Master is just playing this matchup perfectly. He just is not letting Madzin do what he needs to do. Knock him down. Those fire arrows, they cause a knockdown. If a projectile knocks down, it is a pretty good projectile. There's that Hurricane Bow again. The wager coming out from Madzin, going to be guaranteed some health back, but still, most likely he's going to be on the side of Tekken Master no matter how much he spends here. That's going to be 15%, not bad, but Tekken Master quite starved for meter. Oh, blows up the interactable. Now he's going to have to spend 1 bar for a restand. The combo's not going to kill. Good block on the cross up there from Tekken Master. Good trade, but no combo. He's going to spend the bar. Yeah, that's it. Spend the bar to get the chip. Not really for plus frames, that health. The chip will take it regardless.
Much better situation for Madzin now, though. Tekken Master back to the corner. Low on meter. Life lead isn't quite as significant, but Tekken Master really trying to chip him down.
Oh, in front. That hit in front. Did not look like it, but it did. It can be so hard to tell what side it's going to hit. Stuffing the wake-up. That's the one thing about Green Arrow wake-ups. He's got so many good wake-ups, but some of them can be stuffed by meaty strings.
Indeed, Madzin is going to lose this clash most likely. Tekken Master going to spend 2 bars. Madzin's still in a decent situation, but Tekken Master now has the life lead after that.
This does mean that with this health, all covering both bases. Wow, back to back. That was such a Madzin play right there.
Right? That's the way Madzin plays this character. Like, he is not afraid to just go with his gut. There's that push block, just get rid of the mechanical bat. Or the laser.
But we are on the Red Sun prison. Both characters benefit quite heavily from that laser. No better than Green Arrow.
Green Arrow really wants to get that distance. The fire arrow zoning comes in again.
That was so well played, using the push block to reset to a fast position. Wow, caught by the overhead. Madzin's in big trouble now.
Beaver rocks through in the fire arrow. He's going to do it. No wager from Madzin. Used it way earlier on, so that's going to be a clean finish for Tekken Master. 2-0. Much better game for Madzin, but still 2-0 lead. Now going to be in a reverse 3-0 situation if Madzin needs to win 3 in a row, but it's going to be a bit of a tall order.
The decision to go for the push block right after you sort of block the meter burn in the corner to get rid of the trait and then use the interactable where Batman can't really challenge it from that range, that was the play that won him that game, 100%. Tekken Master, so smart.
Back here, Savage Blast is going to get him away.
This is a fantastic start. I mean, these projectiles, Green Arrow absolutely has the advantage from full screen, and now a 50% deficit right here.
Oh, not quite in time. Madzin doesn't get punished either, so trading out for trading out there. Master with a nice life lead though. Really good trade for Tekken Master, just getting that mechanical bat out of the screen.
Oh,
it's going to be a full combo coming out from Madzin. Madzin can't really afford to go for the transition either because left-hand side of the other one is just as good for keep away.
Down 1 Hurricane Bow. Nice fast start. Full combo if you're successful. Oh, wow. That was him even before he starts. That was just a hard read. Even though Madzin's so far down on life, he's not afraid to make these decisions. Catches him trying to jump out. Yeah, a bit too much gravity, but a clean jump. No bomb!
He doesn't put the bomb on it. Madzin with the input error. Oh, not quite in time to get the grappling hook either. Tekken Master now in a chip situation, waiting for the grappling hook, and there's the slide. Match point for Tekken Master, but doesn't have a lot of health left to go with, especially against Batman.
A couple of these key execution errors, not planting the bomb, not finishing the combos. He might live to regret that at the end.
well. I see Tekken Master trying to build as much meter as possible when he has the space, as well as just chipping down Madzin whenever he can. You can see, this is exactly why Tekken Master's gone for this character pick. You know, he's an amazing job of dealing with the rush down. And there, you can push block. Green Arrow's going to build bar for days. So the second he's in a situation where he blocks, just push block and you're back to safety. It's most likely going to be the round. Yeah, Madzin doesn't drop the combo. Tekken Master does have a life lead, but back to the wall. There's that interactable right there. Yeah, Madzin not destroyed yet. If Madzin's going to win this game, he's going to have to keep Tekken Master in the corner, but no one knows that more than Tekken Master. He's going to have an ace up his sleeve, but right now he's in trouble. The clash, it's going to create distance. It is, but Tekken Master consistently getting blown up by these wake-ups, getting stuffed by Madzin, but he's sticking to it. It's really planting that seed in Madzin's head that I am willing to wake up. All of his traits gone. Madzin has to be patient until he builds up a bat. The bat has been such a pivotal play here. Has to take minimal arrows, otherwise he's going to be in big trouble. Very close game 3 though. See, Tekken Master trying to bring this down. Full confirm from Madzin from max distance. Now Tekken Master back to wall, drops the combo into a wake-up arrow. Instant jump, wow! Adjusting his jump arc. I don't think he was ready for it to connect. A full combo with the air escape. Tekken Master still alive, the bomb! Oh, Tekken Master. Let's get opened up by that launcher, but Madzin does drop his combo. Goes in with it, good. Block on the jump from Tekken Master. Backdashes the plus frames. Savage blast. Madzin has to be so careful now. Major importance, the trait is now gone! Will he hit another one before the round is over? We'll get at least one more bat, but it's going to be difficult. Trying to build some bar. The Master does have an air escape again, but actually almost approaching a full stick and 4. Oh, doesn't quite connect the grappling hook. That could be everything. He's trying to do what he can, but there's the block on the slide. Well, there's the patience, and there's the down one. Probably going to do it. Yes, he's not going to drop this combo. No, he actually did. Oh, what a read on the Savage Blast to chew up that meter burn roll. Tekken Master moving on into top 8, but I mean, really, what a character pick. That was just a really intelligent choice from Tekken Master, and he played the matchup really well. Madzin did an impressive job of adapting the further that set went on. That final game definitely could have gone Madzin's way, but I mean, it just came down to the wire, and both players really just, you can see them adapting to each other on the fly, right? You know, really, considering how many times they fought in tournament, really adapting to how each other plays. Even with a matchup like that, like that's probably the first time Tekken Master's fought Madzin's Batman and Madzin's fought Tekken Master's Green Arrow. Even with these new character matchups they've played each other in, there's still, you can see them playing the player more so than playing the character, and I think both players did a really good job of just showcasing why that's so important. That's quite a classic case of Madzin versus Tekken Master. That's what they do. Like, they fought each other so often that making sure you've got characters for each other, you know, and that's one of the huge elements there. That Green Arrow pick was not just an answer to Batman. It was an answer to Madzin's Batman and Madzin's playstyle. He is one of the most aggressive players in the scene. Now, this next matchup, another quite exciting one. PXP Foxy Grampa versus Renegade's WhiteBoi. Now, this could go one of two ways, because it's going to be WhiteBoi versus Foxy Grampa, most likely Deadshot versus Scarecrow. I know WhiteBoi has been working on a Deadshot of his own over the past couple of weeks, but Scarecrow really is kind of his premier character. I'd say at this point, it is fair to say the strongest Scarecrow player in the game at the moment. Obviously, there are still good Scarecrow players around, but really, WhiteBoi is the most successful and the most consistent when it comes to major events. You know, let's not forget he won CEO, he got second at Biennality last week, he is riding that momentum here, and both these players were at Biennality, and WhiteBoi outplacing Foxy Grampa there, while not meeting him in the bracket, I think, still knows that he can really compete when it comes to top level competition. Now the thing is, Foxy needs these IPS points a lot more than WhiteBoi does. So, does that add extra pressure to you? I think it definitely does. Whether we'll see it in his play, I'm not sure. Foxy has always been a very cool and collected player. We've seen him, you know, make a lot of comebacks before, and just generally is great when it comes to composure and keeping a level head. However, he has had a bit of a ropey start to Injustice 2. Did not do very well at the first couple of major events he went to, but has progressively been doing better and better the more events he goes to. And like I said before, he actually did very well at Biennality last week, getting himself, I believe it was 5th place, but you know, at least getting top 8 was really strong for him there, and beat some good players on his way to doing so. And here again, so Scarecrow versus Deadshot, what do we think? I think when Scarecrow closes in the space, you know, jump back 3 versus Deadshot's wake up knee is a really, really good tool. But really it's a matter of if Deadshot's full screen and he's able to stay full screen, it's kind of tricky for Scarecrow. But if Scarecrow closes in the space, which WhiteBoi, he's, you know, there are very few players out there that are as patient and able to close in space and maximize it when he gets in than WhiteBoi. So it's going to be... I think a big part about WhiteBoi is that he knows Scarecrow's options better than almost anyone. You You know, Scarecrow does have, I mean, early on it was a big talking point that, you know, Scarecrow's great when he gets in, but he struggles to get in. You've got someone like WhiteBoi that really knows how to just close that distance, right? You know, Scarecrow, he's got the forward 1, he's got forward 2, you know, his jumping normals reach tremendously far. He's got a great game post push block. He's got a good Oki game, good way. No, he's got a decent wake up. A wake up you can definitely blow up with meter burn forward 3s and other ways, but still, you know, it means that if you're good at utilizing that kind of thing, then it's great, especially if you can work your way in against a character. But I mean, is there any harder character in the game to get in on than Deadshot currently, especially in the hands of someone like Foxy, who is probably the most defensive, lamest style Deadshot you can get.
But it's the way Deadshot really allows Foxy to play the way he wants to play, and that's a huge, huge element where historically in the NRS scene, Foxy has always had a very strong neutral and a very strong ability to just put up that defensive brick wall, but not through anything flashy. Really simple, just straight up, decent normals and good projectiles. You know, it's how he really made a name for himself in MKX, being one of the most dominant players of all time in MKX with piercing Melina. Deadshot lets him play a very similar game plan to how he approached piercing Melina beforehand.
But like you said before, this is, in terms of Injustice Pro Series points, a crucial tournament for Foxy Grampa. Is still in a realistic situation to make that sort of top 8 space, but he needs consistent good performances at his few events left to do so. Going into this button check here, we've already seen players, unfortunately, in the last couple of weeks lose games, do button checks. So it's definitely worth it. You know, if you're playing for 20k, make sure you spend the extra 30 seconds, check those buttons, make sure it works. Wow, now it's BM. I'm just going to jump off it, and Scarecrow's like, nah mate.
Within a very small amount of time as well. Right, as you can see right here, this matchup is
going to be WhiteBoi making sure that Fear Wave works, getting the important stuff out immediately.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you're going to deal with the projectile character, that Fear Wave is so important. But here we go, it's going to be another winner's side match. Whoever wins this moves on into top 8 winner's side. Scarecrow and Deadshot. Now Foxy with an immediate good start. Sending in full screen, meter drain shots. This is a huge element in this matchup. Scarecrow needs meter for Fear Wave, and if you can take that away, the fantastic result.
Oh, instant jump in 1 just to anti that jump in 3. Scarecrow having quite a floaty jump. Very long range normals when he gets up there, but if you can intercept. There's a push block. Now that really is a Foxy special, right? He's kind of really invented the push block when it comes to Deadshot, and this is why. Deadshot builds so much bar, and Scarecrow desperately needs to get in and get you blocking, but good move in that teleport, but the fire grab doesn't quite reach, and every single time these wrist cannon shots hit, when he's got that green aura around him, he is going to drain bar. Scarecrow desperately needs bar to do anything. We see, I mean, he gets in any way. Foxy's just sending him back right again. And there's the block.
This is a great scenario for, I'm about to say it was a great scenario for WhiteBoi because he was able to sort of get Foxy blocking without meter to push block, but he has found an opening. Oh, Impa error coming up from Foxy, probably a rifle. That was definitely a rifle attempt. Foxy trying to keep it simple. The wake up comes through, but here's WhiteBoi. Now this is what WhiteBoi needs. Keep Foxy in the corner, but wow, immediately challenged with the wake up. Foxy jumps out, but challenge for the down 1. WhiteBoi really getting him there. There's the hit confirm into the grab. Huge damage. But you can see the difference in damage. This is a huge difference where Deadshot, with the exception of the corner, doesn't do a huge amount of damage. When Scarecrow hits you once, it's like half life. So he's going to have that trump card there, but he needs to land the hit first. Right now, easier said than done. Now, when you see WhiteBoi going in for those teleports, the teleport has quite a lot of recovery on the other end, but if he reads a rifle and he teleports right as Foxy goes to the rifle, he will get a full combo, but he has to make that hard read, because if he goes for a straight shot, the teleport will not recover in time, and that's what we just saw. He got full comboed for it, but you have to make that read sometimes, especially when you're this down on life. But Deadshot's normals unbelievably fast, so if Foxy can predict teleport, Deadshot is very easy to react to. If you're a Deadshot player seeing that teleport, you can punish it with whatever you want, really. Now though, it might look like Foxy has no bar, but no one builds it better. And there's that full jump in, see the max range. And also, normally from that range, Foxy will anti-air straight shot against Scarecrow. He doesn't want to eat that jump in. He has so much range on those jumps. Oh! Oh no, he misses the combo. Oh, but a downwind to grab. Nice tech from WhiteBoi, but straight into a straight shot. Now, I like the adaptation from WhiteBoi though, knowing that Foxy is so prone to push blocking. He's now just not meter burning his Fear Wave. He wants to get the bar out of Foxy at no cost of his own. Wonderful cross up. Chunky 280 damage. Push block the jump in. Give him some space, but again, another the unblockable projectiles. If WhiteBoi can get a couple of those, it's going to give him a knockdown. And the knockdown's what he needs, but a bit early on the anti-air. Yeah, preemptive down 2. It's going to get jumped in on for free. And now the meter drain coming out from Foxy again. WhiteBoi has to be very careful not to get hit by any of these wrist cannons now. Every single time one of those connects, WhiteBoi quite plus on hit those straight shots are. Foxy gets guaranteed some stuff afterwards, and another instant jump 1. Deadshot, underratedly, one of the best jump-ins in the game for an air-to-air. Jumping 1 is so fast, hitbox is so massive. I think it's like half prediction, half reaction when it comes to Foxy some of these times. Like, when he feels like that jump-in's going to connect, he'll just do it. But you can
That's gonna be
see
a full
why...
punish again, you know, recovers it in time from the straight shot, and we saw that last game, we see it again.
But WhiteBoi really, he's using the teleport on the read of a machine gun, because if he teleports right as a rifle comes out, that's a full combo, and it's a full Scarecrow combo, which means a lot of damage. But a crucial thing about this matchup that we're already seeing hurt WhiteBoi is this is not a matchup that he is ever able to get activated that trait. It's such an important part of Scarecrow's game plan, it's that guaranteed damage around him, but Deadshot is not a character that will let you do that. Oh, unblockable, full combo from Foxy. There's the meter drain once more, but WhiteBoi, if he can keep Foxy in the corner, the range on 4-3, better punish! Easy punish for Foxy.
Lost more meter than health there, but that's definitely not what WhiteBoi wants to do. Again, hesitating to go for the fear wave meter burn. He doesn't want Foxy to push block it, but I think Foxy's reacting to the meter burn wave before deciding to push block.
Another air to air. I mean, he's got wager, but I think WhiteBoi in this situation, he needs the meter. He needs the pressure, but he's got to get in, and it's so difficult in this matchup. Tries to meter burn roll, but again, another push block.
It's so difficult. Foxy's making himself just impossible to approach. Meter burn for the safety, but Foxy is just content sitting there being patient. And as soon as he knows he's blocking, WhiteBoi with that grab. There's the whiff. Oh, he catches him with the overhead. Or the low, I should say.
Doesn't even go for a projectile. Doesn't even give WhiteBoi the chance. Now, player select, not surprised. We very well could see a character change here.
Now, I said before that WhiteBoi's been working on Deadshot of his own, but whether we'll see the mirror, I'm not sure. He's thinking about it for sure. I mean,
but
WhiteBoi does have a decent Deadshot. It's not like he's doesn't know what he's doing. He has a fundamental understanding on how to play it, but Foxy definitely thrives on the mirror. I know Foxy has joked before about, I kind of want people to pick Deadshot on me, but that's basically why, right? He knows that he doesn't pick Deadshot because he likes Deadshot. He plays Deadshot because Deadshot lets him do what, as a player, lets him do. He ticks all the boxes that he, as a player, wants. He sees Deadshot as, he's got the tools I want.
Now, the reason we've gone back to player select as well is not just for the potential of a character. He's thinking about
just to get rid of Joker's playground.
Get rid of those barrels in the corner because they've made an impact. They're unblockable. He's got caught sleeping a couple of times.
Spend a bar, they're armored.
And so he's going back in for Scarecrow, so he needs the time to think. But a big thing here was that tactical stage change. Get Joker's playground away from Deadshot.
Begin. So Arkham Asylum, his corner escapes very good this one at Deadshot, but buffs that down to into the environment.
Definitely a much better start. And that came off a down 2 as well, which does scale combos, but you never have guessed. But meeting him in the air with an instant jump 1, Foxy back in it. That's that reaction. He does nothing after it, waits to see what you do. That's going to be confirmed. No, tries to. Gets hit by the effect too. Nice wake up of retaliation. WhiteBoi does not want to let Foxy out here. Oh no! With a meter burn roll. Deadshot's best friend is that meter burn roll. Historically used to get in on defensive characters, but Deadshot can use it to escape the corner. Oh, anti-air gunshot. Reactions paying off big time. He goes green. Definitely goes for the anti-air gunshot when he knows he's in rage for Scarecrow's jump-ins to whip. If he's close enough, never. But if he's far enough away, all the time. Man, Scarecrow's got a floaty jump, but at the end of the day, you have to get in somehow. You have to make that read on how is he shooting these guns. Oh, there's the reaction! Oh, wow. Now WhiteBoi, that's it. No, he chooses not to. Saves the bar. Goes to the anti-air, but a nice use of the air gas just to delay himself in the air. And there we go. I mean, it was a really smart play, actually. You almost wonder, has he done it a little bit too late? It's match points for Foxy. But WhiteBoi, I mean, he is the CEO champion for a reason. The second he gets Foxy in the corner, look at the bar. A humongous lack of meter. Hey, if Scarecrow can get a hit on you with 3 bars, he can kill you, but he has to get you opened up in the first place, and Foxy's defense has been immaculate. Another push block just to reset it. Normally, Scarecrow really likes being
now this
push
is big.
Block range.
No meter to push block for Foxy. This is his time, and there we go. As soon as Foxy doesn't have bar for push block, this offense is now going to work, and it gets a full life bar. Very smart from WhiteBoi. Now, Foxy's mission is going to be to escape the corner. WhiteBoi's going to do everything he can to prevent it. That small little walk back on prediction of a meter burn roll. And there we go, the command grab. It's a true mix-up. Does he go for a string, or does he command grab? Got a little bit too high. Again, delaying the fair wave meter burn. There's the push block Foxy's looking for. Quite starved on meter. He wants to even things out, wants to take the bar away. Yeah, he just opts to whiff punish with a shot. He just wants to take the bar away more than do damage at this point. Saving the bar for a bit again. Another anti-air straight shot. Oh, 3 of them. See, WhiteBoi would have 4 bars by now, but that meter drain just isn't letting him get full sticks.
Oh, that's huge. Massive damage incoming. Doesn't restand.
The second one. Oh, what a bait on the wake up. Good sequence from WhiteBoi. This could be huge.
There's the empty jump command grab as well. He knew Foxy was going to look for a push block. Oh no, pressing buttons! He's going to keep Foxy in the corner though, so it's definitely not the end of the world. This could still be a game win for WhiteBoi off this. He's going to win this wager for sure. Foxy doesn't have the bar to challenge. He's going to keep his back to the wall. How does Foxy stop him from getting in? Spends the bar on the rifle. Oh, stands up a little bit too early. Foxy's he's almost built an extra bar. He's going to spend it. Now, no resources left. What is the final play? There it is! WhiteBoi! Oh, it activates the aura, but does it get in? Yes, there's the teleport! And there we go. That is exactly why he popped the damage over time. A very important turnaround. WhiteBoi needed that win.
As soon as you pop that trait, you are already dead.
I mean, very few people will get that reference, but I'm sure you can just go on Mustard's Twitter and find out. But I mean, he did it again, and that's exactly why. It's such an amazing move where if you've got pixels of life left, but Scarecrow has trait, there's nothing you can do. You are dead.
But a big part of that, though, was WhiteBoi was able to get the first hit. He was able to get that nice chunk of damage and a good life lead immediately, so he didn't spend the entire game on the back foot having to work his way in. It is there's no getting around it. It's a miserable situation to be in when you don't have amazing options to get in versus Deadshot, or at least your options to get in aren't as good as his options to keep you away. And having to spend the whole game on a life deficit against that can be quite frustrating. But if you can get the life lead, like we see WhiteBoi gets that first hit at the start, it could be a lot easier for you.
Good reads on the wake up. Foxy only just built a bar of meter, but again, sent full screen. But I mean, at this life, you've got plenty of health. You know, in many ways, WhiteBoi will just take the damage he takes to get in for that one opportunity to close in distance. But wow, they trade a bar for a bar with that anti-air combo.
I'll say we never really see Foxy spend bar on that meter burn wrist cannon unless he's got like a trait bullet to really just get more out of it, be it more damage with fire or more meter drain from the green. Nice reactionary instant jump onto the anti-air. Use the background bounce too. A much better situation for Foxy now.
Now, one huge thing here was that it's match point Foxy, but WhiteBoi has completely stopped teleporting. He doesn't want to risk it.
Oh, of course. I mean, you have to be so careful. If you do it at the wrong time, you're going to get full combo for it. As that fear wave, but not quite close enough to enforce the pressure that Scarecrow needs to, just off the tip of the fear wave.
Oh, each gunshot is going to be so dangerous for WhiteBoi to take now. Meter burn rifle with nice match chip and push back, guaranteeing another straight shot. If you forward dash, you will eat it free.
Now this is difficult. Now this is that situation I was talking about before where you have so much life lower than Deadshot, you have no choice but to get in.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, that could be a good sequence. He has him cornered if WhiteBoi can keep him here.
Oh no, the toilet! Oh no, to the labs! And Foxy doesn't even want to give him a chance to clash, just immediately going back, but the going in for the clash. Important for him to stay alive, but he's going to still be full screen.
Only takes one. Push block.
Only takes one. Meter burn rifle.
I mean, more than that at this point, he's got quite a lot of health left. But still.
Oh no.
Oh no. Down on life and down on bar. This is a miserable situation to be in for WhiteBoi.
And WhiteBoi with no meter, his offense is going to be so limited as well. This is looking so bleak, but only a real master can pull back. WhiteBoi has the means.
He did that preemptive jump through this time though. WhiteBoi made the read. There's a special cancel. Plus frames. More plus frames, but a push block from Foxy. An anti-air gunshot. Doesn't have the bar, but...
Oh no! That's it. Foxy takes over WhiteBoi. I mean, valiantly fought from WhiteBoi, but if he can't close in the space, it's going to be so hard, and no one keeps out better than Foxy in this game right now.
It's such a momentum-based matchup, but it's a bit harder for Scarecrow to bring momentum back than it is for Deadshot to keep it. Because when it comes down to it, it is quite difficult for Scarecrow to get in on that. He has the options, but most of Scarecrow's options being the teleport, or the forward 1, or the forward 2. The straight shot kind of just puts a stop to that. You know, it just takes that, not completely eliminates it, but it's nowhere near as an attractive option in that matchup. And I mean, Foxy knows that. Foxy's played against Scarecrow a bunch. He's going to understand that too. And WhiteBoi, I was actually a bit surprised to see him stick with Scarecrow. But yeah, that being said, he has always been a bit of one of those specialists we always talk about when it comes to fighting games.
You look at the characters that he currently sort of like plays, and we were going to talk about that while he was in his player select situation, but you can play Black Adam, you can play Aquaman, you can play Deadshot as well. I don't think he was going to mirror Foxy, because really I think Foxy was going to be more prepared.
Actually, yeah, speaking of which, I think Black Adam might have been a better swap there, because we know WhiteBoi does have a really good Black Adam. Even Aquaman, I know he played a lot of Aquaman pre-patch.
I know Foxy believes that Deadshot beats Aquaman, though.
Which is why I didn't say Aquaman.
With Aquaman's changes as well, that's definitely going to be a better matchup for Deadshot post-patch.
But, you know, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, right? I mean, isn't that all you do as a commentator? It's just professional hindsight, man.
Pretty much.
He went left, he should have gone right. He clearly blocked low, so he should have blocked over.
He zigged when he should have zagged.
Oh, dearie me.
Easy for us to say, because we weren't in that
situation.
But
still, you know, in all seriousness, maybe Black Adam would have been a better choice there. But the question is WhiteBoi more confident in his Scarecrow than Black Adam? I think the answer to that is certainly, but matchup depending, right? We talk about it a lot. Now we're going to have BioHazard coming back up to the stage in top 8 winners side action now. This is going to be Aixi, the Birmingham guy, pulled the upset yesterday, sending Slayer into losers bracket very early, and arguably another upset, defeating Nivek in the Supergirl Mirror 3-2 to be here. So Aixi having, I think, the Injustice tournament of his life. I've not seen him play as well as he has played this weekend, and if you're going to have your best games, this is 100% the tournament that you pull out all the stops. Now,
against Supergirl. I do wonder what character Bio is going to play, because he's the real unpredictable player in terms of, like, you never really know what character he's going to use. You know,
Bio has a very complete team at his disposal, really. That really is the best way to describe it.
And that's the future of Injustice 2, I think, so far. But, I mean, BioHazard in a great situation point-wise, but, I mean, this top 8 alone, winner's side, is going to put him in an even better situation. I feel like if Aixi can pull off the upset here and move on into winners finals, it would be thoroughly insane. But, I mean, with Supergirl in general, Europe has really shown that it has some dangerous Supergirl players. Nivek,
Supergirl
Aixi.
looking to be Europe what Sub-Zero was in MKX, right? Especially early MKX, Europe had so many Sub-Zero players. It was kind of like the matchup that we, Europe as a whole, kind of just knew the most. It was Kung Lao and Sub-Zero. Whereas at the moment it's going to be basically, seems like a Supergirl, Deadshot, stuff like that.
So, we already know on our winner's side of the top 8, so it's Tekken Master, Foxy, BioHazard and Aixi. The loser side is going to be a bit more unpredictable because some of those matches are being played right now to find out who's going to make that one. I believe one match I'm really looking forward to seeing the outcome of, or really sort of finding out who wins, is now Madzin fell to Tekken Master. To get into top 8 loser side, it's going to be Madzin versus Omega K. Like, that's going to be crazy.
We might get to see Grodd in loser side top 8, but that's that P&D team kill, right? One must stand, one must fall. I mean, Madzin's used to that matchup for sure, and Omega K. I mean, he's having a really good tournament. But you never really understand how consistent he's going to be on the day, but looking good. But back to the match at hand, we're going to be having, could it be Bane coming out from BioHazard?
I don't really think I've really seen BioHazard fight.
He's picked it.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen BioHazard really use a fight against Supergirl, let alone a Supergirl of Aixi's caliber. So it's going to be really... It's hard to call what character, but Bane looking to be that one. This is a matchup you do not see every day, so if this is just a button check, or they go through with it, this is going to be an insane match. Aixi's already been able to defeat one American legend in Slayer yesterday. Can he continue his rampage today?
I guess we'll see. Button check happening right now. I mean, Supergirl BioHazard, Supergirl Bane. I mean, when was the last time we saw this? I mean, I know we have a few Bane players in Europe, but I mean, BioHazard really kind of is the #1 Bane right now. Obviously, you know, Gur in America too, and Madzin plays a cool Bane as well. But really, there isn't as many Bane players as there were in Injustice 1.
So, here we go. This is winner side top 8. BioHazard from Canada versus Aixi from Birmingham, the hometown hero. You know this crowd wants him to take this one.
He does get the first hit too, though. Or maybe input error there, that forward 3 for BioHazard.
Now, immediately in with the tick grabs. Very common trait with a Bane right there. Being unpredictable. I think Aixi trying to maybe predict a grab there. Unsuccessful and punished for 470 damage. Armor breaking level 3. What a start for BioHazard so far.
Well, there's the wake up. No, it's going to work for Aixi. What is going on here?
That was just weird. That was such a strange exchange, but another tick grab. Likely to take the first round off. One more hit here.
Debuff. Aixi can get an opening here. Is that going to do it? No, doesn't quite connect in range.
Yeah, I think
access that. Oh, there we go.
There's that Venom. I think Aixi knew that it wasn't going to kill as well, so he didn't overcommit. But fantastic start here. But there we actually just sort of been informed. Let's not forget it was Nivek versus BioHazard. It's a matchup he's seen before.
I mean, he looked comfortable then. He looks comfortable now. The clean life bar. Oh, wow. I mean, there's actually one thing I wanted to point out about this show I really think separates Bio from the rest of the pack, is that Venom management. Knowing when to pop each level, knowing when to go up to level 3, when to use the armor breaking, you know, when to mitigate damage, whatever it is you're doing with that Venom, BioHazard manages it so well. And there's that wake up, just trying to get out of that situation. Oh, wow. The challenge for the down 1, but no way that's going to outspeed Supergirl.
Yeah, I mean, Bane's down 1 is a lot slower than Supergirl's, that's for sure. Can he chip enough? No bar to confirm the meter button. Doesn't matter too much because he's got an Ania, but just look at that bar difference. Aixi has so much work to do.
Debuff now down, interactable.
There's the armor. Oh, tries to jump. That must have been a last minute decision.
And again, armor's going to chew that up completely.
Oh, one more of those will do it. Oh no. Oh, it's just so violent. One game down already for BioHazard.
She's Kryptonian, she'll be alright. Restart? No, player select. Actually, I was going to point that out before, that this is a stage with no background bounce, which really seems to be something that Aixi thrives on. The majority of his games we saw before, just extending damage or for less use of meter, using the background bounces to do so. And unfortunately getting Slaughter Swamp, so again, not going to be having hold of the bounce, but as is the way with random stage.
In some of these instances, you can't really help but just give it a go. You know, if you don't get your background bounce, you just got to be able to sort of capitalize and play without it. With a good start already, sort of Aixi getting that first hit, it's going to be a good start for him, but another down 2 challenge.
Well, good to wake up. As soon as he sees you're in the air, BioHazard not afraid to go for that Venom upper.
By the low, launched once more, full combo, already tied up the health. Another tick grab, here we go. Is he going to pop another pop of Venom? No, he just does it raw. Yeah, the second he saw that, come on, another tick grab. Aixi needs to make a good decision here, but right now it's just not working out.
Bait. BioHazard one step ahead the whole time, but at the very least, Aixi given full screen behind him to work with, but BioHazard has been closing that space very difficult.
Well, I think fighting against Nivek and Vienna and Aixi right now kind of answers the question. Clearly a matchup that BioHazard is ready for.
So you see Aixi trying to stick up that Frost Breath to try and chew up the armor, but doesn't hit quite as fast enough. Oh, that's going to be full armor breaking. So much unclashable. 480 into Body Splash. Where did that even hit?
That's just a blender at the end of the day. The second you just don't get those good reads on when you think he's going to go for those grabs or when he predicts that you're going to try and escape, it's a mixture of Aixi sort of making the wrong calls on when he's going to grab and BioHazard just making amazing reads. But no, straight into restart match. He doesn't want a background bounce.
And the Bane Bomb going to get that first bar overhead into tick grab. Aixi just is not reading these tick grabs at the right time.
I actually think he's been hit by every single one so far.
And another one of those wake up Venom uppers.
But it's a really good call from BioHazard because a neutral jump is such an amazing source of pressure for Supergirl. And clearly BioHazard knows that. But also, as he's got the Venom popped, he's going to take reduced damage. So Supergirl doing less damage on hit is a major win for him too.
And as they wake up. No trip attempt either. You see Aixi definitely looking a little bit hesitant now. Let's go for these. There's another Bane Bomb coming up for BioHazard. Pops the Venom.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no punish. That is a huge mistake.
It's the down two just in case, but another failed punish attempt. I may be sort of going for the down two to catch him airborne. Probably should have waited for him to land. Meteor Burn for the extra damage. BioHazard's on match point, the verge of a very quick 3-0.
Aixi has been looking super clean all day, but we can see it sort of starting to fall apart here. He needs to collect himself and keep himself composed. And there's the use of the armor, just trying to get in there, get in through the gaps. Going for it this time, goes for down one, doesn't want to mess around.
There we go. I mean, still, mountain to climb. Definitely a mountain to climb.
Let's not say it's impossible, but BioHazard definitely riding the momentum. Oh, lands straight onto the trait.
Not a huge amount of damage though, and with no laser, no way to chase down the raging charge, and wow, magnet arms.
Reads a tip grab, but there we go, because he goes for the jump.
Oh, that was such a weird exchange. Aixi with the lifeline.
I think BioHazard kind of expecting him to turn around there, but Aixi doing well for himself. It's a corner sequence, but full meter as the super coming out. Oh, and there's the armor meeting armor.
Unfortunately though, with just so many armored options, that's it. Game over. So much damage and not much Aixi can do after that connects. BioHazard moving on in winners, looking really strong. I think what we already expected. Aixi definitely though still in the tournament.
Bane in winners finals guaranteed. BioHazard playing as clean as ever, but still, I mean, it really comes down to, I mean, Bane is so intimidating to defend against, right? You get hit by forward 3, back 3, all that unclashable damage. As soon as you get hit by anything, and you see him go for a forward 3 or back 3, and you just hear that Venom just jack all the way up to 3, that's where you know you've got to start being careful and you're worried, because you're just about to eat about 500 damage, probably, you know, close to 500-600 damage, unclashable. If he meter burns forward 3 into forward 3, and I mean, like there, right? Even if Aixi had like double the health he had in that situation, Bio probably still could have killed on unclashable damage. And it's meter burn forward 3, so you can't even air tech. And it's increased damage because it was a meter burn forward 3 to begin with. My oh my.
So, our next matchup in winner's side top 8 is an Evo Runback. It's going to be Tekken Master, NASA Tekken Master versus PXP Foxy Grampa. It's going to be, I reckon though, it's going to be probably a different matchup than we saw last time, because Black Adam is, in many ways, he is a completely changed character. He's a changed man now. It doesn't do the damage that he did once before, but the fundamental tools that you need to advance against Deadshot still actually remain. Meter burn dive kick still launches. Regular dive kick still a really good mobility tool.
I actually wonder if we're going to see Tekken Master go for Green Arrow here as well. Because, you know, shoutouts to Yamini. The Green Arrow play we saw from Vianality last week just came out of absolutely nowhere and was pulling upsets left, right and centre. Got himself into top 8, where he was actually eliminated by Foxy Grampa in a reverse 3-0. Yamini went up 2 games on Foxy, and Foxy made a full 3-game comeback in that top 8 by adapting to Green Arrow on the fly. So, you know that Foxy is now more ready for Green Arrow now than he was last week, but Tekken Master has been playing Green Arrow against the majority of his opponents I've seen this weekend, and whether he'll do it now, I suppose we'll see soon, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see him try it. Well, Tekken Master is fresh off that convincing win versus Madzin, you know, where the Green Arrow versus Batman pick just worked out so well for him. You know he's going into versus fighting
ready for Deadshot as well, because Foxy is one of the biggest threats in this tournament, next to, you know, the WhiteBois, BioHazard, Tekken Master himself. All of these players are ones to watch out for, but if you are one of the top players going into this tournament, you're going to prepare for every single one of your competition.
Well, let's think about the roster he has, but, you know, speaking of which, you know, let's bring a little bit of attention to DLC characters, right? So, Red Hood and Sub-Zero. Red Hood we haven't seen anywhere near as much of this weekend as I assumed. I think Red Hood probably a very strong character now in the current patch. Obviously, you know, Sonic Fox has been doing great things with him. Sub-Zero we expected to see a little bit with Madzin, but Starfire just came out for Ultimate Edition owners and is going to be available soon publicly. But let's talk about Starfire for a bit.
Foxy's been playing a lot of Starfire.
He has.
Like, the second she becomes legal, I'm pretty sure Foxy will actually be jumping ship to Starfire straight away. She's got really good range, she's got really good damage, her combos are really fun to watch as well, but she's just got a lot of potential. So far, the DLC characters kind of do their job, as you would expect. Red Hood, fantastic character. Sub-Zero, you know, people are kind of hit and miss about Sub-Zero, but at the end of the day, he still plays very much like Sub-Zero in Injustice, which I think was the goal. You know, he plays as you expect him to. Starfire fits Injustice 2 like a glove.
That's true, and she is maybe one of the most demanded characters, right, when it comes to, like, fans asking. It was kind of Red Hood and Starfire.
The people got what they want. They definitely got what they want.
And then she'll be available in the IPS in a few weeks' time when her sort of ban period is gone. But hang on a minute, is that Brainiac I see?
Pretty sure I just saw a Brainiac. Now, this is either a button check and he has no intention of going with it, but yeah, this is like
maybe.
Button check. No, this is definitely a button check. But no, Brainiac versus Deadshot is a really weird matchup. Personally, you know, commentator opinion time, not convinced Brainiac does amazingly well, so we'll see. Tekken Master's been playing this character quite a lot, but no, straight back into player select. Was that a troll along? No, it is Brainiac! Okay, Brainiac in top 8. It's going to be Deadshot versus Brainiac, no doubt. Tekken Master's been using this character quite a lot since the patch. What did the patch do, though?
I mean, Brainiac is a big thing for Brainiac was a lot of the top tier characters getting taken down a peg really helped him out by default. But specifically, Brainiac got a lot of love when it comes to maybe his drone management was a big thing. You know, he hits a little bit harder now than he did before, but the big thing is now when he's holding onto a drone and blocks an attack, the drone doesn't disappear. So you can now use drones for more efficient punishes and some trickier setups.
Instant jump 1 for the challenge and hit confirm into dive kick. Now there's the splat. From this range, though, the problem is those drones aren't going to do a whole lot against Deadshot, because the second you get hit by one of those projectiles and trade, your drone's going to vanish.
So you have to think how much experience is Foxy going to have versus a Brainiac of this kind of level, but already looking very comfortable in the matchup. Just mixing Tekken Master up with these overheads and these lows, and that air gunshot has just been stopping Tekken Master in his tracks. Instant dive kick, though, that's going to hurt for a lot of damage.
Now here's the splat, setup attempt, does he bait a wake up? No, commits. Trying to go for the straight shot punish, back-to-back overheads. It's actually, in many ways, down 1 or instant air overhead. They are unreactable 50-50s, but Foxy with the first round. But Tekken Master looking quite strong.
He's approaching very smart. I mean, he's getting hit by a lot of these air gun shots, but he's not letting it deter him. At the end of the day, he has to have Foxy make that read. Oh, doesn't quite connect. Instant low, though, but his back is to the wall. All this screen behind Foxy.
That's what worries me. Tekken Master has no space to sort of retreat, but yeah, catching him airborne. Couple of good advances right here. Another knockdown.
400 damage, too. That doesn't tickle.
Last minute mix up. Hang on a minute. Tekken Master with the answers. So far, Foxy's kind of had a hard time answering back to those tendril lifts.
I mean, early on we saw him going for those instant gunshots, but at the end of the day, like I said, you have to make the read that it's going to do it. If you just do an air gunshot before, and he obviously doesn't do the swing, then you're jumping into the air and giving him a free way in, but because Foxy's reacting with it.
But because you're getting punished by an air gunshot, you're not really taking a huge amount of damage, you know, for your attempt hasn't really been, I mean, what, 66 damage? You'll take that all day for the one payoff being a full combo.
Oh, overhead into the environment. Air tech coming up from Tekken Master, but gets punished on landing. Tekken Master doesn't have any bar now, though, so dive kicks can't be made. Well, there's no mix-up now. The dive kicks just builds 1 bar. Here comes Tekken Master, 1-2 splat. One more successful read's going to do it. But hang on, Foxy. That's it, clean jumping, but no combo.
This might have been a crucial mistake. Oh no, the trick shot! Full combo!
Oh my lord, Swaggy's not coming out that chip damage. What a sequence from Foxy Grampa. The bounce shot. Doesn't even be aiming at you to kill you, Brainiac.
Wow. I mean, Deadshot never misses. At the end of the day, Tekken Master with that dropped combo at the last minute.
So even 12th level intellect cannot avoid bullets.
Foxy just with the 13th level intellect to catch that air trick shot.
I mean, that is the step above, right? How do you beat 12th level? 13th level.
I think really though, there's no getting around that. Unfortunately, I don't know if Tekken Master just maybe sort of just dropped it mentally and expected him to clash. I mean, it almost in many ways kind of looks like a deliberate combo drop, but if he finished his plate, the game would have been over.
So the Tekken Master played that so well though. I mean,
I was impressed.
Big deal was just, it looks like the tendril swing, at the very least, just stops Deadshot from using the rifle. And the rifle being such an important matchup for, well, a tool for any matchup with Deadshot. The swing, just getting over it for a full combo seems to be a big difference here. But having that answer for, and another good jump actually, I'll get to that in a little bit. An instant jump 1 on reaction, knowing that Deadshot's jump 1 is such a popular tool. I mean, really good display. There's the standing 3 again. Amid as well, so you cannot crouch it. Oh, tries to whiff punish, but doesn't quite get it. But a nice little low for Tekken Master. Oh, good interception. This is an amazing start. Doesn't get the splat though, so Foxy still alive, barely. But everything is chunking with Brainiac now. Tekken Master commanding lead in game 2. I love the fact that he did back 1, 2, 3 because he expected Foxy to try and straight shot the trait. Oh, that was really nice pressure tool coming up from Tekken Master, but doesn't quite connect. Ooh. Another good call, and there it is. I mean, it's all going to be unclashable. A huge damage. Foxy has a lot of work to do here. Still, though, he did just let Deadshot out of the corner, which is somewhere that he's just been doing the most amount of damage, but he does have some good interactables now to contest with that range. Oh my God, he's just all over the place. Oh my lord. Even on hit, 12th level mobility coming out from Tekken Master. Look at the life lead, but 4 bars for Foxy. He's making a lot of really good decisions though also on that back 1, 2, 3, because if Foxy goes for like a charge swing, the down forward 1 will connect. He does instant air dive kick on prediction of a shot. Now Foxy, you still can't count him out. Deadshot with the range, he can deny the advance and gets a good read, but here comes Tekken Master again, staying safe with the meter burn down forward 2. Oh wow, dive kick meets that air jump 1. More unclashable coming out from Tekken Master, does not want to give Foxy the chance to get any health back. I mean, we can't forget that. Brainiac also has a decent wake-up attack. And there we go. Oh no, he lands in front of him! But still, that tendril charge going to do things to even things up 1 game apiece.
Now, there's one major thing at work here. He needs a great start. If Tekken Master gets a good start, and again, back-to-back, instant jump 1 has worked every single time, and there's the read on the wake-up. Full combo spending a bar, hard knockdown on the forward 2, 3. Here comes the setup.
He still has the drone. There we go. Disappears now. Oh, active with the gunshot again. Spends the bar now, didn't have the trait active either, but there we go, now he's managed to establish that distance. The wake up, Tekken Master already has Foxy in the corner. Oh, opens the low, Tekken Master wasn't quite ready for it. Oh! It's a bit of a gamble sometimes if Foxy makes a run reaction there, he gets hit by a dive kick, that's going to be a full combo. All the pressure coming out from Tekken Master, standing 3 into drone. Oh, into the final overhead of the string. Again, I mean, Foxy he has to let go of block, he has to dedicate to trying to punish, and again, goes for an air shot, but doesn't work out. The air escape to stay alive, but for how long? Another full combo, doesn't finish it off though, and the meter burn back 3 to blow through the wake-up attack. Tekken Master knows exactly what he needs to do in this matchup. He has 130 health though, Foxy can definitely take this one down, the patience showing off. Oh, there's it. Oh, tries to interrupt the gap, gets hit by the meter burn. Their standing 3 trait is such an amazing tool. The whiff dive kick, but recovering instantly. The grab comes out. Does Foxy go for the reverse grab? Yes, now he's got the full screen to work with. Tekken Master, though, has no troubles getting him back in there so far. Deadshot actually didn't move back, so they're quite close here.
Oh. Has to stay safe. The down forward 2, so unsafe without the meter burn. Every one of these rifles is such a risk.
Still though, Tekken Master has gotten Foxy's head. He has him stopping the rifle, which is exactly what he wanted to do. Still using it as a meaty. Can't use a tendril string off the ground.
Now this is where Foxy wants to be. One projectile too many. Oh, that's going to catch him with a dive kick. Foxy's been unclashable. Oh, instant jump 1 to meet him in the air. This is a very evenly matched matchup. Like, it is just both players. You can see the reads they're making left, right, and center.
Does Foxy trade out the meter though? Yes, he does. No health back coming up from Tekken Master. Tekken Master has to work his way in again without any dive kicks. Or meter burn dive kicks, I should say.
That jump 1 to meet him before he has a chance to land a hit. Oh, there's that down one. It's an unsafe tendril, that one. That was a risky decision. Foxy could have punished him with the game on that. And anti-air.
He tries to confirm off a straight shot too. Didn't quite get it. Wow, behind him, the hitbox on that jumping 1. Little punch.
Knocks him out of the air.
So he really wants to keep that space. Anything Tekken Master hits, that's going to be unflashable.
Oh, that could be it. No, he air techs. And the wake up to go through the meter burn. Tekken Master again with the clutch. It's currently 2-1. I mean,
that was so close. That last decision, the rifle meeting the wake up. The wake up invincibility just getting through.
I mean, you can see, I mean, it was just smart decision after smart decision for Tekken
Now, I can't
Master.
imagine that Foxy's going to change character, but does he change the stage? We've seen that a lot this time, is going for background bouncers or not, or deciding, you know, is this stage good for me, is it not? And it's hard to say on Kandak, because obviously Deadshot gets those corner escapes, which is always really useful, but also Brainiac being a power character, if you do go through to the other side, he has all those unblockables he can throw at you, and whether or not the stage has been quite as impactful. Oh, Brainiac ship, this could be an appropriate way.
Foreshadowing, perhaps? I mean, we'll find out. But it's constant adaptation on the fly. The second Foxy tags him with an instant jump 1, Tekken Master's instant jump 1, and on hit confirms. But the active frames, the range, it contests. Both these characters have answers for each other, but you've got to make a decision on the fly, which is exactly what both of them are doing. Instant air dive kick. Here comes a full combo. I actually love the way that Tekken Master is using that jump in 1 though. He's using the jump in 1. If it doesn't connect to anything, he just goes in for the dive kick. But if you're patient like Foxy was, you can be ready to punish all the options, but you have to sit there. Taking the minus frames. Again, very risky, the down 1 into Tendril, but so far Tekken Master's been on the money. Oh, tries to use the bounce shot to catch him, but doesn't quite connect. Air tech coming out from Foxy, trying to keep himself alive, doesn't want to lose his life bar. Another push block, but again, immediate Tendril swing coming up from Tekken Master. He wants to get as close as possible. Finally catches the jump in too, he was close enough, the shot whiffs. Tekken Master's on match point. Tekken Master has just been so overwhelming in this series so far. I mean, he's just not letting there be space at all. Oh, that cross up. Oh, but he gets saved with Interactable, but doesn't get the combo into a wake up. It's looking tough for Foxy. He has a lot of bar to work with, but Tekken Master's making himself so hard to hit. That's been the ultimate issue. Oh, and again the dive kick to challenge it. Push block again, doesn't want anything to do with the dive kicks, but Tekken Master's been closing the space so well. We've punished it with the dive kick. I mean, just look at how active Brainiac, just never off the ground. This is where he wants to be. Foxy's in so much trouble now. Very low on life. This is chip potential, but I mean, Tekken Master, he is not afraid. It's a jump 1. I mean, let's not say it's impossible, but still, this is a massive life deficit to be at. With the reads that Tekken Master has made so far, not allowing the chase down as well. Tekken Master is looking so good.
Tekken Master is almost completely unclashable.
Well, I mean, is it possible? Is the comeback possible right now? I'm not sure. We'll find out very soon. 1 bar left on the side. Tekken Master, rifle coming out from Foxy. Bouncing shot. Spending his only bar. May not have the chance to build another. Tekken Master, the thing he gets hit. The wake up comes through. I mean, it was a read. Top Foxy had to dedicate to it. But Tekken Master once again takes it over Foxy Grampa, and that is the answer, really. I mean, Brainiac is a good choice. It's why you play multiple characters, I think.
I mean, it's definitely something that, I mean, it's a character that Tekken Master has been working on a bit. We saw him use it in Venality. It could be another one of those characters that we know Tekken Master has for certain matchups. It definitely seems to be his style. Like, obviously, Green Arrow for Batman. Brainiac, potentially his answer for Deadshot, or maybe at least Foxy's Deadshot, just to sort of directly try and get in on the way Foxy plays. That heavy reliance on the meter bomb rifle and that sort of very lame style keep away. And the way he plays Deadshot, Brainiac seems to really do a good job of sort of complementing the counter to it. But I think there's many different ways there. So it's not just actually how Deadshot keeps you away on the ground, which, you know, the second you get one good dive kick, it's why I think Tekken Master was just so adamant in how he was going to try and sort of press that advantage, because you get anti-air. Let's take one of the very obvious cases there was the Tendril swing, where you go in for a Tendril swing and you go from full screen to point blank. It forces Deadshot to make a read on what projectile he wants to go for, or he has to jump and then meet you in the air with a straight shot. In itself, it's a big risk, because the second he gets one jump in, hit confirm, then the dive kick, it's massive damage. But also, the damage he takes getting in is nowhere near the damage he will do once he closes in the space. He'll take one shot for a 40% trade every single time. Indeed, but Tekken Master going to be advancing on to winners finals, where he'll be playing against BioHazard, so we might be able to see, again, it could be a matchup I'm interested to see. It could even be like maybe Bane versus Brainiac. Can you imagine that?
It's Brainiac versus Bane. I almost said Baniac. Almost got them mixed together.
Oh, if that happens, that's going to come out by accident.
Bane versus Brainiac in winners finals is something I don't think anyone really expected, but it's totally possible. It just depends on what they decide to do. But we have losers to go through now. Nivek, who lost narrowly to Aixi 3-2 in the Supergirl Mirror, up against UndeadJim, who unfortunately fell quite convincingly to BioHazard as Harley Quinn versus Batman. UndeadJim probably going to be going with Batman again, I reckon. And Nivek, his patented Supergirl, probably going to stick with her as well.
I'll be very surprised to see Nivek go anything but Supergirl at this point, but UndeadJim, he himself apparently has a really good Brainiac too, but knowing that Tekken Master beat Nivek with Brainiac last week, it was last week for sure.
It's Vienna, yeah?
Yeah, in Vienna. Knowing that happened, maybe we'll see UndeadJim go to Brainiac as well, or maybe he'll stick to Batman, which, you know, he's, I think, more comfortable with, but we'll see.
So while we get this match underway, guys, just remind any of you guys that have just joined us, this is the Injustice 2 Pro Series, presented by PlayStation 4. We're live at VsFighting, and it's quite a special tournament, I think, for a lot of the European and, you know, especially the UK boys, because this is the big Injustice tournament, the big NetherRealm tournament. No matter what the NetherRealm game is at the time, VsFighting has it, and it is a major event that everyone in the UK travels to. It's a special piece of history.
VsFighting has consistently for years now been the biggest NetherRealm tournament in the UK. You know, the community really adores VsFighting. They have done for years. You know, ever since dating back to 2013, 2014 was kind of the real start for NetherRealm.
The Injustice tournament, and then the Mortal Kombat 9 side tournament, and then MKX came out the year after, where it was 2 good years of that.
Indeed.
So now we're creating history with Injustice 2. This is a landmark event for many of us. It's not just, you know, it's the fact that we have so much international talent that have flown in for this event. It's given a lot of the UK guys that otherwise, most of us can't travel, the chance to really play the world's best players. So it's experience all round, no matter what your skill level is, no matter what kind of player you are. These players are here to play, and they'll happily play you. It's a great way to level up. You know, shout outs to offline tournaments in general, really.
Of course. I'm also happy to see so many of the UK boys specifically. I know this is a majorly European event, but you know, as a personal bias thing, some of the actual UK guys, obviously UndeadJim, Aixi, Foxy, Grampa, at the very 3. I don't know who the other 2 are that are waiting in losers top 8, but at the very least, that's 3 UK players now here, ready and waiting, which is, you know, putting in the time, as much opportunity to travel around as, like, for example, Foxy, Madzin, and Tekken Master being the 3 big international players right now have had the chance to travel basically everywhere, but not so much to the other players. And seeing them manage to turn up to basically what could be the one premiere they could go to and have done well there really makes me happy.
So we're just kind of waiting for the match to get underway, so we'll be with that as soon as possible. But it's been a good tournament so far, and even outside the top 8 we had some amazing games. But really, who's your pick to maybe win the tournament? Looking at where we are currently so far, who's your pick?
So, as currently, we might see Tekken Master win with Brainiac.
Do you reckon this could be the tournament Tekken Master takes it?
I think currently, I mean, I know it's our winners finals waiting, but I think BioHazard and Tekken Master being the ones to watch in winner's side, I think they're probably the 2 strongest here looking this weekend. So I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those 2 take it, for sure.
They're going to be having a lot of comfort too, because one of those guys will be grand finals winner's side. And that's a hell of a comfort zone, because when you've got that comfort of winners, and it's really, you've got to win 3 games, your opponent's got to win 6. You know, they've got to do double the work. So either way, you know, we'll see.
Of course, but I guess we'll see soon. We're just resetting the console now, so just be a little few minutes now. But
refresh.
Already had some good games for sure, and it's a good time for the game, I think. The game is in a good spot after the patch. A lot of good players all over the place, doing well for themselves. Characters, I mean, Brainiac, maybe Harley Quinn, Bane, winner's side. I think it's been a good time for the game, I think, and this is, you know, Summer Jam as well today. It's very much kind of like a weekend of Injustice.
So while we get things reset, guys, we're going to go for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. The Injustice 2 Pro Series will be back after this.
In my years fighting crime, I've learned one truth. That every villain is the hero of his own story.
That's the problem with fighting for truth and justice. The battle never ends.
With this crew on the job, what could go wrong?
The fighting game taking the world by storm joins forces with the best in esports as the battle for supremacy comes to E-League. This October, Justice has a new league.
You're burning the wrong bridges.
I want none with Dick Grayson's killer.
It was an accident.
Welcome back, everybody. So once again, we're back getting ready for our match. Nivek's just gone for a quick bathroom break, I believe. So, you know, sometimes real life gets in the way there. But this is the Injustice 2 Pro Series presented by PlayStation 4. We have some updates. Who's made top 8 losers side?
So, losers side top 8, we had UndeadJim is going to be moving on. He took out, I believe, Slayer on his way to get here. And Madzin made top 8 by eliminating Omega K to do so. So, I don't want to say completely unpredictable results, but a few wild cards here and there, but at the same time, a lot of ones we kind of expected to see here. But I think UndeadJim doing well. I think Birmingham overall have had a really good weekend for sure.
I mean, 2 Birmingham boys in top 8, regardless, is a huge achievement. But I'm interested to see kind of what happens as we progress, because I believe WhiteBoi's in there as well, which, I mean, in many ways, to the surprise of nobody. So WhiteBoi has the potential to get really far. He, once again, was in grand finals of Viennale last week. So he's got what it takes to get top 2 in Europe. I mean, he can get first place in America. I don't think there's anywhere in the world that can really keep WhiteBoi from a grand finals.
No, it's difficult. It's a bit difficult, and considering he got second place at Vienna too. Just a quick update here. So our winners finals is going to be BioHazard from Canada versus Tekken Master from Bahrain, and we can see we've actually had some good games already going into this. I mean, I think the big unpredictable one has been Tekken Master's character choice. Right, so he came in with Green Arrow and Brainiac, have basically been his main 2 this weekend, but we know he plays a bunch other as well, but they're the ones he's kind of settled on. Do you think he's going to have those for the long haul, or do you reckon he's going to keep sort of keeping his roster open to suggestions as we move through?
I think Tekken Master's roster has changed quite significantly depending on what the patch has done. You know, obviously his main character being Atrocitus, who was nerfed in many ways, where many people think Atrocitus is still strong, but I don't think it means Atrocitus can win 100% by himself anymore, and I've really seen Tekken Master use very little Atrocitus since the patch. So now the patch has come out and he's gone, right, now I kind of need to reevaluate how I want to approach the game. Green Arrow is a good answer for some of these like really top tier characters. Batman's one of those that we've seen put to good use. Deadshot's a dangerous character in the game, and clearly we can see his Brainiac can get the job done because he defeated Foxy Grampa. Most of those games were really close, but it just came down to a final decision that Tekken Master came off better in the exchange. But Brainiac, I've said it since day one, I feel like Brainiac has been such an underrated character.
I mean,
I'm glad to see him come
lie.
out.
I wasn't a believer in Brainiac.
You and I were just split down the middle on that one.
But, you know, obviously it took seeing Brainiac players do what he does best to kind of open my eyes a little bit, which is kind of the way it should be, I think. But let's move down to what's about to happen. So we've got Nivek from Greece, UndeadJim, Electronic Dojo UndeadJim has had a tactical shirt change now, wearing an ED jersey. So it's going to be Birmingham versus Greece. Probably going to be Batman versus Supergirl, I'd imagine. Nivek's been all over the place. He really has been to many, many tournaments. Just coming off fresh off a decent result at EVO with a pre-patch Supergirl, where he defeated some sort of really, really respectably solid players. You know, a big notable one being actually Coach Steve back at EVO, which was a great result for him because he lost so closely in winners and got that run back in losers. But time has progressed since then. The patch has changed quite a lot. Nivek's still doing really well. UndeadJim finally getting the chance to show the world what he has, and fresh off a victory against Slayer to get top 8, so he's riding a lot of momentum here. Now this is the button check. Batman versus Supergirl was absolutely the matchup we're expecting. Not really, on face value alone, not a tremendous stage either of them. However, that statue in the middle being something, you know, it's an unblockable power characters can throw down. That means it is going to be quite stressful. Like, as soon as the match starts, it's going to be a read of, does Nivek throw the statue or doesn't he? Oh no, they go back to player select, so never mind.
One more chance at random stage, and it's up. Oh, Joker's playing poor up. I feel like so far, Supergirl players in top 8 just can't catch a break. They have not got a background bounce one time, and it's not going to be any different here. Joker's Playground.
I mean, Joker's Playground is one of those stages that, as a player, you both love it and you hate it, because I can't really imagine a character that doesn't benefit from this stage, but it also means that your opponents always do at the same time. But first hit going down, doesn't get a full combo from the interactable, but Jim gets the first bar with it at the very least. Speaking of a full combo though, he gets one of them afterwards. Now that's going to be risky and very difficult. There's a couple of elements in this matchup. The down 2, very, very, very fast, so you can go down 2 before back 1-2, and we know that UndeadJim knows that. But also the mechanical bats to punish the breath. It's going to be very easy punish. Oh wow, ducks under the lasers, but the patience from UndeadJim doesn't want to stick out anything and get hit by the trait. The matchup's going to be a little bit different with that back 1-2-3 game that Supergirl has now, because I know down 2 interrupts back 1-2 breath, but now back 1-2-3 is safe, so just committing to that string right there, not as risky as it used to be. There's that mix-up, UndeadJim probably fuzzing it. Oh, there's the air tech, holds on to the 4-3, maybe was trying to bait that. Good anti-air coming up from Nivek. Letting anything go through, still down on life, and meter. What an interesting circumstance
I'm not really sure UndeadJim was ready for that hit. I mean, he went for the 4-3 just in case, but yeah, really weird exchange. But
Nivek,
Nivek,
this life bar should be gone from Nivek. That execution area is going to haunt UndeadJim if he loses too much life here. Again, that could have been 2 opportunities.
I love the patience. Like, both players prepared for the mechanical bats to be let rip at any given moment. So just kind of allow Batman to really sort of stagger some of these strings. Pressing buttons in between is so risky. At any point, he could release the bat and punish you. While they have this full screen game, I mean, Nivek's going to be familiar with this Batman matchup. Recently in SoCal, did very well against Nubcakes at Wednesday Night Fights. He's familiar with top Batman pressure.
I mean, we know Nivek understands the matchup, but UndeadJim, he's got a lot of just great fundamentals, right? He's got the patience, he's got the knowledge, but the one thing that consistently lets him down in tournaments, especially when he's playing on stream, is execution. That really is the Achilles heel of it.
There's the read from Nivek. Understands he can't get a button for free. Commits to the slide. Full combo. Forcing the clash. Now, it's going to be an early clash right there. Nivek trying to give himself that breathing space.
It's very dark Batman right now. All black. Face covered. Nice life lead though, but I was about to say pixels left on his first life bar. Now gone. Has clash, which is good. We know Nivek has just used his, so he's going to have a few less defensive options. Punish is going to be a lot more guaranteed now than before.
Sometimes a jump in like that is so just obvious. I think that's why we didn't even see an anti-air attempt. He was just waiting for the air dash that never came. And there's another clash. 2 bars each, though.
As if.
How much do they spend?
I mean, one thing, like, this could just be theory fighting, but Batman's ability to let go of bats, like in sort of gaps and block stun. Supergirl has a lot of gaps, right? In her strings, anything into sort of frost breath for the most part. There's usually a gap there you can sort of blow up. Surely the mechanical bats are one of the best things in the game at dealing with that.
Well, we may see it put to use, but so far Nivek looking great in this first game. One more hit in the corner. I mean, Supergirl's corner damage, especially after the patch, way higher than it was before.
Schools the bats. Oh, gets a hit. Where's Nail turn it into a combo? There's the plus frames. Patience from Nivek. Oh, baits out the down 2 and whip punishes it completely. Nivek did use his clash before. Very meter intensive from UndeadJim.
I really like the slight delay before the neutral jump just to allow the bats to come back right before. And Nivek, wow, what an answer!
Instant jump laser to get over the string. Very smart.
Oh no! Oh no!
Interesting change.
And we all know how long that stuns for. That's going to be a full combo finished off by the Frost Breath. And I mean, at the last minute, would have been a great harpoon if the tornado was not there.
Good use from Nivek. He made the read that UndeadJim was going to throw something, and fortunately for him, the thing UndeadJim threw just happened to be the slow grappling hook. And he did get the trade.
Now here we go.
Begin.
Right, so going straight back in, same stage.
Slide being made safe, Nivek trying to grab.
Now one of the unblockables already out of play, but because Nivek didn't get the first hit, he had no bar to punish, but the back one too, armor breaks. I mean, I said it very briefly before, Nivek has done very well against some of the world's best Batman players. This is a matchup he is very familiar with.
Good block on that cross-up though from UndeadJim. Good reactions as to where that's going to land. Oh, just tags the back 2, but nothing more than that.
Mechanical bat. I mean, air dashes versus mechanical bat is always really good if you've got an air dash, because they just go in the wrong direction. You know, you go so quickly, they can't track you.
Good block coming up from UndeadJim. Again, the patience catches him, but isn't quite close enough to get a combo.
Oh no. Oh, unblockable barrels.
So instant jump anti-air too. We see a lot of players doing that a lot today.
Yeah, Nivek, I think just no more than Nivek. It's such a popular anti-air option for him. She's already got a fantastic down 2, but if you've got the reactions, you can just meet them in the air.
We actually saw Nivek doing that yesterday, when he knows he's at the range that forward 3 is going to knock them towards the corner just to end the round.
So what's going to happen when you've been I mean, many characters are playing teams of characters, but so far Nivek very much has been a character specialist. Supergirl is his go-to character.
Nice block on the overhead there. Using all his trait that won't have lasers for a while.
Here comes UndeadJim. Hasn't really landed many significant hits throughout this game, so he's going to finally happily take that one, but another unblockable! I'm reckoning if we see UndeadJim lose this, I reckon he's going to go away. He does not want these unblockables to change anymore.
Good challenge on that down 2 anti though from Nivek, knowing that those Batman mechanical bats, the block stun is not that heavy, so he's not point blank when he's trying to follow up. There is a gap there you can blow up.
Now the ball is definitely in UndeadJim's court. He lands a full hit, but it's not a full combo. He still needs to get through this first life bar, let alone the second one. There's the punish on the down 2. That's a good start. But look at how little bar he has. Only just 1 bat available.
I mean, he is Batman. He can build meter very well, but Nivek just makes himself so slippery. I can say that gets the instant jump.
We're going to see a back 3 full combo. Going to get a couple of floats here because he's nice and close to the corner. What's the setup?
Apologize.
Oh, just a block. Nivek making himself very difficult to hit so far, doesn't have the bar. Oh, the block on the cross-up, but the plus frames get disrespected, and Nivek's going to take the game 2-0 now. Nivek 1 game away from advancing through top 8.
Now I'm expecting we at least see a stage change here. I think really, when you look at how the matchup has gone,
I mean,
the unblockable interactables.
I'm actually not sure.
I mean, they've helped Supergirl a lot more in this. I mean, even though they do technically help Batman, in this matchup right now, it has always helped Nivek way more.
I think player to player, yes, but Batman having a restand, he can get those unblockables in the background very well, but also now he just gave Supergirl a background bounce, and that's the biggest problem, because now you've given Supergirl a lot more damage if you're in the middle of that screen, which is crucial.
This matchup just got a little bit harder for UndeadJim. Unfortunately, that background bounce is going to give Supergirl so much more damage. Off confirms near that area of the screen. You know UndeadJim, he's going to keep the fight as far away from that as possible. Chase down, but not enough. Gotta be so backdash. Oh, no, he tries to get the combo, but isn't quite close enough. It's always going to be a lot harder to land that combo with just one bat. It's one thing about mechanical bats. The more bats you have, the easier those conversions tend to be. Another full combo. UndeadJim in big trouble. Back to the wall. There's that corner pressure. Delay wake up. Avoids mix up entirely, but punishes a down 2 with a down 2 of his own. Nivek not letting UndeadJim get away with anything at the moment. One of the first times we saw Nivek drop a combo, but using a bar just to seal the deal. UndeadJim has so much more meter, but I mean, that's match point. There's the low again. Good patience from Nivek. Oh, interrupts it with a low sweep. Air tech to escape. I mean, air tech when you are on your first life bar, it's one of the best times to use it because you just make that life bar so much harder to pin down. They have so much work, right? Because just if you can spend 2 bars, just keep hold of that life bar. I mean, you just even as a mental game, right? They see that they have a whole life bar to take away as yet, but Nivek looking so strong using all this trait here, but so much chip damage. Can't really punish those mechanical bats, but I think Nivek will take trades in this situation easily. So look at the life difference, and at that point, look, UndeadJim, he's a bit afraid to anti-air now. He is, he kind of has him where he wants him, but still in position. Nice read on that up batarang. I mean, this is a good situation for UndeadJim to be in, though. He has 2 bars, is down quite a lot on life, but this is Batman. He has mix-up potential, but he has to get a hit, and that's what he's struggling with. Nivek is making himself so difficult to open up. Tries to punish the down 2, or at least get some guaranteed plus frames, but it whiffs. See the patience. Oh, and again another challenge. No blocks none at all on those bats. I mean, that's you just said it right. That's just going to be the knowledge. Bats with minimal block stun. Oh, and there's that instant crossover, but doesn't commit. Maybe just a bit of an execution error. We know that UndeadJim didn't have a wager. Nivek maybe just assumed he still had it for a little while, but a very good situation for Nivek to be in now. Spending all of his trait. It's going to be such a hard situation for Jim. Oh, there's down 2. Gets fully punished. Doesn't get a full combo off it, though. Oh, instant throw. That's going to do enough damage for sure. Nivek is going to be advancing over UndeadJim and loser side 3-0. UndeadJim, unfortunately, going to be eliminated. I mean, he got into the top 8 and he had some good results getting this far, but at the end of the day, Nivek, he's been really dangerous from start to finish of Injustice, and so far he's been really sort of coming into his element with Supergirl, and the post-patch as well, when she is this much better, it's a great time to be a Supergirl player. Oh, for sure, especially if you like, I mean, it's been like any character, right, that got love in this patch. If they're, I suppose, worse beforehand and better now, you're rewarded for being, for sticking with them early in the game's life, and now they're a little bit better. You can basically do more with them, but, shout-outs to UndeadJim, getting top 8, always representing Birmingham well, and, Electronic Dojo as a whole, he's always there doing well for himself, and top 8 is, I think a lot of people kind of expected him to be here. I know there truly was some, world-class talent here at this tournament so far, and very much still in the bracket, but UndeadJim has always been one of those players that is known among the Europeans and internationals as just being a very, very good player. Just doesn't really get the opportunity to compete in too many major events. I mean, in the UK, VsFighting, like I said before, VsFighting really is the biggest event of the year for the NetherRealm scene as a whole. It's the one we really sort of try and turn up to. Our best players tend to come here for the most part, and UndeadJim really is one of those. So our next matchup in this top 8 is going to be another losers match. Quite an exciting one. Madzin versus WhiteBoi. Now, this is going to be interesting because you've got 2 serious clashes of styles here. WhiteBoi, very aggressive, very in your face, and basically the premier scarecrow going right now. Madzin, just very
plays Batman, but plays really with that gut feeling. If he feels like something's going to work, he'll do it. And that is what got him this far, and that's what will probably continue to do him well through the year. But Batman versus Scarecrow is not a matchup that Scarecrow players favor. Batman's heavy keep away potential, just absolute defensive play, can be very frustrating to deal with. I mean, obviously, we saw WhiteBoi versus Foxy in winner's side. We saw how difficult it can be versus a truly very defensive, dedicated defensive player. I don't know if that's the kind of player that Madzin is, but he knows how to play the matchup, and whether he'll bring that to the table, I guess we'll find out soon, if it is in fact going to be Scarecrow versus Batman.
That's the thing, though. Scarecrow versus Batman. Many Scarecrow players, including WhiteBoi, believe that it's not a particularly fun matchup to play if you're a Scarecrow player, because in many ways it's why I think Deadshot is such an effective pick as well, because it's hyper defensive, it's the ability to sort of establish a really strong ranged game, but Batman, when he goes for his projectiles, he's going to retreat as he throws them, and that's a huge thing in this matchup, where Scarecrow, he wants to walk his way in bit by bit. Every time he takes a step forward underneath the Batarang, Batman is moving away at pretty much the exact same distance. What WhiteBoi understands he's going to have to do, you got to get the guys in the corner, and that's what you're going to do as Scarecrow, especially if someone plays a defensive style. Get him in the corner and just finish it. Don't let him escape. And he did it a little bit versus Foxy. The second he could keep Foxy in the corner, we saw signs of life, but most of the match was fought mid-screen, which is where he definitely struggled.
Well, we've seen WhiteBoi play the matchup already, though. I mean, as CEO, he did defeat Forever King to do so, and Forever King was definitely dedicated to playing that big, heavy defensive style. And it worked for him. It looked very difficult, but at the end of the day, WhiteBoi was able to make it work because he got in and stayed in. And we said before, but I'll say again, Scarecrow being a heavy momentum-based character, if you can get in and you make those reads on how the opponent is going to try and defend or get off the ground, and you are right, you can just delete their life bar. Very few characters in this game have the same comeback factor as Scarecrow.
His damage is unreal, the ability to restand, it's all meter intensive, but what you're going to do as a Scarecrow player is spend the whole game just building that bar. His comeback factor comes from being able to land big damage combos into either a splat or a restand into meter burn hook, and then once they're sitting there blocking, I mean, it's +6. That Fear Wave meter burn being +6 on block, for those that may not know, being plus on block just means that you can move way earlier than the opponent can.
Especially in this matchup for sure, but Madzin being that German hype machine, I expect to see that now, but there's a button check coming through though. Red Sun Prison. Now, if it is indeed going to be Red Sun Prison, that is bad news for WhiteBoi. Because this is a great stage for gadget characters, or especially gadget characters that have good keep away potential, and that is Batman. That is Batman summed up to a T, and if you can get to that left side of the stage, you can be just horrifically powerful.
If WhiteBoi doesn't win this game, I more than expect to see a stage change. That's all I'm going to say. But this is going to be top 8 action. Loser is eliminated. Winner will move on to face more opponents, as is normally the nature of a top 8.
VsFighting 2017 Injustice Pro Series Premier Event. Top 8 European action. Madzin versus WhiteBoi. In the first take goes to Madzin. He spends the bar immediately for the Vortex. Oh, WhiteBoi blocks the cross-up but gets hit by the string. That is unfortunate. There's the splat. Nice last-minute cross-up. Now WhiteBoi with 1 bar of meter. That's all he needs for the whiff. Tries to whiff punish with the down 2, but no. Clean punish. WhiteBoi with Madzin in the corner. This is exactly where he wants him to be. And tagged, losing the trait. Huge news for WhiteBoi. And there we go, activates the trait. You'll see WhiteBoi do it at the end of combos a lot, because it's going to be quite difficult for him to safely get that out in the neutral, but if he can get a combo, he can end in the trait to get that meter starting to build.
And there we go, +6. It's going to be very difficult for Batman to release those mechanical bats. Nice last-minute cross-up. The down 1 challenge into a tick grab. And really, the second Scarecrow gets bar, I know he didn't there, but down 1 tick grab is so dangerous because it's either +6 or it's command grab.
Now, this is what WhiteBoi has to do. He does have the traumatized. It connects. Oh, used it for setup, but another delay wake-up coming out of Madzin into an immediate wager. He's going to build this health back depending on how much he wants to spend.
He had a good start, but so far, WhiteBoi just bringing this one back and then some.
Trying to jump in. Scarecrow having those long limbs to get through, but oh, they're down 1 to challenge. Madzin using a lot of bar here, and WhiteBoi is just snuffing it. Instant wake-up.
The thing is, if you're going to be familiar fighting a character like Batman and you acknowledge that it's not a particularly fun matchup to play, you're going to have those little intricacies. And considering WhiteBoi is a character specialist with Scarecrow, he's going to know these little tricks that you need to know in a matchup like this.
Very low, 6 points of health left. Madzin. Oh, there's the ice. Oh, runs out just before he headbutts through it. Oh, mechanical bat's going to do that one down.
By the time he goes into the next round, he's going to be moments away from having a bat ready, but just look at the difference in life. And now, even he's already down on life, here comes the Fear Wave. He's going to just take damage as he gets in.
Oh, good block from WhiteBoi, but I don't think he expected him to land in front, and he does. That's going to be a bar. He's going to go for the mix-up. Oh, he blocks it. Blocks it correctly this time.
Madzin kind of needs to kill him really quickly, but no, it chases down.
He read the backdash, but Madzin able to slip away.
The thing is, in this situation, Madzin has to be so careful doing jailing pressure because that fear toxin is able. 4-3. No clash available either. He might be completely dead.
No, he has to traumatize. He doesn't have the damage over time. He goes for it. He backdashes.
Oh, no. Oh, that's it. Oh,
you
not
are
again.
already dead.
Not again. Oh, just WhiteBoi is the master of that. Just he finds himself in that situation so often. I mean, wow, game 1 down already.
That was a good game for WhiteBoi for sure, but Madzin, I mean, Madzin looked good in that game. It was just WhiteBoi doing what WhiteBoi does best, you know, getting in, keeping that pressure going, reading how you're going to be escaping.
But the thing is, the way WhiteBoi approaches Scarecrow, his mission is not to build Traumatize and use Traumatize. He just wants the damage over time.
As soon as he builds trait, he just uses it immediately. He would much rather have this damage over time than the launcher of the Traumatize. 9 times out of 10 you see him get it, he just uses it straight away. He doesn't care if it misses or you block it, whatever. He just wants to get that empty bar back to just build up this damage over time.
Now here we go again, this hyper defensive game. Batman really a master of both play styles. This is the matchup that Batman needs to establish. You know, don't let Scarecrow near you.
Oh, there again, he tried to use, maybe the environment interaction didn't quite have the bar in time.
Seems to go for his trade, instead armor breaking. No forward 3 today.
You have to be so careful going for those meter burn 4-3s against. Oh, just throws the monitor. No more use of the interactable for Madzin.
Oh, what? Where's the mechanical bat? It went behind him.
Madzin with the knowledge, paying attention to that teleport. Much stronger start for Madzin now. Oh, the dolphin dive. I respect the attempt from WhiteBoi, but Madzin looking good.
He's going to have the range to guarantee it back from distance. I think, yeah, there we go. WhiteBoi now going in for his Fear Toxin. The second he gets close enough to build it up, Traumatize might be a really big deal here. It's going to give him a start.
Oh, he tries to capitalize the 4-3, not quite in range. Dolphin dive again.
Madzin, he's not even going anywhere. He's not remotely pushing this advantage. He's happy playing this keep away game. Taking the minus frames to the forward 3 guarantees another mechanical bat.
That's what he needs to do though. As soon as Batman doesn't throw projectiles and let Scarecrow in, we've already seen what can happen there. WhiteBoi forced the run back, didn't activate his trait in time. Madzin just sneaks his way out of the corner.
They confirm full combo. Opts not to go for the restand though.
I think he'd rather hold the bar for the fair wave pressure, but it requires him getting close again. Gets his way through, plus frames are push blocked immediately by Madzin. Oh, meter burn back 3. You can see WhiteBoi really wanting to get a swing, but Madzin just isn't pressing anything.
Nice block on the low. Immediate backdash out of the down 1. Scarecrow with a fantastic down 1 as well. I mean, you can see Madzin, he wants no business being point blank. Keep Scarecrow on the back foot all times.
There's the Traumatize again, but he did get hit by 2 projectiles. Oh, the wake up from Madzin! He has the bar, he gets the restand. We see there is a wager from WhiteBoi. Decided to wait until he got hit by the vortex, but was able to block it correctly. That's it, he's dead. You are already dead, Madzin.
But he doesn't teleport. He doesn't teleport because he doesn't want to send Madzin out of the corner. He wants to keep him right where he wants him.
There's the plus frames again. Madzin has no bar to push block though. This is all WhiteBoi pressure. But the wager, as soon as he sees WhiteBoi has no bars left, then he wagers. Guaranteed life regen.
Or resetting the situation back to neutral and keeping the bar, which is exactly what Madzin just did. Those fear waves, it's going to build in bar now. You know WhiteBoi, he's going to build it because he wants those fear waves. The more plus frames, the better. I mean, even now, he's on the back foot, yes, but he gets in one time and it's over. Madzin just playing that runaway game. 30 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, I actually might see him come out this way. There we go, just not letting him in. Madzin, zero interest at all in pushing this advantage, and even then, mechanical bat going to cover his back. Teleport just does not work in this situation.
So it's 1-1, and in this crowd, you can hear some of the guys in this crowd making a lot of noise. This is a European tournament after all. WhiteBoi going for a stage change, not surprised at all. Madzin used that stage really well. WhiteBoi did what he could to get through it, but at the end of the day, you find yourself in that situation, Madzin is going to use those interactables, get those launchers or whatever he needs to do. I must say though, very swift adjustment from Madzin. It's a very clean adjustment from what we saw in game 1. Very much more defensive now, much more willing to just run away and build that distance, because Scarecrow gets in, he is terrifying. No pun intended. But I know Madzin, at the start of the first game, he had an amazing start and then continued to try and press the advantage, and I think that's why he gave WhiteBoi the opening. He did the same thing in game 2, but once he had a life lead, he then started to run away with the life lead. Oh, last minute cross up, here comes Madzin again. Batman will let Meatless damage, drops the combo though, but catches him. American resets.
Oh, that whiff back 3. The worst thing about that is that was his only bar. Bates upon tries to punish the wake up, doesn't quite able to. Still though, went for the attempt, but WhiteBoi down a lot on life.
It's really unfortunate for WhiteBoi, because even though we've seen all these combo drops, he hasn't actually been able to land anything significant.
Woke up with instant jump too.
Yeah.
Madzin, not even remotely afraid.
And again, this runaway style. The classic.
He's playing the matchup. He is Scarecrow. Scarecrow is one of the scariest rushdown characters in the game. If you have the tools to keep him away, you must use them.
Madzin's back to the corner though. The bear trap just create a bit of distance. That's not going to be there for the... Oh no! He sweeps right into it!
Still,
ouch!
Actually didn't lose that much damage there, but I mean, Madzin is kind of back to the wall now. No interactable there to get him out, but all this distance between... Oh, he reads the activation, and that's a full combo. Hard read for Madzin, but what a payout.
And he doesn't use the bat in the combo. He wants to keep it for the Oki afterwards, allowing him to play this runaway game. Every time we see a batarang, the crowd, yes, every single time. The chant, the low opened up, forced the clash.
You can't save Gotham.
I never quit.
Very canon matchup as well. One bar each.
Batman says something a bit more specific there. Considering the BM, Scarecrow just dished out. No respect.
Scarecrow is a savage.
Oh, there we go. There's the fear wave.
Here we go. He's gonna go no in for the fear toxin again.
Oh, but he just jumps out of the corner.
Oh no!
This is an unfortunate situation to be in for WhiteBoi. There's a full combo. He spends the extra bar. There is no wager here. If WhiteBoi guesses wrong in this mix-up. He tries to anti-air it, but he can't get it out in time. 2-1 to Madzin.
Now, once more trying to give himself either a character change or a favourable stage. Aquaman. Has he bet the fight? Has he actually bet it? I do believe he selected Aquaman immediately. He wants no part in this matchup.
Well, I mean, we know that WhiteBoi played a lot of Aquaman before the patch. I haven't seen him play Aquaman after, but I guess we'll see how he's going to adjust here. I mean, clearly a matchup he is not happy to play in. This is Injustice 2 Premier event. You know, WhiteBoi has a ton of points, but still, the more you can get yourself, the better. Oh, there it is. Go straight in for the sweep. Not quite sure what Madzin was trying to do there, but actually, yeah, we got put back on the Red Sun prison.
We were talking about Aquaman for so long, we didn't even realize we are straight back on this stage.
I mean, the other bit, but still, this stage is tough. If you're a gadget character and you have the tools Batman does, got to be careful for sure.
Now, very briefly, Aquaman, very much a changed character. Full combo off the slide. Here comes Madzin. Aquaman no longer combos off his tentacle strike, which is such an amazing full screen tool beforehand. Trident rush, very much still the same.
Oh well, he gets opened up by that. Tries to go for the aqua armor, but it doesn't matter. Match point for Madzin. 1 life bar left on WhiteBoi.
Now there was that tentacle strike on a read, goes in for the armor back 3. He's not going to get the damage he had before, but he's going to get repositioning regardless. That string remains unchanged. Oh,
hits the spark. Madzin was able to follow up though. Perhaps some muscle memory letting down WhiteBoi there, going into the tentacle strike, but still able to take down the life bar.
Not punished too heavily though. Taking into minus frames, that tentacle strike guarantee the trait, but this full screen game, he just needs to be able to compete. Now that's one of the changes to Aquaman here. He's gone in for the aqua armor, the thing that gets opened up, but also from full screen, he's not completely helpless now. Good blocks from WhiteBoi, but again, opened up for the last minute. I don't think Madzin was ready. Not quite sure what that slide was. Perhaps some weird Oki maybe tried to cross up. Not sure if he could do that, but it looked like that's what he was going for. Very expensive way to try and stay alive. Trident rush, push block, trading a bar for a bar. There's the plus frames of respect coming out from WhiteBoi, just holding all this pressure. There's the push block. As soon as he sees Madzin call the bat, that's when he push blocks. Doesn't want to deal with any of these mix-ups. Oh, Water of Life is popped immediately. Keep himself alive.
Don't be so sure.
Now, very even exchange. How much bar is spent here is what's going to be so pivotal. 2 bars from WhiteBoi now. Big life back, but no Trident rush. Not a speck of bar left. If he gets hit now, he's in trouble.
Plus frames. Oof. Hesitation from WhiteBoi. Oh, there's the hit confirm from Madzin. Gets a full combo. Doesn't have any bar, but very close to building one more. Oh, did they wake up? Keep himself alive.
Very
Madzin
smart.
went for a 4-3 setup.
No bomb.
The bomb.
Oh! The interactable fails, but again, no full combo. If that was pre-patch, it would be game over. Oh, there's a push block at the last minute. Anything here will do it. Water of Life is popped. He's alive. Oh, and there's that down 2. It's good enough, maybe even on block by itself, but good adjustment coming out from WhiteBoi. 2-2 right now. Very, very close. An amazing turnaround. But I mean, there's been a couple of bits of muscle memory here. Like, he's been hit confirming into the tentacle strike where, you know, it's something that we would see Aquaman do all the time. But also, post-patch, this is not a character WhiteBoi's been playing a huge amount of. You know, he's been going so hard on Scarecrow. But right now, he must have found himself in a situation where he needs that backup. You know, he just be like, right, Scarecrow's not going to work here. I've got to try something else or I'm going home.
I mean, he clearly still has a very tidy Aquaman and it's worked out for him. I mean, even though Tentacle Strike doesn't launch, it still does quite a chunk by itself, so it's still not like tiny damage, it's just nothing compared to what he used to get.
There's that 50-50, full combo off the slide. That's either overhead or low slide. Completely safe on block when he has trait.
Oh, WhiteBoi tries to get rid of the interaction, but Madzin stops him. Nice down to anti-air, gonna do it.
Push block again, get rid of those
Deal
bats.
with those mechanical bats, but another hit confirm. No trait active for WhiteBoi this time. This is all guarantee he has to hold. They wake up again. WhiteBoi getting so much out of that. Oh, wow, I think he might have tried a push block. He's just going to hold that chip this time, holding onto the meter. But again, because Aquaman, that Aqua Armor is such an amazing tool when you finally get caught by those bats. Spends his only bar on the Trident Rush, but you can see just how much damage it still does. Very much still doesn't tickle. Oh, not quite in range. Good blocks from WhiteBoi. Once more. Down one to challenge. Confident's not going to press a button. Only just built the bar for this, but still look at that chip damage. Let's not forget this is post-patch chip damage, and it still hits like a truck. Down one once again. With this character change, you can see exactly why he's gone for it. Eliminate the grounded game. Make it harder for him to get that damage. And again, the second he gets hit, pops the Aqua Armor, but it doesn't work out here. Match point for Madzin, but WhiteBoi cannot count him out. If WhiteBoi can get down this life bar straight away, it won't matter because he'll actually be able to get the straight back, but as it currently stands, all that trait, clean jump in, but no, Madzin doesn't commit to a jump normal, and he actually loses his life bar because of it. WhiteBoi on reverse match point. Both players, this life bar will move them through losers. Lose this, you're eliminated. Losing his trait. Very important that he's lost it, but there's a hit confirm. More damage on the table. WhiteBoi looking way better now. Oh, he gets opened up. But again, he has the trait. Madzin plays around it this time. A lot of chip damage came out there. No confirm that time. It is so close to cool. Tries to down one, but no jump in. Good blocks. The blocks from WhiteBoi have been on point. Down two, but no combo. Oh, he just presses buttons there. Still has a clash. Oh, goes under the interactable. This is such a strange exchange. Nothing substantial, but again, the water of life to save him. But he's got way more bar here. This is unbelievably close, Mustard. This is going to be a situation that his trait is going to be cooling down. Life regen for Madzin, though. No bat, no trait. The player tries to anti-air, but fumbles it. No bar, though. Oh, Madzin with the waist. Jumps over clean. Oh, it baits it out. No trait, but the wager to save WhiteBoi from eating a serious amount of damage. I have a feeling it's going to be last hit scenario here. Again, no trait, recharging once again. No trait for either of them. Oh, there's that late jump too. Connects. Oh, the sparks. He catches him. Only just built the bar. Wasn't able to use it in time. Adds in. Trouble. Maybe. It depends. There's the push block. Aquaman trait is almost back. It's there. But he's in the air already. He has the bar. And there's the trait. Plus frames. He disrespects. Oh, block damage. Doesn't have a bar here. Oh, he does it. No punish from Madzin. Oh my god, the Trident Rush! Oh, he let the block! Maybe Madzin tried to push block, but he didn't have the bar. He was ever so slightly short of having the bar. If Madzin had blocked the Trident Rush, he might have been able to win the round on it. I mean, wow. What a series. But in the last possible minute, Madzin had the opening, but really, it was just a character adjustment. Like, clearly, the adjustment worked out. The pick to Aquaman was to make it so, alright, so I've got a stronger grounded game here. The second I get opened up, I've got that Aqua Armor, let's just have a quick look at what happened at the end there. I mean, let's just look at this exchange, this constant back and forth until the very end. That push block to stop it. The block on the jump in. That use of the environment, that could have been the game. The use of the trait to keep himself alive. The block damage, that whiffed uppercut sort of... Batarang, I was about to call it Shoryuken, wrong game. Good lord. But look, that chip damage, he would have, actually think he would have survived. Had he blocked that Trident Rush, he would have survived at the end there. But it would have been like a speck of life, but he would have lived. He landed the opening on the low, went in for the up Batarang, but he didn't have the bar. Maybe he was actually expecting. Right there, he was like this close to having a bar of meter. Do you think the decision at the very end was, he's going to Aqua Armor, which means my forward 3 isn't going to combo, but it's going to be plus. I'm going to enforce a low here. He's going to block it because I don't think he's going to get opened up by the low. I'm going to do up Batarang, I'm going to meter burn it, and I'm going to get plus on hit. Plus on hit into a full combo, or on block, it's going to be a nice amount of chip. You know, I think he just felt, it looked like he was thinking so far ahead. That was just a sequence of read on read on read on read, right at the end there. I mean, it was a good series, and you know, props to, I think it was quite appropriate considering what we were talking about before about how crucial it is to have a few characters. If you play a character that has a matchup you don't like, be it, you know, Scarecrow versus Batman is not easy for Scarecrow by any means. Having a backup available to make it a little bit more manageable clearly pays off, and that is exactly why we see it. So you don't just lose a character select, and you are able to cover your bad matchups, especially in the hands of someone like Madzin, who clearly knows how to make that matchup a problem. And it's the fact that Aquaman is so changed. You know, Aquaman is a very different character, so when WhiteBoi actually landed a hit, he wasn't able to get as much damage, especially when he hit confirms. But the fundamental reason you pick Aquaman for certain matchups remained true from start to finish in that match. But speaking of matches in general, we have another one coming up.
It's going to be PXP Foxy Grampa versus Aris Nivek. So Nivek doing really well today. Supergirl getting him far in the tournament, and Foxy being sent to losers by Tekken Master, who we'll see later on in winners finals against BioHazard. But Supergirl versus Deadshot. I mean, I can't really say I've really seen these guys play much. We know they used to play all the time back in Mortal Kombat, and Injustice 2, not so much.
I mean, in MK they were like go-to training partners. It was really very much was kind of just like, you know, Nivek, Madzin, and Foxy together was like the main three that we know that they'd play all the time. But like you said, Injustice 2, I just don't know if that's the same case. But I know Foxy is quite openly doesn't think that Supergirl is that good of a character. At least he didn't pre-patch. I don't know what his thoughts are on her sort of post-patch, but still, that to me says that he's confident in fighting against her too. But I don't think I'm wrong here, but I think that every single player that's left in this tournament is from a different part of the world. Is from a different country. I think that speaks loads for just how international Injustice 2 has become. I mean, you've got Tekken Master from Bahrain, we have BioHazard Canada, WhiteBoi America, we've got Greece, UK right here, you know, Madzin just eliminated, but Germany. Very much international top 8, and that's exactly what we want to see. That's the whole point of a premier event for Injustice Pro Series, is to make these top players from all around the world travel to meet up at these tournaments where they play against the best to prove that they are, in fact, the best.
Competitive video games, they bring the world together, and that's no different with Injustice 2. I mean, it's just been a collection so far, the journey these players have had. I mean, Foxy and Nivek, they've also had their fair share of worldwide travel. BioHazard, Tekken Master, WhiteBoi, these guys have been all over the globe for Injustice 2, and it's really looking to not change anytime soon.
4 months? Like, this game has not been out for a very long time at all. Especially, you know, going through to, I suppose now we've got a few months left of premier events, but still, I mean, Injustice 2 is not even a year old yet, and the amount of competition we've seen, the amount of just sick gameplay is exactly what we want to see at events like this.
But we're at a stage where players are starting to find their characters. You know,
they're getting comfortable, right? They've had time. They're deciding what ones they want to pick.
Both these players have actually had the same problem. You know, Foxy kind of thought he would stick with Catwoman early on, and unfortunately really didn't sort of gel with that character, which resulted in a couple of bad results early on. Same thing with Nivek, who thought
Nivek had a
Wonder Woman,
an undying love for Wonder Woman, but it just was not meant to be in Injustice 2. And
sometimes you just got to let go. Sometimes you just got to let go of the character you love, and you got to pick someone that plays your playstyle better, which is why we have Deadshot and Supergirl with both these characters now. So a matchup, Supergirl, she has a lot of mobility tools, but already Foxy off to a fantastic start.
Quite an uncharacteristic read though from Foxy there. Normally we see him go for instant jump once, like preemptively and anti-air, but that was just a straight up jump in on prediction of a laser.
There we go, there's that hover. It's going to be something Nivek's going to have to do quite consistently, I think, is on a read, he's going to have to hover into the air and avoid that straight shot. That does mean, though, that Foxy will have the option to make a call as well. He can go for an air shot, he can go for a trick shot, and you know he's going to try it a couple of times.
Oh, good use of that teleport, I think, reading the shot. That's going to be that in-depth matchup knowledge we're expecting to see from both these guys. I mean, even if it's not each other, we know that there's no way that they wouldn't have played a lot of Supergirl versus Deadshot at this point. Well, there's a good reaction punish, but in return, minimizes the damage taken with the air tech.
It's one huge thing. I mean, if Nivek gets one hard read on meter burn teleport on a rifle, they're going to trade a bar for a bar, but Nivek will get a full combo.
First life bar goes to Foxy, 2 bars to work with as well. Very interested to see how Nivek plays the full screen game though. We're seeing him in the air a lot, obviously using these air lasers. Minimal chip on these gunshots, but still trading out damage for damage.
Foxy will take these trades all day, I'm sure.
And Meatbone rolls up the corner, doesn't want anything to do with that.
Opting not to spend the bar on it as well, saving his bar, going into the next round if he has to be in that situation.
We can almost see Foxy almost like buffering down back from full screen. I think he's trying to bait Nivek into going for a teleport.
Potentially. The second he gets one teleport out of Nivek, it's going to be a bar lost and a full combo.
Oh wow, timed at just the right moment. That's probably enough damage. I mean, the meter burn teleport being one of the most damaging openers for Supergirl. So if you do make that read and get that teleport, you're going to do a chunk of damage.
Oh wow. 2 hits of armor, but not enough.
Nivek dropping the combo isn't going to help either. To be combo positioning, 4-3, all keeps it as close.
No clash from Foxy. He's happy to stay in the corner.
He wants the 3 meters, I think. He just wants to hold the bar. With 3 bars, he can obviously wake up off the ground, but also has the rifle. Oh, he just goes under the air laser, or the eye laser.
Oh wow. I mean, okay, so that was a really weird exchange, but it's great for Foxy now because he's got 2 bars meter and a free clash.
The final shimmy coming out from Nivek. That's going to be guaranteed health back though for Foxy. Meter drain. He doesn't want to let Nivek build this bar at all. Oh, right in the face, point blank, no respect. Wrist cannon shot right to the face of Supergirl, and Foxy takes game number 1.
This definitely wasn't a change from Supergirl. This was to change stage to try and get a background bounce. Is he going to get it? Yes, Gorilla City is the map.
Gorilla City.
Nivek nodding of approval. He knows. Alright, I've got that damage now. We've already seen just how much damage Supergirl can get using the background. Instead of having to rely on meter for everything that is so crucial for so many characters in this game, Supergirl is definitely one of them. Oh, but no, he just gave it to Foxy, who uses it straight away to open up his damage. 360. Looking good. First hit as well. Deadshot with the ability to have those 3 different ammo types, and the green one being meter drain against someone like Supergirl who really needs bar to do any damage. I mean, that's why. You know, he's never going to go for any other trait shot, I don't think. With punish. Back 1-2 versus back 1-2. Here we go. Here's the extension. Oh, there's the low. Nivek not blocking low. To be fair, Foxy actually did open up with an overhead, so Foxy definitely showing he's willing to go to the 50-50. If need be. Especially with that background bounce, he's going to get loads of damage. Oh, wow, clean jump in. Not even the first time we've seen Foxy go to that this set at all. Well, we know that Supergirl's jump in 1 is super strong, but Deadshot's jump in 1 in many ways is just as good. Oh, another instant jump 1. Foxy's reads have been so good on those. Air tech force from Nivek, but he doesn't recover in time. That's going to be a full combo. I mean, we see, yeah, actually doesn't do a lot of damage from that string, but it's enough if you have a life lead to just keep it going. Oh, and again, that's a lot of meter gone. Yeah, had to go for a clash there, otherwise he no doubt would have been hit by a couple of straight shots into meter drain. Wouldn't have been able to clash after that. They both spend 2 bars. I mean, Foxy completely content with that trade. Oh, there's the LA. You see, they don't do too much damage by themselves. Usually you find if you're kind of just trying to trade damage for damage normally, but when you're this down on life, that just isn't enough. Oh no! The straight shots, well. Yeah, they comboed because she was airborne already. Oh, there's the good roll, but didn't have the bar to get a launcher. Oh, this is going to be tough. I don't know if Nivek can do this, especially with no trait now. Foxy's just going to be able to shoot for free. Yeah, wait for the teleport. I mean, really, what else could Nivek have done in that situation, really? Has to restart, but he needs a good start. He needs a good start. He's thinking about, does he restart? Does he change characters? We know Nivek plays a few others, but we haven't seen him play anything but Supergirl since before Evo. Does he even have other characters that are kind of well practiced? I mean, I don't know if this is like a terrible matchup. It's just Foxy's just playing the way Foxy does, and it's just more than effective enough. I just truly don't think that. I don't think that Nivek's other characters are on the level of his Supergirl, you know, because he's played this character so much. I think if he plays anyone else, he wouldn't have had as much of a good chance, even if the matchup was better in any way. But really, I don't think Supergirl would struggle too much against Deadshot. I mean, it just looks like Foxy's playing it just a bit smarter. So Foxy back to the wall now. If Nivek can keep him here, that's going to seriously cut down on his options. Hang on a minute, that's an opening. Here comes Nivek. All of which this was meterless. A big deal. Knocks him down, delay wake up from Foxy. Oh, opened up. I mean, really, it's easy to forget, you know, you almost say, why are they eating these back 1-2s, but he has got an overhead. Too. He could do an overhead at any moment. That is the stressfulness of defending against Deadshot from point blank. There's the reaction. Yeah, wonderful stuff from Nivek. Used the air tech a bit too early as well, so he's going to take a full combo and lose 2 bars of meter. That was best case scenario for Nivek. And wow, actually, I was actually quite worried that Nivek was dropping that combo straight away, but be able to recover immediately. The teleport and hit. Going to do enough damage to take down that first life bar. Tries to trip guard, but Foxy not sticking out anything. Oh no! Until the low. That's going to do it. Now it's match point. Foxy Grampa 1 life bar away from eliminating Nivek. Now it's a lot of work, but Nivek with the bar advantage comfortably almost on 4 bars. Foxy just with 1 so far, but yeah, he'll soon have 2 with Deadshot building meter as fast as he does. Oh, trading shot for shot now. This actually isn't a terrible situation for Nivek as long as he is at least doing damage, but give it instant jump forward. Oh, the read! I think Foxy might have expected a jump forward, but forward dash will do. It's almost a bit worrying, because Supergirl needs that background bounce, and yeah, that's just free health back. I mean, he doesn't want to sort of break a combo, he just wants to get health back, because really against Deadshot, if he stays full screen, when will he get another chance to heal? Indeed. So though, back to mid-screen, Nivek's going to have to work his way, push Foxy as close to that corner as possible, and also not give him space to dash away. Checking the forward 1. Forward 1 is a good mid. I wonder if he's going to try and catch a button press. Foxy's still not completely stopping to do assault rifles. Nivek hasn't quite stopped him immediately, but still this life is getting low. Nivek 300 points, 230. Oh no! Hasn't got himself a wager anymore. There's the air tag. Oh, he waits for it! And if he blocks anything, if a rifle comes out now, he's got to make a big decision. I'm about to say he's got to make a big decision here, but unfortunately Foxy did not even give him the chance to do it at all. So, well, looks like we're going to have a run back in losers. Nivek unfortunately is eliminated, but
He fought hard for it.
Hey man, props to Nivek. Nivek really bringing this Supergirl as far as it gets, doing well for himself, absolutely.
Foxy moving on in the bracket though. Now we said this earlier, he needs these IPS points and every single win is going to just take him that small step closer and closer every single time. If he can move on into minimum top 3, it's great. If he can win a losers finals, even better. But you know, if memory serves me correctly, that means his opponent's going to be WhiteBoi, which is if you're WhiteBoi, what do you do in this situation?
I think that is, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. You know, the way WhiteBoi plays Scarecrow fits a very specific style of opponent. I think
I don't know if Aquaman.
It's very matchup heavy though. Is the way WhiteBoi plays Scarecrow, because he's really good at dealing with Scarecrow's bad matchups, but ultimately there's only so much you can do if it is that bad. But the fact that he's shown us today that he is willing to go to Aquaman, I think makes it a bit more unpredictable as to how he'll do versus certain people.
So really the matchup, that's what's going to be really hard to call. You know, it's going to be Scarecrow for sure, I reckon. But contrary when we saw him go Aquaman against Batman, Foxy, I'm pretty sure he still believes it, but he still believes that Deadshot beats Aquaman as well. So I don't think it's the kind of matchup that he can go, right, I'm just going to go Aquaman again, because now you're picking it to get Deadshot.
This might be difficult. I mean, I think it depends on what he's used to. You know, if it's Aquaman versus Deadshot, I think we see, yeah, it's going to be WhiteBoi versus... No, it's Aixi, of course. WhiteBoi versus Aixi is going to be up next. So Supergirl versus Scarecrow. Of course. I mean, the winner of this will fight Foxy, for sure. So it's kind of like, who do we think is going to do a better job here?
This actually changes things, I feel, because Aixi has been playing really well, but we did just see how well Foxy does against Supergirl in general. So, I don't know, it's hard to call. I don't think Aixi has a backup character either.
I mean, you know, I love WhiteBoi, we've been friends for many years, but I don't think the way he plays Scarecrow can deal with Deadshot. I don't know if a Deadshot as highly defensive as Foxy can lose to Scarecrow. I think it's just the way he plays is tremendous, and Foxy does very well versus Aquaman as well, so I don't know. I think if WhiteBoi can move his way forward to get the rematch, I mean, I'd like to see him bring it back and make the adjustment, but I don't know if he's just got the ones that he brings to the table, whereas he has been looking really good this weekend. Looked a bit ropey versus BioHazard, looked very unfamiliar in the matchup overall, but when he's been playing well this weekend, he's just been absolutely on fire.
So, I mean, well, Supergirl versus Scarecrow, I mean, that's probably going to be a matchup that we see next. I reckon WhiteBoi changes when it's really in a bad spot. You know, he's like, well, Scarecrow clearly just isn't going to work here. I think right now, though, the only character I've really seen him go to a different character when absolutely necessary has been Batman. Supergirl, I mean, I think it's one of those problems.
I'm not quite sure if that's going to be quite the same problem. I mean, Supergirl isn't quite as commonly referred to as a bad matchup, but we'll find out soon. We're just going to be getting this match underway, but don't go anywhere because we're going to go for a quick break. We will be right back in just a few minutes.
In my years fighting crime, I've learned one truth. That every villain is the hero of his own story.
That's the problem with fighting for truth and justice. The battle never ends.
With this crew on the job, what could go wrong?
The fighting game taking the world by storm joins forces with the best in esports as the battle for supremacy comes to Ely. This October, Justice has a new league.
You're burning the wrong bridges.
I want none with Dick Grayson's killer.
It was an accident.
Hello everybody and welcome back. This is the Injustice 2 Pro Series presented by PlayStation 4. We are far into this top 8 now. Our next matchup is going to be Renegades WhiteBoi versus ED Aixi. Now, Supergirl still in top 8.
So let's talk a bit before we get into the matchup, because I have a few minutes to do that while the players reflect on where we're currently at. We are deep inside this top 8. Winners finals is going to be Tekken Master versus BioHazard. In losers we have Foxy Grampa waiting for the winner of this match you're about to see. So it's going to be Aixi versus WhiteBoi. It's going to be a run back of Foxy versus WhiteBoi, in which Foxy Grampa won very convincingly. Or we're going to be getting the UK showdown of the two players from the UK left in the tournament to find out which one will move through to losers finals.
And in many ways that would be quite a historical run back, because Aixi was the first player in Mortal Kombat X to defeat a Foxy Grampa. You know,
Yes,
Foxy was kind of really running rings around Europe online and just dominating the UK, and at the very last moment of the Mortal Kombat Cup UK finals, it was Aixi versus Foxy Grampa, and Aixi pulled off the upset. He won that tournament. The Birmingham boys warned everyone, nobody listened. Aixi made a name for himself with that breakout performance, and since then it's been cemented as a player that doesn't really get to compete a huge amount offline, but when he does, he's just very fundamentally strong and uses the characters that he wants to play. You know, he was a very dangerous Cassie Cage in Mortal Kombat X, and in Injustice 2, Supergirl kind of is that take on Cassie from MKX. They sort of share some similarities as that sort of small, lightweight female character with decent damage now.
But on the topic of the characters themselves, that's actually something I'm going to be looking for here, is kind of just matchup knowledge overall, because I think it's fair to say that WhiteBoi is going to be having some Supergirl experience versus Beyond Toxin, who's another Florida boy that...
Shouts to Toxin.
Yeah, obviously shouts to Toxin. Has a very strong Supergirl himself, but I just don't know if Aixi has fought a Scarecrow of the caliber of WhiteBoi's. I mean, there are European Scarecrows, but I think there really is only one best Scarecrow right now, and that is probably WhiteBoi.
You're only going to get amazing Scarecrow experience in many ways by fighting against WhiteBoi, because he plays so efficiently. You know, his game plan is not complicated. It's super basic. He pretty much plays Scarecrow the way that he played Doomsday.
He put the character on the map,
and,
sure.
And he's no stranger to putting a character on the map. Did the same thing with Doomsday and Injustice 1. But here we go, Supergirl versus Scarecrow to kick off this top 8 once again.
Aixi getting the first hit and spend it straight away for as much damage as possible. The crowd definitely going to be getting behind Aixi here. We can already hear it begin.
Yeah, Aixi's
he's the Birmingham boy.
That's it. Birmingham. He's the hometown hero. This is his home turf. Taking those plus frames immediately. Nice hit confirm into command grab. Big damage. A nice splat as well, but another tag.
As we both have Aixi's hits coming off those down one. Hit confirming has been on point. Pushing him away.
Oh wow, just a raw unblockable. We are on Atlantis.
I think as both players will be able to have access to the good block from WhiteBoi. Oh, the tricky stuff coming out from Aixi. Relatively uncharacteristic with how unsafe that was, but it's going to work.
Oh, hang on a minute. That might be quite a punishing combo drop, you know. WhiteBoi, he has the efficiency. There's the teleport. I mean, it's worth the read, right? Because if he goes for anything that recovers long time, he's going to get a massive comeback. He shouldn't have been alive in that situation anyway, so he just took full advantage. Oh, there's the last minute cross up. Aixi with the hit confirm into heavy too, trying to minimize that scaling.
Big damage coming out. You know, this actually is a stage with the background bounce too, which is what Aixi's been using a lot.
I was really surprised to see Aixi not go in for the fully charged straight down. I was expecting him. He had no bar.
Nice, goes in for the raw grab. Normally wait for the down one. Oh, there's the read from WhiteBoi. Oh, and the clash immediately.
Very afraid.
Just take as little damage as possible and spend 3 bars or 2, depending on how much meter he wants. 2 makes sense. Still wants that fear blast.
Okay, damage over time. Alright, now it's dangerous territory for Aixi to be in. Okay, it's going to be turned off.
This is WhiteBoi in the corner. This is where he takes his wins. In many ways, you ignore the health difference. He gets one good sequence and you are dead. And it looks like he might be starting it, but the clash comes out.
Your madness stops here.
He's going to at very least hide this. WhiteBoi is known for kind of like really spending as much bar as possible to deny you health, but he doesn't have as much, so probably not going to spend anything. No, he doesn't. That's going to be guaranteed health back for Aixi, and more importantly, screen space. He now has mid-screen again.
Presses buttons, but no bar. Consistently, Aixi's not had a huge amount of meter, but wow, presses buttons out of the down back too.
That was a really good bait. You know, we saw that WhiteBoi was probably trying to interrupt the gap there, but Aixi didn't finish the string. Tries to punish.
No hit confirm. Not sure WhiteBoi prepared, but no, the jump 3 crosses up, but no confirm.
There's the plus frames again. Reads a backdash. Aixi doesn't fight.
Oh, there we go!
Teleport's just in the nick of time. That was wonderful teleport from WhiteBoi, and that's going to be guaranteed plus frames on the restand. What's the mix-up?
That's plus. Chase down. Punishes the down 2, and that exactly is why WhiteBoi still teleports. You know, he got one good read. He goes, I think you're going to go for the meter burn laser here, and if I teleport, it's a full combo. And he lost all of his character power. A great decision. Aixi had a good lead there too. That was just a good adjustment from WhiteBoi. Like I said, the teleport really was the game changer there. Could have been punished, but he made the read, and that's what we're used to seeing. Nice confirm off that jumping heavy. Nice chunky 345 damage at least. Oh, here we go, the corner pressure. Oh wow, wakes up with the only bar to... Oh no, puts himself back in the corner. I mean, it was a risky decision, but that really was an amazing block and a bit too far away to confirm. Aixi has been so consistently low on meter here. He doesn't have enough for his reads to be, I guess, fruitful. Oh, fast spin from WhiteBoi, but interactable down. Oh, and there's a teleport. I think WhiteBoi probably expected Aixi to throw the orb. It's unblockable. Oh, set up. No, the wake up. Now, this is actually not a great situation for WhiteBoi. He has the traumatize, which is normally fine, but he definitely doesn't like having access to that. That was another unfortunate combo drop. Aixi punished 2 rounds in a row for that. Oh, there's a traumatize used immediately, even though he lost the jump. I think WhiteBoi might actually be happy with that, just to lose the traumatize. Yeah, go into the next round with the fear drain. I mean, it's the damage over time that WhiteBoi wants. He doesn't really want traumatize. He wants the tick over time. It goes hand in hand with his plus frames. Aixi then, he's still down. He has no bar. Oh, the wake up! The wake up, yeah, gets baited out. But again, the problem is he's getting mix-ups, but he's got no damage because he has no bar. And the clash, I mean, he has no choice here, but WhiteBoi can totally just either let him get 15%, which is not much, or they'll just trade it. Yeah, WhiteBoi doesn't want you to get health back. Does that a lot. If he has the bar to deny you health, he will spend it. Nice anya from Aixi though, but now has lost the option to keep him away. Now he's in trouble. Oh, good block at that last minute cross-up. Oh, with the grab, huge damage. Oh! Oh, doesn't even trade the jump in 3 for down 2. He just outright beat the anti-air. Scarecrow jumping 3, very powerful at jumping heavy attack. Good hitbox, good damage. I think the lack of meter has been a consistent problem for Aixi. I mean, he hasn't been able to... His reads have been on point. He's been getting the mix-ups, but without Frost Breath and no background bounce, you just can't really get a good payout for it. I mean, it has been 2 close games as well. I mean, it might be 2-0, but Aixi has been taking these down very close, but... At the end of the day, WhiteBoi is definitely coming off stronger here. That last minute, lots of bar this time, so he's going to get some damage. Oh, goes for setup, but a wake up. Reverses the wake up input as well. Good stuff coming out from WhiteBoi. And finally, Aixi with the bar, but he's not going to have any after this combo, so he needs to make sure it counts. Has got full laser too. Here comes the pressure. Building bar for days, the jump back, but no punish. I mean, Aixi read the grab at the very least. That's going to take the life bar. This little cinematic here, going to recharge some of it, so at least he'll have a projectile, but it'll be a while before it's full again. Popping that fear toxin once again. The second he closes in the space. There it is! He's in range! It's going to do it. That's probably going to take enough life down as well. We are going to the other side of Atlantis for the first time in the set. Plenty more interactables though where that came from, especially now we're down here. Match point. How is that water not flooding in here right now? That clearly made a hole. Do not ask such questions. WhiteBoi though still on match point. 1 life bar away from taking this one, moving for the rematch against Foxy, but Aixi still looking good. Spent his only bar on push block. Oh, somehow avoids the interactable. Aixi again, he's back to where he was before. No bar, a clean jump. Yeah, clean jumping from WhiteBoi, well spaced. And now it's corner mix time. Oh, good read, and he meter burns the interactable, just get out. Oh, the block! That could be everything. I mean, the problem here is that I think he probably would rather take damage here than get punished into a restand. I mean, the amount of damage he just lost from this is nowhere near the damage he was about to take from a full Scarecrow combo. But now it's dangerous territory because he has access to that damage over time. Not quite enough to kill by itself, but you combine that with the chip that he's just about to do. Oh, the chase, the read, and that's going to be game over. WhiteBoi's going to get the run back on Foxy and eliminates Aixi after such an amazing run. It's all over for him. I mean, 3 decent games, you know? I mean, that really was one of those situations where the 3-0 result didn't really reflect how close those games actually were. Aixi played out of his mind this weekend. He should definitely be proud. Did the UK proud overall. And a very respectable placing. Managing to make top 8 today. There was a big problem in that matchup I think Aixi had, and it was just, on top of a couple of combo drops here and there, the big issue was just, he was severely down on meter pretty much all the time. Because you have no choice but to spend that bar. But he was using it on certain things to try and survive here and there, but when he would land the mix-ups, he had no damage. But whenever WhiteBoi hit him, the damage was like triple that, you know, he just couldn't contest with the damage that Scarecrow manages to output, because he just didn't have the bar at any moment. I think he played it well though. I mean, he definitely had signs of greatness in there, but I mean, WhiteBoi is a very well seasoned major
competitor at the moment. You know, he's very high up on the Injustice Pro Series leaderboards. The points he's going to get here will even further solidify that to no real
top
surprise.
4 situation right now. I mean, he's one of the world's best for a reason.
Yeah,
at this
for sure.
stage.
Indeed, and obviously with Scarecrow of all characters, who is not the most represented character in the game, who definitely has some matchup problems, but as a main of that character, you have to be able to sort of cover those options wherever you can, be it through gameplay, be it through other picks. But we're going to be having I believe our winners finals next, which is going to be BioHazard versus Tekken Master. So we might see Bane versus Brainiac.
We might see Harley versus Green Arrow. We could see Deadshot versus whoever else Tekken Master decides to play. It's been one of those things where it's two players that have mastered multiple characters at this stage, and it's been great for them because the second you land, you know, you get a good read on a matchup or a good read on a character. You know, you're in the money there.
So before we get into this winners finals, remember you guys at home can support competitive Injustice 2 around the world by picking up the tournament shaders. You can purchase them now with source crystals in the game. I believe there's 2. There's Electrum and Tournament, both gold and silver respectively. And if you want to support competitions around the world, pick those up and you'll help fund those around the world. I mean, it worked great for MKX. I have no doubt it will work great now. It's just a way to show your support to the tournaments that you enjoy watching.
A big part to contribute towards the scene that you enjoy, you know. But this potential, one of these guys is no doubt going to be in grand finals.
I mean, that's
who's going to have? Who's going to
guaranteed.
Oh no, for sure. My point is, one of these guys is going to have a massive comfort zone, and they've been looking good already.
I mean, these are probably the 2 most solid players we've seen over the weekend, I think, in terms of like the characters they've picked, how they've played in those situations. I mean, Tekken Master's Green Arrow has looked crazy. His Brainiac was even crazier. BioHazard Harley Quinn, I mean, really speaks for itself. Bane, I mean, they really have played the board, but one set is separating them from Grand Finals winners and losers finals. So, I mean, there's a lot of money separating that, a lot of, even more importantly, the Pro Series points. Now we're down to the top 4, right? There's these 2 in winners, and down in losers we have Foxy, Grampa and WhiteBoi ready to go. There is so much points and cash prize money separating these 4 positions that no one wants to lose at this point.
These guys have collided before. You know, they fought a combo breaker, they've
been very back and forth across both MK and Injustice 2.
Well, really, at combo breaker, Tekken Master took the win. At CEO, BioHazard took the win. And it's as simple as that. So these guys have gone back and forth. The question today is who's gonna be up? You know, who's gonna
get his cursor? Ooh, could be Brainiac.
Brainiac versus Harley Quinn.
I mean,
I
don't know how to call that matchup. I have
just
never
about
seen
to
that
say,
in my life.
how many people in Twitch chat or in this audience or us right now can say, yes, I'm very experienced in the Brainiac versus Harley Quinn matchup. It's a matchup we see very often. It just doesn't happen. So we're going to see
now,
history.
unless they get back to player state, then Tekken Master controls.
Line 2-hit combo. That's sick.
That's better than a 1-hit combo.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we're restarting the match. This is what it's going to be. Harley Quinn versus Brainiac. Winners finals versus fighting 2017.
And first it goes to the cupcake. Now that cupcake I think is going to be really important because it's going to catch Brainiac out of the air, and the air is what Brainiac controls with that tendril lift. But immediately, full combo. We're going to see the trait. There's the splat. What's the mix-up?
He calls the drone, trying to make the wake up, really separating this space. Oh, and there's the environment interaction, just get out of the corner safely. And
there's the down 1. He's going to be meter burning that down forward too because he wants to be as safe as possible. Brainiac, very unsafe unless you spend bar.
Now we saw Tekken Master bring out Brainiac versus Foxy's Deadshot to really just get in on that troublesome zoning, but it looks like the amount of projectiles that Bio's throwing, mainly the cupcakes, are kind of controlling that space that Tekken Master wants to use to get in, and a clean punish on that meter burn dive kick from BioHazard. But one thing Harley's going to have that is better than most zoners in this game is that she has that amazing diagonal upward shot, and the ability to cover the air, like right there, the up shot. That's going to be a favoured zoning option because that's where Brainiac wants to advance. So whereas Deadshot had to kind of like jump into the air to preemptively deal with it, Harley can kind of do it from the ground, I suppose, maybe a reaction. Still though, yeah, BioHazard's playing this very well at the very least. That's going to be an early wager coming up from Tekken Master, but he has enough meter to get some health back. She just called him Brainiac. That is just rude. Win that trait. Oh wow! He almost totally went into that hyena. Goodbye hyena. Oh, down one into tendrils. Even if he could have got more damage, I think he's just trying to keep it simple. Take the damage or it's guaranteed. Can't hit confirm the back one too because the second hit whiffs. Here's that pressure from that standing 3 into the drones. Amazing block. Tekken Master tries to dive kick, but the meter burn finishes it. He's got a lot of bar, but he's not having an opportunity to spend it so far. He can totally kill with the 4 bars he just built. There's a punish on meter burn. He's going to have to air tech here. Oh, he's saving it. Now he's holding on to it. That's 3 bars, and that's a lot of damage. I mean, one thing we saw a lot from Tekken Master was unclashable damage from Brainiac. Almost everything he does in that second life bar is unclashable. And me then dive kick into double forward 3 and stuff like that. And he very much did a lot of that, but didn't get the chance to this time. BioHazard just didn't give him the opening.
Are we going to see a run back? You know, he was hovering over Atrocitus. Is this the matchup we see?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but he does have potentially 2 matches left, so whatever he chooses, it's going to be very important.
Now think about the matchup with Brainiac. He did a good job with Brainiac, but Brainiac's chip, well, we saw what happened when he got Brainiac's chip last time. You know, it was a nice little comfort zone, welcome home, you're ready to play. Will he win? That's the question.
Oh, instant jump from Bio, active for so long, gets the first hit again. Oh, there's the overhead.
Full combo. I mean, she has got that standing overhead and low mix-up. Forward 2 or back 2, both overhead or low.
On there, please to wake up clean. So much life already. Tekken Master's life bars just disappeared. Wow.
Almost a complete perfect. Like, not even one hit landed, but that wasn't even through zoning. That was just through great pressure. Kind of looks like Harley Quinn has a lot of tools to handle Brainiac. I mean, even then, he went over the projectile, but the dive kick missed, so it's almost irrelevant. There it is again. I mean, that is the truth. That is the answer. I mean,
if Harley Quinn just turns it, it's a no-fly zone. You cannot leave the ground above her. You know, she just has so many different projectiles to cover so much different. I mean, it requires elements of reactions from Harley, but also a lot of reads too. BioHazard is just reading Tekken Master really well as to how he's going to do it. And massive cash out, 500 damage there. Oh, wow. Opts not to spend the bar. He's trying to chip him down with a little dive kick. No, the drone flies away. Come back. Tekken Master needs it.
Well, that's what you do as Brainiac. Either you go for setup off the down forward to push, the splat, or you just cash out with down back to that tendril strike. I mean, it's so much damage on the end, especially when you meet a burn it.
Instant jumping as well. I think that was a punish, or maybe just trying to catch and press the buttons, maybe.
Oh. Instant dive kick, doesn't meet a burn.
Oh, wow, yeah, still pressing buttons. It's going to connect. Tekken Master opts to go for the air tech because he couldn't clash.
Opts not to spend the bar on the combo, wants the hard knockdown instead.
They wake up to avoid the drone. Smart stuff from BioHazard.
Nice block on the low, but still so much work clean over the cupcake bombs, but doesn't want to meet burn. Finally does it, but here comes the unclashable.
Yeah, that's what we see him do a lot. He has another bar, that could still be more. Oh, the drone respawns.
That's a lot of bar for Harley to zone him out.
Wait, the drone's going to be back soon. Tekken Master. Oh, the anti-air gunshot. The drone is coming back any second now.
Oh,
he's
no.
even going to need it. Oh, there it is.
One more hit. It's going to be so hard for him to navigate, but hang on a minute! No, he drops the back 3! The punishment comes out! I mean, that was the game. All he had to do was do back 3 and forward 3 and he would have been unclashable.
I don't know if it would have killed, but it would have put him in a much better situation to close things out.
He had the bar to meter burn one of them for extra damage.
I mean, he is still in winners. Still very much in winners, but BioHazard a comfortable 2-0 lead. Tekken Master looking a lot better in that game, though. Definitely made some sort of adjustment and it was paying off, but does he go to another character or does he stick it out?
I mean, he's got Atrocitus, he's got Green Arrow, he plays a bit of Batman himself. He's got a lot of options.
I mean, still though, Batman looking like a very comfortable matchup for BioHazard. I don't think that's the answer at all.
Oh,
maybe
100%.
even, what about Green Arrow, perhaps?
I think he's thinking about it. I think he's really assessing, do I want to go all Brainiac for this?
I mean, Green Arrow versus Harley isn't a matchup I've really seen too much either. They're two very similar characters in terms of like how many people play them and how effective they can kind of be in certain situations.
So we're going back.
They were going for the run back. This is going to be the character Tekken Master stuck with. Tries to go for the air gun shot, but not quite in time. A nice chunky opening damage combo. Tekken Master.
Now he's timing those dive kicks intelligently. And there we go. He's going to go for a punish. He was holding the trait the entire time. One of the new additions. You can hold the trait without it disappearing now.
No, BioHazard didn't seem to punish the dive kick. Didn't manage to stop Tekken Master from moving around after it.
And that right there, that is the answer. That is the magical special that is going to keep Brainiac out of the air. As I say that, dive kick into Interactable, so
though going back to the area with the background bounce, losing that drone. Might be a little bit better for Tekken Master. Oh, there's the instant jump one. Oh, cancelling for the dive kick. We seem to do that a lot. Just try and cover as many options as possible.
But it's because when you whiff those jumping normals, you can whiff a normal and still cancel into dive kick later on. So if the air to air, you can hit confirm. If it whiffs, you can just catch someone pressing buttons and then dive kick. Like, it's a great tool. But here comes
nice
Bio.
Full screen juggle combo from Bio. Oh, one full anti-air shot too. BioHazard just covering all these distances, but the first life bar goes to Tekken Master.
This is absolutely a completely different Brainiac than we've been recently seeing from Tekken Master. And I think that even crossed up. That hit the other side. Tries to reposition but misses it. Doesn't matter too much. Done a massive amount of damage anyway. Match point for BioHazard.
Did lose his first life bar, but Tekken Master still has a lead. But both hyenas are there for BioHazard. Oh, goes over the shot. I don't think Bio was quite ready for that.
There's the repositioning.
Oh, fast string is so cool. Oh, the wake up though.
Anti-air, clean, full combo, forcing the clash. Not really to save damage, but to just get health back and go full screen again. And I really was just saying earlier on, this is a night and day difference of what Tekken Master's Brainiac has been looking like recently.
Oh, there's the drone, lets him get in. BioHazard didn't get the right side blocked.
Ooh, almost air to air with the dive kick. This might be the play. You cannot wake up attack those hyenas active for far too long. Here comes the down one, potentially one more mix-up. Trades, no full combo. I think he tried to go for a back one.
BioHazard keeps himself in the air. Hyena again. Ooh, gets one hit, but not a full combo. Or gets through.
Uh-oh, is that going to blow up?
Yes,
oh, got him! The wake-up trade, still in it. He's got to be so careful now. And he goes over it! The back three, Tekken Master stays alive. And I mean, wow, that was hard to call right until the very end.
Every single match we go, Tekken Master is getting closer and closer to the point that he's now taking the game, albeit with not very much life left at all. But now, if Tekken Master can keep this adjustment going, maybe he could make this reverse 3-0. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen it happen, but it's pretty much what we saw against Foxy. You know, where this stage, though, Rock of Eternity, what do you think?
Oh, it means that on hit, she's gonna get those up close unblockables, but really, more so it's going to allow Brainiac to trait from distance and then go into those unblockables. Already down forward one, the increased range, but it's still a low.
Well, there's the drone, the patience from Bio, standing 3 though, guaranteed pressure, tries to use it for the unblockable, but the jump from Bio to avoid it.
That was a really good jump. I think it's very clear that he's going to try and go for that, but no, the back three. I think he hesitated the last minute. Maybe he wanted to keep the corner positioning because it would have been tractable. It would have sort of transitioned.
It's cost him his life lead, and Bio running this momentum again, getting him from one side to another.
No air tech. He wants to get the ball, but that's a clean, full combo. Here he comes, instant dive kick, full combo. Hard knockdown on the forward 2-3.
Holding onto the drone for 2 setups. That was so smart. Full armor from the interaction. Oh, ever so slightly too far away for the low, but nice confirm from Bio.
That was the sound of a dive kick right there, and it just didn't come out.
I guess just gets rid of the rock in the background, doesn't want to give Tekken Master anything to throw.
That was definitely just to remove it from play, and there's the cupcake. We actually haven't seen him go for that cupcake much. I think that might be an adaptation here.
Tekken Master's been going through it a lot. Ever so slightly misses. Where did that even hit?
Oh my lord! I don't think anyone in this room knew where that dive kick hit. That was just in the face.
Tekken Master, full bar of drones to go, plenty of meter. Oh, there's a delay. Punish clean.
There's that back two, full combo. Both times opting to go for the air tech instead, so now he's not going to be able to clash.
Also, though, Tekken Master just spent every single piece of his meter on those 2 air techs.
I mean, that was a win for BioHazard to get every ounce of meter away.
What
air to air. First time we've seen him go for that as well.
Down one to splat, no setup. Holding onto the drone.
Oh, juiced up the armor.
Tekken Master making it back. There's the read, and there's the wager from BioHazard. He will not have a wager now, so Tekken Master doesn't have to cut his damage down.
Big life lead. Just like that, Tekken Master's back in it, but he's got a lot of work to do. She's still going to keep him away. She's got both hyenas ready to go.
Gets over clean, the cupcake bomb.
Keep things nice and simple. There's the splat. This could be one more mix-up. Instant air dive kick, but no! I think he may have intentionally... He might have tried to go for the straight one, because that lets you combo off the dive kick. Oh, no! Oh! BioHazard takes it over Tekken Master and goes into Grand Finals winner side. I mean, really, at the last minute, I feel like that drone was supposed to be the straight one, because he did an instant dive kick. That would have been a full combo, but he got maybe the wrong drone.
BioHazard, though, getting himself Grand Finals winner side, minimum 2nd place today, getting himself a ton of that prize money at least, as well as those all-important IPS Pro Series points on the leaderboard. I mean, he's already looking pretty good for getting up there for the finals, but this is just going to help him for sure. Tekken Master at least 3rd, though, going down to losers finals, where he'll fight the winner of WhiteBoi and Foxy Grampa, which is going to be our next game, losers bracket action. But I mean, any one of these matchups that we're about to see is going to be ridiculous. Any combination of the 4 players we have left could be just insane.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it was going to be Tekken Master versus BioHazard, already an insane set. Foxy versus WhiteBoi is another legendary set that we're just about to see. But then it will be WhiteBoi versus Tekken Master, Foxy versus Tekken Master. It could be WhiteBoi versus Bio, Foxy versus Bio. Like, it could be a run back between Tekken Master and Bio. Like, the possibilities here are endless, but we have so many different characters that we can see, different displays of people from all over the world, and we've seen some good injustice today. Very important.
Hey man, 4 players left, and out of those 4 players we've got Bahrain, UK, America and Canada all represented. This is very much an international tournament still to the very end, but this is not the first time these 2 players have fought in this tournament today. Earlier on, I believe it was top 16 winners side, it was Foxy Grampa versus WhiteBoi, so it was not great.
It was rough, because I think a big part of that is a matchup thing, but also like you've said earlier on, a clash of play styles. You know, Foxy is one of the most ultra defensive, lame style players that we have in the scene. Maybe even the biggest player of that style in the scene. But then, from one end of the seesaw to the other, you have WhiteBoi, who has always played characters that thrive at being point blank in your face, and they suffocate you. You know, you feel like you can't move, you can't navigate the stage. But it's going to very much be when an unstoppable force hits an immovable object. This is the matchup they're about to see. Deadshot and Scarecrow doesn't get cleaner than that.
Still though, I do believe it was 3-1.
So was 3-1.
It wasn't quite a sweep, you know. WhiteBoi did find something that worked in the third game of that set, but I mean, that's kind of what Foxy does best, right? He adapts on the fly faster than almost anyone in the community. But Gorilla City could be the stage most likely unless they go back again. But I'd be very surprised if we changed from this now.
So this matchup, it's signs of life. We saw from WhiteBoi in that game that he won, where he was able to actually get Foxy in the corner and keep him there. Don't give him that room to sort of retreat for the whole game. But so far, I feel like both players kind of like the premier user of each character. So far, you know, Foxy's really sort of in this stage, taking this style of Deadshot and making it work and doing really well in tournaments for himself. Both of these players fresh off their top 8 results at Biennale in Austria just last week. So they find themselves in the top 8 again. Foxy's a little bit further down the line. WhiteBoi looking for that minimum grand finals run back. He did get second last week. Now,
but it's like you said before they fought originally. Foxy needs these Pro Series points a lot more than WhiteBoi does. So you know Foxy's going to be zoned into this match.
There's the jump. And that's where WhiteBoi's going to have to make a read, you know, because Deadshot has got these different options after the back 1, 2, up 3. Scarecrow has options, but you've got to predict the follow-up.
No first hit taken down yet, but oh, there we go. 2.5 bars already, because Foxy built so much bar in the process.
Point blank trick shot. Not sure if that was intentional, but there's the background bounce. Forward 3 every single time. Nice amount of damage already. Here comes the meter drain. Take that meter away from Scarecrow. That's the plan.
He's also building a ton of bar in the process. In the entire sequence of that trait, only 1 wrist cannon bullet hits. So not terrible for WhiteBoi, but what is terrible is this massive life difference separating them. Foxy Grampa. Oh, there's the punish on the teleport, but I mean, the reason we see WhiteBoi go for those teleports, he's trying to catch Foxy as he goes for a rifle. If he teleports right as he kneels down for an assault rifle, he will get a full combo into corner carry, into what Scarecrow does best, but Foxy's just not giving it to him.
I mean, the danger is, no one knows that more than Foxy. You know, Foxy is ready for that teleport, and because Deadshot has really fast buttons, you know, back 1, standing 1, forward 1, they're all fast normals. So punishing the teleport is very easy.
As soon as Foxy sees that meter burn, just push block all day. Or just meter burn rolls out of the corner.
Now the thing is, Deadshot's grab sends full screen. Nice spacing, actually stand just out of range.
Oh, interesting jump arc. But again, push block immediate from Foxy. Hasn't got any bar now, but WhiteBoi walking him down, trying to get in. Oh, jumps clean over WhiteBoi.
Just whiff punish with a straight shot as well. Doesn't even want to overextend himself. Look at how much bar WhiteBoi has there. I mean, it looks bleak, but if he puts Foxy in the corner once with all of that meter, Foxy could die.
The problem is Foxy's going to build a lot of bar in the process, and he's willing to push block. Foxy really did invent the push block, especially with this character.
Here comes WhiteBoi. Block on the wake up, but it's going to be safe unless you meter burn forward 3 through it. Plus on block, challenged. WhiteBoi with the knockdown, going into Fear Toxin.
Oh, there's a punish on the wake up. There's a full optimized combo, maximum corner damage. This might actually kill by itself. Yes, it will. Wow. No, not quite. I think damage over time afterwards will.
I mean, don't count out Scarecrow in this situation. He's been working hard the whole time. There's the push block again, but oh no. Oh, the jumping. I'm not sure that's what WhiteBoi was after, but you saw there what can happen when Scarecrow closes in the distance. If Foxy doesn't get a good start, he could totally lose these games.
Oh, there's a trade, no first hit from it. Foxy did just build his first bar. Oh no, he gets the hit too, and again, 2.5 bars to start things off.
That's the worst kind of straight shot to eat, you know, the one that loses first hit. Nice hit confirmed, Foxy to the corner.
Foxy's got WhiteBoi doing the jumping 3 a bit earlier now, but the adjustment has worked.
The 2-bar escape sequence, the meter burn interactable, and then 1 bar on the meter burn roll, but here we go, meter burn for the restand, guaranteed pressure.
They go straight for the grab, huge damage.
Another push block.
WhiteBoi's defense has been really good. Oh no, just gets opened up a little bit there, but not too much damage.
Oh wow, how'd that even hit?
Jump 3 hitting behind WhiteBoi.
There's Fear Toxin. The second WhiteBoi gets close now, regardless of how much damage he takes, when he finally gets in, any of the damage over time is just going to be free damage.
Oh, tries to anti-air with a shot, but times it a little bit too early. Could have been a full jump in for WhiteBoi, but didn't have any bar, so couldn't turn it into anything bigger than that.
Nice air to air, trying to take away the meter again, but nice dive! One of the first times I've seen that used.
he tries to challenge him on the way in, but WhiteBoi gets the dolphin dive through, no confirm. Another grab, WhiteBoi's pressure has been great. Another grab.
One more grab and it's over. And it's going to be 1-1 and a tick grab for the down two.
Grab, yes, indeed.
And from this stage, it's guaranteed. There really wasn't much, because if he did delay wake up, it probably would have got out of that situation.
Mate, even if Foxy survived that, WhiteBoi just needed a little bit of space, activate the trait, and that would have been dead by itself anyway. Foxy taking a little bit of time, keeping himself together.
I feel like this is very much the matchup, though, because after the first match, it would be very easy to say, I think he's just trying to have a swig of the the cordial. I mean, that's quite an honour. Foxy shares that with no one.
Of course, no, it's important. In between, he wasn't even finished with it.
Sometimes
that is generosity we are not used to seeing from this man.
Sometimes you drink with the enemy.
Would a man that generous play Deadshot?
Oh, probably not, actually. I would say not. Foxy's a scumbag. But we love him.
Indeed, though. 1 apiece now. Tied things up immediately. I mean, it was 3-1 in winner's bracket, so we could very much see the same thing now. But what if it's flipped around? What if WhiteBoi makes that adjustment with Scarecrow?
The thing is, after that first game, it's very easy to look at it on face value and go, wow, this matchup must be horrendously bad for Scarecrow. But the jump 3 does cover the wake-up.
It's a matchup that WhiteBoi has openly said he cannot stand. I think he is just playing this matchup very well.
You gotta be patient. That's one of the key elements there. Oh, doesn't commit. If he committed to the stream, we maybe would have seen that there.
Full stream whiff in front of Scarecrow, no whiff punish. I'm used to seeing that.
You can see just how careful Foxy is trying to be. He does not want to stick a limb out, because the second you do, that happens. Oh,
down 2 into the fair wave. Then punish with the ball. Oh, see WhiteBoi positioning himself just so the meat bone roll didn't get past him, but Foxy able to sort of just sneak away. Very starved for meter though. Foxy using bar is just as fast as he can build it. There's the whip punish. Overhead, full combo.
There we go, round 1 for Foxy, but look at the bar. Foxy has nothing. He'll build one easily.
It's 600 life, which is normally a very healthy lead, but against Scarecrow, I'm not quite sure. Oh no, he doesn't quite connect, but he cancels it. Smart from WhiteBoi, but back to full screen again. Nice. Drain bullets are in play.
Actually, a nice hit confirmed from Foxy, seeing the back 1-2 hit airborne and confirming into forward 1-2 instead. Ooh, what a challenge. Doesn't quite get it. Oh, the max range on the back 3. On the air tech gets chased down too. WhiteBoi doesn't manage to get the kill though. Oh, T-Rex from above. Plus on block. The backdash. Caught anyway, but I mean, again, Foxy's got a life lead, but he's not where he wants to be. That back 3 plus frames. Will tries to go for a raw wave, but doesn't quite connect. Oh, drops his combo. He might actually live to regret that one because he's not losing just damage, he's losing setup. This clash is still going to put them full screen. Or at least, I mean, not quite full screen, but not in the corner. That's the important thing. The corner pressure is really where he needs to keep that job, but it's going to push him out a little bit. Still low to the Scarecrow. This is 1 jump 2 away from pushing him back in again. This is very much the range that Foxy wants to be at. There's that meaty rifle. Oh, jumps over. Oh, doesn't meet burn it. Oh, there's the low. He hasn't got anything left. Spends the bar on the shot. Oh, and there's the anti-air shot swiftly. Going to take it for Foxy. WhiteBoi goes straight in for the rematch. He's stuck with Scarecrow now. He's either going to go through with Scarecrow or go down. That's going to be a nice 350 damage. We saw that combo hit earlier on, but this time going in for the splat, denying Foxy any amount of pushback. He wants to say point blank, but now he's been tagged by the back 1. Actually moves in. And there's the wake up from WhiteBoi. Maybe the first time that Foxy actually opted to go in and WhiteBoi hits it with a wake attack. And another use of the environment interaction. Uh-oh. There's a tag. Back 1-2 again. Hasn't got any bar though. Foxy has used quite a lot of it already. Oh, there's a last minute jump too. Good read from WhiteBoi. I wonder if that was a jump in 1 attempt, but unfortunately WhiteBoi tagged. And again, that's going to be another full combo from Foxy. WhiteBoi just lost a lot of resources. He lost more health than he was going to lose and all of his bar. Nice use of the wave to keep himself alive. Good teleport. Oh, goes in for the... I mean, that was a Hail Mary, but he kind of needed to do it. WhiteBoi's on the verge of going home, but I mean, we've seen his composure before, and there we go. No, misses it again. The push block as well. Meat burns the rifle, trying to do as much damage as he can. He needs to stop him activating that aura. That's 2 attempts. Unfortunately, I think from this range, I don't know if Foxy can allow him to do it. Those back forward ones will catch him. Just jump in, that chip damage, no push block again. And there's a forward 2. WhiteBoi still alive. As Foxy Grampa back towards the corner, but still a little bit of space to close in. Foxy spent a lot of resources, but no, using the interactable to escape. Oh, and there's that last minute low. The shimmy from Foxy. There's the wager spent. This is going to be his final opportunity to get life back. If WhiteBoi doesn't spend the right amount here, he might regret it. You need clashes in this situation because now, I mean, really, WhiteBoi was never going to get an opportunity to get life back after this because Deadshot is one of the best unclashable characters in the game.
WhiteBoi, by the time that WhiteBoi actually opens up, he might have enough to clash himself, but this is Foxy. He might hold on to it.
Get rid of the environment, make sure he can't use it against him. And oh, fumbles his jump in there. Tries to go for the anti-air shot and misses it entirely. WhiteBoi with a clean jump.
Still, that's 2 bars worth of regeneration. That's a chunky amount, especially for someone like Deadshot.
Plus on block, trying to jump, but caught by the fear wave. Now WhiteBoi back into it now. Here's a chance. Pressing buttons. Here comes WhiteBoi now. Has him in the corner. If Foxy can't escape, he's in trouble. Oh, there's the whiff grab.
Foxy knocks him down. Or wakes up from that far away. There's a down one challenge from WhiteBoi. Plus frames though, but the push block.
The clean jump in. Here comes Foxy. He's now got a bar of meter. What's the final read? WhiteBoi needs to make one more decision.
Oh, there's the push block. Foxy doesn't want to get him anywhere near. There's a jump. One that's going to connect. Is that going to do enough damage?
The combo's likely to take this. There we go. WhiteBoi with the finish. It's now going to be 2-2. I mean, that could have gone either way at the last minute, but WhiteBoi with the final tag.
We've gone down to game 5 at least. That was a good situation for Foxy to be in, but that magical jump in, that really is what Scarecrow does best. If you can make that good read and get that max range jump too, I mean, it goes so far. He has so many standing buttons that will reach. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, but if you have to make that read, if you jump at a bad time versus Deadshot, he anti-airs you for a full combo or just crazy amounts of gunshots to push back. You have to be dedicated. If you leave the ground, you have to be ready for that jump in to work.
Immediate with the jump, but the neutral jump one. The important thing, no damage, but first hit bonus. Oh, the jump! Recovering in time though. Back one, no whiff punish just yet. This is such a strange exchange.
There's that max range jump 2 again. Oh, no push block this time on the wave, but jumping will for sure.
That's the straight shot. I don't know if Foxy was ready for it, but another wake up attack.
That's going to connect. That's going to be not quite a max damage combo, but definitely enough to keep this life lead going.
But you can see, normally Foxy would like happily anti-air straight shot in that situation, but Scarecrow's jump-ins are so scary to deal with. It's such a risk, but WhiteBoi with an amazing start. And now he's got Foxy in the corner. Plus frames, using it, but 2 bars to try and escape, but it doesn't really work out. He's still in a bad spot.
He easily grab. Big life deficit for Foxy Grampa now, though, trying to get it opened up, but it's going to be difficult.
Has to just do as much damage as he can from range, but now here's the Fear Toxin. The second WhiteBoi gets him now. He's in big trouble, and here we go. Match point WhiteBoi with the turnaround.
It's going to be turned off, but WhiteBoi's been doing well for himself so far. Big life lead here.
Oh! He almost got completely jumped in on.
That would have been a disaster for Foxy Grampa, but Foxy screen behind him. WhiteBoi's jumps have been on point in this set. Oh, tries to challenge. Overhead connects.
That's going to be another full combo. He needs to land one more of those, and he's going to even things out quite nicely.
Tries an anti-air shot, mistimes it slightly, but evening things out. Very starved for meter, though. Oh, catches him just on the recovery. Oh, jumps out clean, but he recovers in time.
WhiteBoi with just the knowledge of when he can and can't go for these strings, but Foxy with the repositioning. Match point, both players.
A full life bar comeback. Foxy was almost down a whole bar, but was able to make it.
He's got the Fear Toxin again. Can't quite anti-air straight shot with the whiff punish. There it is. WhiteBoi has more than enough resources to kill him.
Oh, there's the meter drain. Foxy spends another one. Crowd getting behind Foxy here. They want a UK boy to make top 3. That whiff. Ooh, the jump in, push back again.
But I mean, they couldn't be any... Oh, there's the clash. I was about to say, they cannot have any more different meter than one another, but this is the final moment. Who's going to take this round?
How much is WhiteBoi going to spend? Probably going to be 3. Yes, indeed. Most effective way of getting health back. Foxy back to the corner.
Saving his bar. Meter burns this one. I mean, his back's to the wall. This is to where he doesn't want to be. I don't know how it is, but somehow a crowd is finally hyped for Deadshot.
Hey, man, it's the UK versus America. WhiteBoi still has him in the corner. There's a push block. The whiff. The wave. Oh, catches him. There's another push block.
Oh, hang on!
Just the low! Foxy error coming out from WhiteBoi.
He's got no bar. He has no resources. Foxy has to be careful. It's all meterless. Tries anti-air straight shot but misses it. Here comes the plus frames. He has to guess. He guesses wrong. Here comes WhiteBoi. I don't think he was ready. This is a scramble. The whip!
Is that going to be it? Foxy takes it with the knee in the corner down to the absolute wire. WhiteBoi came so close in what is such a difficult matchup for Scarecrow. WhiteBoi played out of his mind, but that final read, that very un-Foxy-like read to jump out of the corner and that full whiff punish, that was all she wrote. Foxy doesn't jump. He waits for you to jump and anti-airs you. That's like his classic. So when he finally jumps, it's so hard to predict, but at the last minute, it was just read after read after read. Let's look at where he jumped there.
But right there, I just don't think WhiteBoi was ready for those to connect. I just don't think he was ready for many of those hits to land on hit. And he wasn't ready for hit confirm, but we've got to say, Foxy moving on, but all the commiserations to WhiteBoi for getting as far as he did. I mean, without a doubt, the greatest Scarecrow player in the world right now. He defeated Madzin in a nail-biting series. That could have easily been WhiteBoi's game as well, and that's it. Yeah, man, he's played out of his mind, got himself a nice chunk of Injustice Pro Series points on the leaderboard, so congrats for that. Putting himself in a much better situation going into the later stages of it now, but Foxy Grampa advances through to what is going to be the run back versus Tekken Master. Now, this was interesting set in winner's side. It wasn't what we expected to see. Tekken Master bringing out this crazy Brainiac to just absolutely shut down what it was that Foxy was trying to do, but it came off a lot of hard reads, a lot of unsafe stuff that he was just sure was going to work, and I think Brainiac really fits the way Tekken Master plays in other role games. Now, I thought before this tournament that Deadshot did really, really, really well versus Brainiac. Turns out I just suck. Tekken Master's Brainiac is more than capable of getting the job done in this matchup. It's also the way he's playing it. The way Tekken Master approached this matchup is so just great. It ticks the boxes, right? You know, you go for those jumping ones, you occupy the space, you have dive kick to, you know, reaction punish gunshots and stuff if you're already in the air. Tendril swing can by itself shut down the rifle. I mean, the way Tekken Master was playing it has been a bit of an eye-opener this weekend. A couple of things to take into account here is that we did just see Tekken Master fall to BioHazard in a very sort of similar matchup where Harley Quinn was trying to keep Brainiac at distance, but it was the ability to control the top of the screen, you know, the upshot, the cupcake, the fact that when he kind of lands, those hyenas keep him in check. If you have good projectiles but can also keep Brainiac out of the air, that really is the goal of this matchup. Deadshot has those options, but he's got to really read it. You know, he has to dedicate to either a grounded trick shot or jump with Brainiac and try and anti-air him, but if you get anything wrong, he dive kicks you into a full combo. Almost at the end of the combo, but most damage already done from Foxy. I'll go back on Atlantis this time. Life lead for Foxy. Now this is a big thing in the matchup, is that the air gun shot can just deal with the tendril swing. But Foxy lands, he gets hit one single time, Tekken Master will even out the health quite significantly, but Foxy off to a much better start here. There's the trick shot. Alright. My goodness. So I was about to say, I mean, first of all, Deadshot never misses. That's exactly why that worked out. But second of all, we didn't see him try trick shot in the last matchup. I think this is something that he's had time to reflect on. There's the Mia Burn dive kick. Tries to punch the down one a little bit late. Tekken Master gets the splat. Pressure coming through now. Standing heavy into those drones. He's still holding the drone, but actually the push block may have caused it to disappear. We'll find out. There's a punish. Dive kick. If the dive kick hits really low, it's a lot safer, but if it hits high like that, it's going to be a punish. Oh, interrupts the gap. Now that's some of the knowledge. Foxy's playing this matchup a little bit better than we saw before, but Tekken Master, he is persistent. His Brainiac has been lethal so far. Is it going to be enough for this set? Oh, not quite close enough for the transition. I thought maybe we'd be going to the other side. That's a lot of damage. Oh, that hurts so good. 525 health. Now he's going into this round though with Foxy, almost 4 bars. He's got 3 right now, but Deadshot building meter very comfortably, unlike most in the game. There it is, another anti-air shot. I mean, Tekken Master, he's dedicated to it. The reason he's doing the swing is because he wants to shut down the rifle. If he eats 50 damage to shut down the rifle for the whole series, I mean, you know he wants to take that trade-off. Hang on, here comes Tekken Master. There's the reposition. Foxy with 4 bars. I mean, Brainiac. Is that going to work? Oh! Catches the jump back. Almost half expected Tekken Master to try and dive kick over, but maybe he did. Maybe he just didn't have time. Actually would have been one of those risky plays, the forbidden tech, the X-ray to finish the chip damage. If that didn't work and he died, I would have just gone up there and slapped him, because it's just, you hate to see that kind of thing happen, but fortunately right here it didn't. But there's been a couple of adaptations here, right? First of all, trick shot. Second of all, when he lands a jump back straight shot, he's now backdashing while Brainiac's in the air to create that distance. You'll see it again if he gets it. Oh, and there's that meter drain. Already being given that meter burn dive kick, really being the bread and butter for Brainiac pressure and damage output. So if you can take that away. Now the reason it's dangerous is because that's what happens when you get dive kicks. Like, it's a full combo versus just one projectile. So that's why Tekken Master, he's being persistent. If he gets one good read, that's it. Doesn't meter burn, saves the bar. Oh, there's a punish on the dive kick. Not a massive amount of damage though. Oh, good blocks here. Now they trade it off, but that trade's going to be good for Tekken Master when he's got that little life left on Foxy's side. Oh, there's the anti-air. Remember, we just get out of the corner, but Tekken Master will wake up. Tekken Master has been getting so much out of that wake up, especially with the way these two are playing. Definitely not a bad exchange for Foxy. He took minimal damage, he spent a couple of bars, but now he's out of the corner. But from this range, he's got to watch out. And again, the trade comes through, but this time it's Foxy's favor. Still though, Foxy down on life, but we've seen how good he's doing a lot of damage from far range. Unblockables. It's going to help him, for sure. Oh! Oh, tries to beat with the rifle, but the wake up doesn't quite work this time. And there's the safe tendril slide. Yeah, tries to go for a jump after it though, getting checked with a straight shot. Oh! Almost could have dive kicked that one, but not quite. Even on life, Tekken Master's made really crazy reads before and they've worked out. Tekken Master really trying to navigate this minefield of dead shot gunshots, but still. Old meat burn forward 3. That was a really nice reaction from Tekken Master. Internet dive kick the read! There's the attack from Foxy, keep himself up. There's a punish on it again. The background bounce. Now Foxy's been getting a lot of mileage out of those. Knocks him out of the air. Tekken Master with 2 bars a meter. He hits Foxy once, it's over. Another high dive kick. We know Foxy was probably waiting for the meter burn. Oh, there's the wake up! There it is! Unclashable! Oh my god, that worked! Oh my lord, every time this kind of scramble happens, Tekken Master is consistently the one to come off better in it. I mean, I don't even know what happened there. It was just something that you just don't see. There we go, instant jump 1. That's an amazing start for Brainiac because he can whiff jump in. He can cancel it into dive kick regardless. On hit, can hit confirm it easily. A lot of damage ready though coming out of Tekken Master. Big life lead for him. Port not blocking low there. Meter drain coming through from Foxy Grampa again. And yeah, lots of meter gone right there, and Foxy trying to instant jump 1, I think. Yeah, the meter burn on the dive kick actually didn't work. We've done a little bit too slow. Oh, stops the drone. That's a background bounce too. A clean punish, but no, drops the combo, but it doesn't matter. Staggers the grab with the tech. There we go. Catches him with meter burn dive kick, but no, drops the combo again. There's a couple of crucial drops coming out of Tekken Master here. He's still holding the drone though. You've got to be careful of the defense if he's holding onto it. Push bot coming through. Oh, there it is. Shoots the knee in the feet. A little bit of a life lead for Foxy though, but that's 1 combo away if he can get any dive kick. It's hard to say that you're asked and you shall receive. There we go. 3 bars for Foxy, almost 4, but I mean, this is as close as we expected to see the run back here. Wow! The meter burn. Chaotic play coming out of Tekken Master. These trades are going to be good for Tekken Master. He's got more life. And there we go. Times the air shot, and that's going to be a full combo punish. An instant air dive kick to catch him in the air again, but you can just see this is the game plan that Foxy's trying to establish. But really, he gets hit 1 time, and it just does so much more damage than he can output himself. Block will interact, will do a lot of damage. Tries to confirm. Oh, missed the dive kick. No, he gets the other one. Tekken Master just playing insane right now, just making all the reads, all the decisions. Uh-oh. There we go. I mean, he absolutely wanted to go down there because he had the wake-up charge, invincibility through whatever he wanted to do. He had a bar to make it safer as well. Foxy again. I mean, is this going to be another 3-1? It could be a stage change, though. I mean, Tekken Master's getting a lot out of those orbs, but at the same time, Foxy's also getting a lot out of the background bounce to the left. So this seems to be a little bit screen dependent. If we're near the left-hand side, Foxy's getting a lot out of it. But if we're near the right, I mean, that's Brainiac Town. I feel like it's definitely more of a character thing, but at the very least, Foxy will just need some time to think about what he's doing here. But really, I mean, Tekken Master was 3-1 before. I wonder if it's going to be 3-1 again.
Brainiac.
Not quite sure, but that little scramble, that push Tekken Master to a game back here could be almost like the change round. Well, hang on, is Foxy considering going as a Catwoman? I don't know, because he's not gone Catwoman the entire time, and he pretty much never plays her anyway. You know, he's very much almost like in many ways kind of like dropped Catwoman, but. One really big thing the Tekken Master is doing with Brainiac, some of you guys that are watching that don't play Brainiac, he has to charge his trait, which involves holding down the character power button. You release it at set times all the time, but while you're doing everything else, you are holding that button down the entire time. Managing it the way Tekken Master is doing is really hard to do. One of the hardest things in the game to micromanage, and he's doing it to such a ridiculously impressive degree. Foxy, ready for the dive kick, but no, dropping the forward 3. That's going to be crucial, because now, another drop. Yeah, actually, wait a minute. Left, right, and centre, the overhead. There we go. Wow, yeah, finally time's the charm. Now the crowd's going to be giving Foxy their energy. They want him to win this. The Tekken Master's playing out of his mind. Absolutely punish, very high up. Some of the absolute most insane Brainiac play we've ever seen. Oh, gets opened up, but no confirm from Foxy. Still a nice life lead. There's the interrupts the gap. Oh, he drops the combo. Tries the forward 1-2, but that's going to be damage on the table. Tekken Master now in the driver's seat. Oh, there
there we go, holding onto it. He really makes you respect that pressure, and then he holds onto the drone.
Another good read on the dive kick, the wake up to go through. I think he's trying to interrupt the gap, but if you don't do it, I mean, it's... Oh, here comes Tekken Master! Minimal push block. Oh, he tries to trick shot. The read was good, but just at the wrong range. Tekken Master's on match point.
Below 20 health there, almost not at all.
Oh, wow, and the hitbox hits him all the way up there.
Get out of the sky, down to the ground. Foxy one life far away from evening things up, but Tekken Master still in the lead.
Oh, he tries to punish, but no, presses the button. If Foxy gets hit now, he's in trouble. He has nothing to clash, nothing to break with. Oh, there's a trade. I mean, good trade, really.
He's alive.
Regular dive kick, very hard to punish. In some cases, actually safe on block.
And Master's really starting to delay these meat burns with the dive kick now. Sometimes that he really has got a Foxy condition.
Down one, it's going to be safe. Minimal damage, but there's the read. There's a punish again, but there's the restand. Foxy is still on the back foot. He gets hit one more time. Tekken Master uses the interaction. I think that's going to be it.
That's probably going to be enough damage, if not very close. And you don't know how you avoid a dive kick with a chip, but he's not going to need it. That's going to do it. Tekken Master wins the run back as well. And he's going to advance to get his rematch versus BioHazard in the grand finals.
This has been a ridiculous display of Brainiac. Like, it's been such an impressive showing of what this character can do. Much of the community was really sort of divided whether they think is Brainiac good, is Brainiac, you know, better than people think he is. But I think right now it's being proven that, you know what, Brainiac is definitely a contender in this game.
I mean, it's when you put the time in, when you really have the knowledge, when you have the execution, like you said, right? You know, holding onto those drones and managing it on the fly is not an easy thing to do. But Tekken Master is consistently doing well, and he's going to get his rematch versus BioHazard, which is going to be a hard one to call. I don't really imagine we're going to be seeing Tekken Master go back to Brainiac. I mean, that being said, he in the winners finals, he lost game 1 very convincingly, but as every match went on, he got closer and closer, ended up taking a game, and then lost the next game quite... I mean, it was quite a back and forth one. So whether he remembers the adjustments he made in winners finals now, we might see a bit of a closer series, but he might actually change character altogether.
Fresh off that win against Foxy, though, he's going to be riding a lot of momentum going into this regardless of what happens. And both these guys, I mean, you know, Tekken Master top 8 at EVO, BioHazard seeing many top 8s as well throughout the IPS. They both have a nice amount of points, and being in grand finals is just going to further increase their chances. I mean, at some point, these guys are... They've had so much points at this stage, it's going to be hard to stop them from making those finals.
I mean, it's also grand finals. It's competitive experience, right? These are two players that have been to premiere after premiere after premiere after premiere event for the Injustice Pro Series. They know exactly what it's like to compete at this level of play on this kind of stage in front of people like this. Tekken Master phoning a friend, perhaps trying to find out what character to go with, maybe. But regardless, you know, sort of back to my point, these are two players that they know how to play, and they know how to play on this stage with this amount of pressure.
Brainiac in grand finals. Did we think we'd ever see it?
I mean, it has been the rise of Brainiac over the last few weeks. You know, we really are starting to see what this character can do. There have always been people that have, they've always been Brainiac players since day one. Obviously, Jack Perfect Legend being the first player to really bring Brainiac to the main stage. But now there are other Brainiac players sort of starting to come through as well. So definitely seeing a lot more of him as we go through. But this is going to be it. This is grand finals for VsFighting 2017. As soon as their button check is done and dusted.
Well, there's a lot on the line here. This is a premiere event for the Injustice Pro Series, so a nice chunk of cash for both these players for getting this far. But I mean, first place, that's where the bulk of the money goes.
Indeed.
Harley Quinn versus Brainiac, though. I mean, we saw this, like you said, we saw this in winners finals. She has the ability to zone him out. I mean, very much like what we would see Deadshot do, but I feel like she does it a bit more effectively just because of the tools that she's got. She has a lot of different projectiles that nicely kind of just cover the top of the screen.
Well, the way we saw Deadshot versus Brainiac, Foxy could just kind of jump into the air and go for like a preemptive jump just to catch the shot for like 50 damage. She does that from the ground, but with multiple kinds of projectiles.
And can combo off it really easily too.
Begin.
So here we go, this is Grand Finals VsFighting 2017 IPS qualifier. It's going to be Brainiac versus Harley, and immediately, this is what we're probably going to see a lot, that air shot to knock him out of the air. You always have to worry every time you see Tekken Master go from those instant jump-ins, because the dive kick could follow at any moment. Very unpredictable. I mean, it's just there back to back, and there's a full combo every time. He's either going to go for a splat, reposition, or cash out damage.
There's that delay, that spacing. Or 4-3 doesn't quite connect though. Tekken Master could have taken the life bar.
It's a little bit hard to hit on those small characters, you know, those small little hitbox characters. That 4-3 is a bit harder to land.
Oh, no, we're punished with dive kick, but neither of them connect. Now, there we go. Catches him in the air with the dive kick. Finally lands one to take the round.
No pleasure.
Ooh, doesn't block the other side. Instant dive kick. Now, I love that combo. Minimal damage, but it's just a hard knockdown. And hard knockdowns all day are what Brainiac thrives on. He's still holding the drone. Finally releases it, and there we go! At the last moment!
She comes up at using almost like a Batman trait. Oh, there's a last minute cross up into the wager for BioHazard. Tekken Master with the adjustment.
I am not so
Now, the difference here is that Bio has way more meter. Spending 3, wants to keep an extra 1. No doubt we see Tekken Master save his. He lands 1 dive kick, and he's in a happy place.
The trip guarding mode coming out of BioHazard. That's going to do a lot of damage, but still very much down on life. Has no wager now either. Oh, but another one back to back. That's the kind of stuff that BioHazard needs. I'd be very worried if I was BioHazard because look, full trait, full meter.
Oh wow! Wake up just connected from a wild range. Getting a little bit preemptive with this wake up, so now it's going to force the clash early on.
collect you.
Snap back, Brady Whack!
She got him brain whack.
Can you believe it? Rude, she did it twice.
Oh, there's the orb. Oh, there's the knowledge BioHazard knowing, and the anti-air shot too. BioHazard has done a tremendous job of bringing this one back from such a severe deficit.
Hang on a minute, he's got him in the corner. Harley Quinn really likes having the opponent cornered. She has so many options. Right into the cupcake bomb, but again, she built so much meter, still with 2.
Oh my lord, and there it is, getting him out of the sky.
And I mean, this has been a turnaround. Such a life deficit, but a good block in the front, has to stay safe. And that's it, a clean punish. BioHazard brings the first game back. And a comeback like that, when you're on winner side grand finals, way more important for you.
I mean, that was a heavy comeback too. That was like 150% difference in life at least. BioHazard doing it off basically just trip guards and anti-airs, really. Now I think, yeah, straight back. He thought about this in winners finals. He wasn't really going to go with Brainiac the entire way. He did hover over a couple of characters, mostly Atrocitus. And this is just a straight up run back of Combo Breaker, CEO. I mean, this is a match they've played many times. Now, I don't know how much Atrocitus that Tekken Master has played since the patch. I know he's been quite vocal about not believing the character can compete anymore, so I'm not quite sure how much faith he has in the character. He doesn't said he has chosen to pick it here, so there must be some degree of belief that he thinks he can do this.
The problem is that I don't think he actually likes this matchup very much either, so this is quite a bold call. He must feel like there really isn't anything else he can do. But if you're BioHazard, you've used Harley Quinn from start to finish throughout both of these sets today, and it's worked. At no point has he needed another character, so he's way more comfortable with a wake-up tantrum stance. That's another full combo.
That was a clean punish on the cat as well, already half of it gone.
Oh, tries to knock him out of the air, but just can't get a hit. BioHazard very comfortable right now. Both hyenas locked and loaded.
You can see, right, 600, 500 that is left on this bar, but Atrocitus, he still hits very hard. If he gets the right opening, he can definitely take this down a little bit.
Wake up interactable. I mean, those interactables, a lot of them do have armor on meter burn, so if you're against something like Atrocitus, fantastic defensive option.
Look at this zoning game from BioHazard, using these hyenas and the cupcakes perfectly together.
And he's trying to down 2 on prediction of the shield. I think it's because it hits multiple times.
Nice bout of chip damage though coming out of Tekken Master, has BioHazard cornered, this could be good for him. Oh, jumps clean over into a full punish with the puddle.
Now, this is the opening. Reposition, he's going to get a bit of juggle here too. There's the splat. The forward 3, hang on! Now, the clash has been used, but I believe he might have trait here, or he got it right before it finished coming back. I just talked over like the best interaction dialogue, I'm so sorry.
You did indeed.
I'll never do it again. Alright, here we go.
Still though, BioHazard still near the corner, but a lot of space between them right now.
Oh no!
Puts himself in.
There's the push block, doesn't want to deal with the mix-up at all. Another full combo, but another...
Your absurdity.
Oh, never mind, you didn't say it. Never mind, we'll just move on.
Well, I think it's funny.
Right, 1 each. Big change. He's not going to be able to launch without trait now, and his trait is gone for almost the entire rest of this round. He's not going to have character power.
Preemptive anti-air breaths just to try and catch him, but BioHazard really has no reason to go in.
Oh, the drop!
Drops his combo though. That's a big punish from Tekken Master, but the air tech to keep him alive.
Now guaranteed trait.
Back.
He's in trouble now. Guarantees the advance. Guesses wrong. That could be it. The back 3 comes out. Full combo. He's going to get the restand as well into guaranteed chip. Is it enough to finish? And he guesses wrong at the last minute. Tekken Master actually betting the farm on that too.
I mean, if that puddle was blocked, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but if it was blocked, that would have been death for sure. But he's sticking to it. Oh, and there's the puddle.
Oh no! Too far away for the back 3 to connect.
And there's the orb just to get it. Pressure on the go. Oh, there's the overhead. Going to take mark. Oh, into the interact too. A nice chunky life lead coming out from Tekken Master. Fine overhead committing, and wow, chewing up the tantrum. Another full combo incoming. He's going to get the up blast on just the magical range, but no! BioHazard pressing buttons on wake up, presses buttons again! Oh, another puddle catches the forward dash from BioHazard. A very strong life lead coming out of Tekken Master now. Bio severely down on life for the first time in this Grand Finals. Down 2 immediately buffered into it. Tekken Master just has no fear. Here comes Dexstar. He's going to have a nice amount of Dexstar ready to go. It was adjusted that actually... Oh wow, the orb hit and push block recovery too. There's been some changes to Atrocitus where Dexter now uses a lot more of the character power. It's the push block takes more of the trait too, but he's still good at managing when she's out or he's out. I mean, nerfed, but still very useful. Utility is immense. Oh, there's the overhead going to connect into the tantrum. Full combo for BioHazard, probably going to do it. Yes, indeed. He's made comebacks before, indeed, but a lot of meters to work with too and a full trait. Instant neutral jump. That was a fantastic read on forward 2. Tries to whiff punish, but walks right into the cartwheel. Oh wow, preemptive down 2 from Tekken Master, but it's going to connect, it's going to hit the tantrum stance. That was a read on a read. I think he expected that because BioHazard was expecting him to call Dexstar. Tekken Master knew that. That's definitely a I know that you know situation. But trait already gone. Dexstar not out for as long really as it used to be. Full combo, there's the clash. Immediate clash coming out. Probably going to win this, at least he's going to tie things up. Now, the bar difference, I mean it's 3 versus 2. Oh, it's no doubt we saw him spend nothing there. Oh. Again, BioHazard has been managing these jump-ins well. Oh, there's the reaction, the fuzzy. Oh, there's the down 1 punish though. Yeah, air tech. I think he knew that Tekken Master was likely to do unclashable damage there. Oh, I'm not even sure. What a read. That was either a read or he tried to down 1 lift. But either way, Tekken Master's in a great spot now. Doesn't go for the puddle. Until they wake up, take as little chip as physically possible, and it's not enough. Jumping into the Dexstar shot. The Atrocitus pick, funnily enough, is doing wonders for Tekken Master. That was going to be a tough situation for Bio to come back from though when you're down on chip. Now we've seen him beat with, I was about to say Bane. We've seen Bio do it with Bane before, all the way back at Combo Breaker, but there's been some time since then. But let's not forget, Bane received some love in the patch, standing 1 being a lot faster, a little bit of damage added to the meter burn section of the special move, so hits very respectably now as well. Ooh. Now immediately in with the armor. Really, Bane is always going to be BioHazard's comfort zone. But as long as Dexstar's there, if Bane can keep Atrocitus in the blender before the Dexstar shot comes through, he's good, but it's definitely 2 big bodies. Oh, the charge! Oh, he wants to get as much out of that as possible, but now he's on debuff. Debuff Atrocitus combo. This is going to hurt for sure. Oh, my days. Already, but no, drops the combo! Drops the back 2-3, but doesn't matter. The reset, the totally intentional reset that wasn't a combo drop, he gets it again! Oh, that is a read and a half though. Straight on his wake up with that forward 3. Commits to the forward 2-3, but again, because he knocked him out of the air really early, BioHazard wasn't able to adjust. We're going to see forward 2-2 breath a lot more, because that is now the safe mid option. Oh, there's that Bane bomb again, back to back. Power bombs left, right, and center, and 1 life bar away from evening things up is BioHazard. Tekken Master's on reset point. He wants this round, but the clean body splash. It's not going to do the damage though, because he's on debuff. Oh, there's the tip grab from the down 1. Tekken Master getting opened up again. The blender begins, but no, within the air grab. That was either a hard read or an input error, but it doesn't matter because he gets the Bane bomb another time. He has armored. Oh, there's the whiff punish. That's going to be a full combo for Tekken Master, running down that Venom time. 1 more final hit just to guarantee, but it just commits! No fear on the side of Tekken Master! That's going to be it. The Venom is back. Now, what do we see BioHazard go towards here? There's the meter burn extension. I mean, BioHazard hits him twice, he's dead. He's got 4 bars of meter. Now, 1 more time. He gets a hit confirm, but the clash before! That no doubt might have been a super. There is no way that wasn't going to be going into some kind of meter burn back 3 super, something that was going to kill. That was the perfectly timed clash. Dexter, he let him get Dexter out. This might be the game. No, it's going to be difficult. He starts a clash, but does Tekken Master even let him do it? Oh, the armor through into the pile driver! That's going to even things up 2 games apiece. BioHazard bringing it back with Bane. I mean, normally when you block successfully and you try and deal with Dexstar shot afterwards, armor is a go-to option. No one in this game is more armored than Bane. But here we go. Does he go to Brainiac now? It looks like he's doing it. Does he not want to deal with the matchup, or is he going to think about it? Brainiac versus Bane. I mean, this is... we said this matchup you don't see every day. Brainiac versus Bane is absolutely one of them. I mean, no matter what happens here, this is reset point for Tekken Master. So, if this works well for Tekken Master and Bio goes back to Harley Quinn, he's still at least reset the bracket. But, that being said, this is a matchup we haven't really seen before, but already going in the favor of BioHazard. Brainiac is not going to be able to get off the ground as easily because he has a single hit and wake up, but there's the punish. Clean punish. He's going to get a splat here. What's the mix? Does he bait? Actually, there's no wake up at all. The backdash, what a read! Really smart coming up Tekken Master. Another combo, another splat. Getting the exact same combo back to back twice.
Late dive kick,
Ooh.
instant!
The Chili Bane's going to have an easier time punishing that dive kick now. His standing one is so much faster, but it's not even going to matter. Big combo coming up from Tekken Master. Ooh,
That's
reset.
Reset point again. This pick to Brainiac so far has been fantastic. He's basically making BioHazard play a rank match right now. You know, one single game.
Oh, and there we go. There's that standing one. Oh, and the transition! Even though it's fun to watch, that probably isn't what BioHazard wanted. He's going to do as much as the combo he was going to do initially.
Well, we have a nice, fresh, new series of interactables. The wake-up charge, safe on block.
Oh, goes underneath.
He's on debuff, so he's not going to kill.
But that combo by itself on the debuff time.
Oh, get back down here, son! Tournament point for BioHazard. The armor break! I mean, it's going to be armored, but it's only one hit. If it's going to match the trait, then, I mean, that's it. You armor break it for free.
Long range confirmed for Tekken Master. 2 drones. Space invaders all over the shop. Oh, that's going to be the charge. Level 3 Venom. He's going to hurt for a very long time. All the overhead.
Oh, he jumped out! I mean, that jump might have been something he's going to regret for the rest of this tournament, but he has to capitalize now. He's got more meter. Spends 2, knowing Bio's not going to spend any.
This is Bane. If he can manage this Venom, 735 life is a delicious amount to take away.
There's the block, staying safe with the meter burn. But here comes the trait. Amazing blocks on the other side. Is he going to go for unclashable? He is. One more hit could reset the bracket, but no! Oh, the delay keeps getting through. The power driver back to back. This is going to be the next read. He gets through it. Is that going to do enough? Stands on the back, breaks the back of Brainiac. 12th level intellect cannot survive. Bane on level 3. Venom and BioHazard is your champion of VsFighting 2017. What a display. I mean, what a matchup. We saw Harley Quinn, we saw Brainiac, we saw Atrocitus, Bane. I mean, what a way to finish things off, where BioHazard goes back to the classic. The character that put him on the FGC map to begin with. Bane takes his first premiere event.
That was incredible. That was thoroughly incredible. And shout-outs to Tekken Master for bringing Brainiac this far, as well as, I mean, just being so well prepared. He played Green Arrow, he played Atrocitus, he played Brainiac. You know, he took down some serious competition to get second place today, but BioHazard really is the champion of the day with Harley Quinn and Bane all the way through. I mean, congratulations. That really is all there is to it.
So much of you know, so many parts of the world were represented today at VsFighting. It's been a real collection of talent from all parts of the world. We had North America, we had Scotland, we had, you know, much of the UK talent here, European coverage too. We had Greece, Germany, Romania, all these different places, and many of these players fought hard for it, but ultimately BioHazard with that Bane.
And what a
taking
finish
everything.
Too. What a final move. Just the absolute disrespect.
I mean, you never see that move used anyway, let alone to finish a premiere event.
I mean, it was level 3, so it had the armor. It had the armor break properties, and that's why he went for it. There was method to it, and that is that. Really, we are done here for the day for Injustice 2. Thank you very much for watching at home. We hope you enjoyed yourself. This is not where it ends today. We have Summer Jam later on today as well, so Injustice 2 is very much not done. It's just done here at VsFighting for now. But if you like Injustice 2, Summer Jam is right around the corner. Make sure you're following Injustice on Twitter, because that follows all of the competitive activity that's going on throughout the competitive life of Injustice. And like Mustard just said, Injustice isn't over. We have got Summer Jam later on today, which is, it's another premiere, you know, so there's a lot more on the line, just halfway across the world from where we are currently. But that is going to be everything from us. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank everybody in this building for watching this. It was a great display, and there's much more Injustice where that came from. So that's it from us. We're going to be signing out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next premiere.